Cek 1, 2, 3. Halo, welcome to the stream. Aduh, Jenderal lagi watch party juga lagi. Kebantai nih viewer gue nih. welcome by the way. Welcome. Hari ini Bumi Esports sama Fancy United ya guys ya. Dah itu doang. Pertandingannya ada 2, tapi gue nontonnya yang boom doang ya hari ini ya. Bentar. Jangan lupa di like dulu ya guys ya, biar FYP ya guys ya, biar kagak kebantai-bantai banget sama Jenderal. Bawa Jenderal mulu gua, ampun dah. Parah banget lu Zif, bukan penonton gua lu Halo Forest King, welcome to the stream. Pak, aku mau ganti akun dulu untuk nonton. Bebas. Dia punya akun menyapa 1, akun menonton 1, gila. Dedicated anjir. Sepi amat, iya nih, sepi banget kayak hidup kamu. Gimana ya biar rame ya? Ada tutorialnya nggak guys? Anyway, welcome guys yang baru datang guys. Jangan lupa di like dulu ya. Biar FYP guys. Biar kagak kebantai-bantai banget nih kita. Kan Irsen in use, welcome. Apakah Boom akan membalas dendam Dominatus? Ya, kenapa dia dendam juga gitu loh. Yang dipertanyakan bukan masalah menang kalahnya ya, tapi kenapa mereka harus dendam buat Dominatus? Kenapa? Boom mainnya jam berapa Min? Ya ini, habis ini nih, lagi perkenalan tim dulu nih. Nulis pride aja belum bener. Gimana mau pride kalau bener, kalau nulis pride aja salah gitu anjir. Ya tuh emoji baru ya guys ya. Fuyu muka Anya tuh sesuai request. Nanti habis watch party baru gue grinding ISO lagi ya. Tapi habis watch party gue mati dulu segala macam ya, baru lanjut main. Opat takel belum, bahkan mukanya tidak ada terlihat bukat. Sudah opat takel dia. Ya, Abu jangan iri-iri, mantap ini Yus, mantap. Tidak perlu disuruh, sudah dilakukan, mantap. Suka. Kedua sudah ini, sudah band pick map nih.
We are bans and Asra, I'm sorry. We don't get
Lotus. Main di Lotus lagi.
No breeze, and we go into Lotus, which has truly become the boom map pick of choice.
Oh yeah, and again, it just allows them for so much more. I guess just open-ended opportunities
baru
on how to
bangun
approach
tahu
the
sebenarnya
sites.
ini.
It just feels like there's so much that they're able to do on Lotus, and not a lot of teams are able to.
Makanya kalau suara
what's
gue
the word here?
rada-rada
Kind of follow up on that. I think
aneh,
a lot of
ya
the
karena
presence
gue
that we
baru
saw was
bangun.
from Famous with the double satchels. Morio was really good with how he adjusted with utilities. That's going to be something. Fancy, of course, picking up Split, and Haven will be our last map. But if I remember correctly as well, Haven
Nonton
one
Boom
of those
cuma
stronger
pengen lihat
maps
NC
for Boom.
Slicer anjay.
I'd honestly go to the other side for that one. If we go to the distance, I feel like Fancy United might have more of that advantage given their history. And it kind of begs the question to me, why would they go for Split first over Haven? Because if you remember old history, Asrai, Boom used to be the kings of Split. And looking at their head-to-head, it hasn't been the best record for Fancy United. It's kind of like 4-4 right now all throughout
Harusnya
the
menang lah
year.
ya, Boom lah ya.
Lotus is the key marquee matchup of this series right now. Boom selects it for two reasons. I said it a while ago, it's because they haven't been beaten on this map as of yet. But if you remember back in Ascension, this was the Fancy
Berarti jangan lupa di like, guys. Ini
of choice.
10 aja belum
there might
nyampe,
be
like-nya
a bit of
gimana?
discomfort that Boom will try to
Jangan
exploit
pelit-pelit lah.
along the way, even though we did see Fancy
Minkai,
United
apakah
beat
Anda setuju
Dominatus
Breeze dan
at
Sunset harus
this
di-remake
map.
lagi?
The other day, it's still
Sunset
different
sih,
when you're facing off against Boom.
Enggak sih kalau Sunset
But
ya.
yeah, again, it's
Gua
a whole
menikmati
different
aja kalau
beast
Sunset
with this Boom roster.
nggak
So much more experience,
mendominasi itu
so
sebenarnya map
much
itu.
more. I think star
Kalau
power
Breeze
with their
mungkin
individual
bagian
pieces here.
A-nya
Again,
harus
we've talked about
diperbaiki.
it so many times right now, but that is going to be a true challenge here.
Soalnya kayak
for
A-nya tuh
Fancy
kayak
United.
membingungkan
And I will say
jadinya karena
Fancy
terutama hole-nya sih.
that can
Kayak
adjust, that
hole,
has
cache-nya
shown that they
ditutup
do
juga
have,
bagian-bagian itunya
an
tuh kayak
understanding or has
sebenarnya
the
masih ada
ability to
tapi ditutup
understand
doang gitu loh,
their
jadi aneh
opponents,
gitu sebenarnya.
Mid game, the problem is
Maybe
how
langsung
quickly
di
can
rework
they do it?
sekalian
How
gitu
quickly can
daripada
they
kayak
stop
gitu.
Boom from creating a lead, and if they can stop it at the very beginning, that's going to be really huge here for Fancy United.
But it's easier said than done, as right? Because you look at Boom Esports and they're starting things off on their preferred side with the attack. We've seen how incredible their attack was last time around versus Trying Our Best. It was a perfect half, 12-0, and they finished off the scoreline 13-2 at the end of that map versus Trying Our Best. So it seems to me it will be the lay of the land moving forward for Fancy United. If they can't handle Boom early, what are their chances handling them later on into the map series?
Edgy pick, let's go.
I did make a point about Haven a while ago, I also remembered the fact
Sama Bak
that
bisa naik ke
Boom did
segitiganya.
beat
Katanya
Fancy
udah
United
di-fix.
all the way back in Ascension
Ada
on
orang yang bilang
Haven.
udah
So
di-fix.
Fancy needs to prove they've adjusted with their new core on how to face off against Boom.
Now looking at the agent selection here, ladies and gentlemen, no changes for Boom. We're looking at basically everything that they used during their match with Trying Your Best. For Fancy United here, just going to be quickly gandering on what they used against Dominatus. Yeah, basically the same thing right now. One of the players that I think also was incredible during their entire
Agentnya
match,
cuman
aside
beda
from,
di
the hype we've been giving
beda
Jin,
Sentinel
has
sama
got to also
Initiator
be
kalau mereka
Ishio,
sesuai dengan
who I think was so pivotal
Pedo
when they were
picknya.
playing on Bind against Dominatus inside, utilizing his Viper. I do also
loading dong. Loading dong. Kok loading dong? Yo. What the heck? Ini dari sananya kah atau guanya? Bentar ya, gua refresh dulu ya guys ya. Bentar. Bentar. Gua refresh dulu. Ya, streamnya mati, gengs. Ya ampun. Streamnya mati anjir mereka. Dari mereka aja ternyata, guys. Sebentar. Gua coba cari ini di YouTube. Di YouTube ada nggak ya? Di YouTube? Sebentar. Gua cari dulu. Gua cari pengganti. Di Twitch-nya mati anjir itunya. Pertandingannya. What the heck? Lah kocak. Terus nontonnya di mana dong? Di YouTube kagak ada ya? Iya lagi di YouTube kagak ada lagi. Ada. Ada ding. Bentar ya. Ada. Ya, iklan aja nih. Bentar ya. Katanya di YouTube pun di live chatnya ya lagi itu. Lagi nge-lag katanya.
dominadas inside.
Ah, sama-sama guys. Dari sananya guys. Duh, ya udah kita ngobrol-ngobrol dulu kayaknya ya. Kok begini? Soalnya di Twitch langsung mati cuy. Di Twitch langsung mati itunya streamnya. Berarti kan di YouTube ternyata juga sama. Apakah end streamnya kita tungguin dulu lah ya, sekitar 10 menit atau ya berapapun lah ya yang dibutuhkan lah ya. Kita cek dulu lah, kita cek dulu. Iya di YouTube sama aja, sama aja. Di Twitch mati, di YouTube loading ya. Ya gimana dong? Harusnya sih udah mulai ya Akbar ya. Tapi streamnya dari sananya hilang. Tidak ada koneksinya nih. Di Twitch mati, di YouTube loading kayak gini mulu nih. Dari tadi nih. Nih. Loading mulu dari tadi. Parah, langsung disuruh bubar. Parah banget, gue ditinggalin. Parah banget. Ini gue nunggu Twitch restream apa nunggu apa ya?
Who I think was so pivotal when they were playing on
Ini kayaknya bakal tetap ini sih. Ini gue cuma refresh dan akhirnya loading lagi. Enggak itu gue refresh terus dia pakai apa kata-kata terakhir sebelum loading itu. Tagihan internet, bukan internet gua. Kalau internet guanya juga live gua juga udah selesai kali ini. Kalian juga kagak bisa nonton live gua kalau guanya. Ini dari sananya. Halo beda Romus ya. Belum balik sih, belum balik ini. Tapi nggak tahu sih kalau kayak gini kan pertandingannya juga online ya. Apakah dari server sananya aman? Tapi harusnya nggak masalah sih. Ini biasanya kalau kayak gini kan masalahnya di internet di IO-nya ya, hitungannya ya. Dari ESL-nya ya. Menunggu klarifikasi BTS. Kenapa BTS anjir? Kenapa BTS yang dibawa-bawa? Lagu. Gue lagi buka Twitch-nya ESL Asia, keluar lagu anjir. Ini bahkan chatnya juga kayak gini, apa info lakwoy. Bahkan ada asterisk tadi bilang what happened, apa yang terjadi. Terus game dulu kagak mau. Gue kalau lagi setup WP kagak bisa main. Anjir kayak kita kenal banget tuh Frosking, chat WA katanya. Paling tahu tuh WA gua. Nah, request lagu mana bisa, kopi kanan nanti. Ada yang dibilangin gue kagak bisa main kalau lagi posisi WP gitu loh. Sulit banget dah. Sulit banget nggak punya penonton yang perhatian gitu loh. Halo, by the way, siapa? Welcome to the stream. Jangan lupa di like. WP ada Anda. Ya udah kagak usah minta-minta kalau gitu, ngerti WP aja enggak. Wih. Sorry Min. Sore Akete, welcome. Belum balik ya guys ya, mereka ya guys ya, masih muter-muter. Ini streamer pasti bingung juga nih. Waduh, terus streamku gimana? Ulti bang, bocil ulti lagi. Kayak caranya dapat obeng gimana ya? Wah, beberapa orang ada yang dengan cara speedrun, beberapa orang ada yang karena gue kenal. Nah gitu-gitu aja deh. Lagian apa, stream gue tuh belum sebesar itu juga viewernya, jadi gue kagak yang cari gacor-gacor gitu loh itunya, ngasih obengnya. Waduh, mendadak jadi streamer lobby ya. Gimana dong? bukan atas. Udah mulai di YouTube. Bentar.
Esports making that noise.
Bentar ya. Bentar. Bentar, gua ke Twitch lagi. Tapi langsung main guys, Kita time skip dulu ini ceritanya ini. Bentar, tapi dapat iklan dulu ya guys ya. Iklan dulu. Bentar. Nih, ada iklannya nih. Iklan ISO. Iya tahu dah, ISO-nya udah keluar.
Hero looking for a target. The Fancy
Tiba-tiba kita
United
ke masa
already
depan,
wipes those
anjir.
plans.
Truly. Still should have a
Nggak
nade
premium,
for Jin
lu
here.
bayarin sini, mau
Cruz
nggak?
looking at the cross from
Jangan bilang
late.
nggak premium,
Only
lu
mistake that he
bayarin
has
apa?
from mid is that there is that tripwire there. There's the setup, there's the flash. Jin not fully blinded, so you can try to peek for this one.
Cek
Try to
IG
get
atau cek line
something.
jadinya.
It's a little bit too over 3. Just hold on. Yes, I can from the back of the site, fending them off.
Yeah, Berserk's
Bentar, gua
marking
cek IG
the
dulu
site,
deh.
especially giving a big chance for Boom to pivot away from A after that pick from Yes I Can. Now then, Boom and be able to get the plant towards B side. Suka here checking things out as much as possible. NC Slasher though prepare for the push from the waterfall area, and Boom Esports now with the advantage. Check out their close
Emang
home
dapat
stations
apa
yet
hadiahnya?
again. Berserk's NC Slasher very confident they can make a play from this angle. Famous too with a double up official able to get that kill. Berserk's now trading it back. Still, Boom 2v1 now.
Tapi
Having
itu
the
harus
hold in
diunggah di
angles.
Instagram.
Keep an eye out. Yes, I can. Moving in it again. Able to
Drumnya
get the
bentuk
barrel
carousel.
of NC
Bentuk
Slasher. Net
carousel
his
tuh
life
gimana
along
aja?
the way. And it's a battle of the clutch lords here between Fancy and Boom. Tap comes on at Berserks though. Not falling for it the first time. Now gonna go for the walk on in. And yes, I can. Plays it perfectly.
Anjir,
Patience
kalau gua
bears
bikin
fruit.
ini juga,
And
gua harus
Fancy United right
gambarnya
into
banyak
a
juga nih.
3-round scoreline.
And yes, I can. Again, just able to
Backsound, oh iya,
outwit
sorry.
both of the post planters
Gua
here
ngecek
from Boom
ini
Esports.
line dari
Slowly
admin Fuyu
creeping
dulu.
up, just
Sabar
trying
kenapa?
again, just check out everything, see where the opponents might be, and using that instinct of his to full effect. Now, I think we are going to be just looking at a quick little break right now for the or rather a quick little pause right now from that matchup. No.
Format
I almost
digital
got you
berukuran
there.
A2.
I saw you think about
Katanya ya.
it very, very quickly. It's like, do I do it? Do I not?
No.
Ini kenapa
But
jadi
okay.
buka caster lagi
I
nih
just want to
sekarang
point
nih,
this out
boy?
though real quick. Yes, I Can was one of the players that really put so many international talents
Apalagi
to the
nih,
test.
kenapa jadi buka
back
caster
in
anjir?
Ascension, and it's always that decision making that he's able to play with, the way that he's able to check these kind of angles. Look at
Gak tahu
how
Min
those
Fuyu
mental games really
aja yang
work,
ikut
the way
kali
that
ya.
he went
Aku
for that
nggak
tap
ikut
right
deh yang
to just
gini-gini.
goes for the hold.
Guys,
It looks
ada
very
ini,
simple when
ada
spectating it, but it's really
ada
just the
apa nih,
clutch genes
iso
on this
Vanguard.
guy that gives
Biar itu
Fancy
kalau
United
kalian
an edge in those kind of rounds.
terpilih bisa ditampilin
Absolutely.
di
And
Valorant
again,
Connect di
it's
event yang
not easy
12
to do what he
November.
does,
Besok
especially
nih.
with how much pressure the other players
Infonya
from
ada di
Boom was
Valorant
just playing.
ID.
They were so close to each other that an imminent refrag was supposedly to come, but he was just able to isolate that so well. But here's, I think, a big problem right now, or not really a big problem, but something that they just have to be aware of is that
Itu
Boom,
aja kali ya.
with what we're
Lu
seeing
itu aja,
here on
fuyu.
Lotus, has a lot of
Lu
counter
taruh
strategies
story
to
aja kalau
the
enggak.
set defensive posture of Fancy United, right? We saw that there was something to maybe receive the contact on that A site, but because of them opening up mid link, that allowed Boom to just rotate onto that B. There wasn't really any threat
Kayaknya
of a
nih tech
flank. It was
pause
all
deh, bukan
coming in
time
from
out deh,
the
sampai
defenders
kita
side
dikasih
spawn.
lihatnya
So that's something that,
muka casternya, anjir, berarti
I think
ada
Fancy United really has to
cukup
just
lama
watch out for
kayaknya.
here. There
Emang
is
dari
that little
sananya
bit
emang nih
of,
lagi
I think,
ada
this
yang
extra
bermasalah
step that Boom
kayaknya.
can take that can catch them off guard if they're not prepared for it.
And the biggest strength Fancy United has right now is because they don't fully commit on these sites. They, of course, go for the usual utility hold, see if they can get
udah
picks
balik.
if ever.
By the
But
way,
it's
gue baru
usually the
sadar nih,
retakes
skornya
that have
3-1
given
cuy.
Fancy United this edge, and that's
Boom,
a
boom,
big
boom.
difference when you're facing off
Bisa yuk,
against
boom,
Boom.
boom, boom.
Don't lose the numbers because you can
Boom
play
should win this
later on into the
lah.
round anyway once Boom burn their utility. Hero
planted.
advancing here to the high ground too. The plant goes down. And Fancy
Di
United
Fresca
scramble
kayaknya
now
lu
to
telat.
try and play the anti-eco.
Lu nonton 2 stream
Try
apa
to be a little
gimana?
bit more proactive to try to get a catch off. That's not going to work as there's too many players of Fancy here on Heaven. Jin, Showstopper, finds Berserks. And it's all just a game of hide and seek. Shiro's in a position where maybe
Baru tahu
he can
ulti Sky
find
bisa
some
hancurin
cheeky
temboknya,
angles,
bisa.
but no, that's going to be a
Tembok
flawless
aset,
round.
tembok
An easy
sage.
retake here for Fancy.
Itu
And a
ngasih
huge
DPS dia kalau
upset
lagi
against
di
Boom.
depan situ.
Flawless.
This is another example of how Fancy is playing this well. They're waiting for
By the
Boom
way,
to
Boom,
be the
Boom,
ones
Boom.
to advance into them.
Boom.
And yet again, sure, it's an eco round, but
Tadi
it's just a
eco round ya?
byproduct of how Boom plays this map. They love getting as much
Anjir,
space as possible
bunuh
and
nol, Jir.
catching Fancy
Ini
United, or rather their
ada
opponents
kesalahan
off
ini.
guard with
Ada yang
the
salah ini.
angles taken by their players.
Ketika
But if
Berserk
Fancy
yang di
United
atas
doesn't
dan
fall
Boom
for it,
masih
it
di
becomes
bawah.
Fancy with the advantage. It's a 3v1 angle to start with into a waterfall of a retake. It's such an edge right now Fancy United can play
Harus
with.
dukung yang mana ini lah?
Given that they have that breach with the Rolling
sudah
Thunder,
jelas dong.
it'll be even easier
Udah
now.
sesuai dengan bendera.
Ken is reading this hard already.
Waduh,
Look at this, they're pushing against Boom.
dijemput bola ya. Ah, mantap,
Okay,
boleh,
they
boleh, boleh.
receive Jin. Hold on, let's see how this goes. The flash is
Tapi
stopped
apakah
Cruz
mereka
from
sadar
pushing in,
mid-nya
but the pinch
di-push?
is still moving for Fancy United here. Boom's got to
Okay,
be
okay,
prepared.
nice,
They're
nice.
forcing them back bit by bit, but they're taking damage.
Apakah
Here
sadar?
comes
Okay,
Famous.
okay, nice, nice,
Gets a
Pilot.
little Showstopper, opens up
Pecah
C.
telur, pecah telur.
Now, where are we doing? Only one more to remain. It's going to be Shiro. One more on C, and he clears it up 2 versus
Physio.
1. But now he's not going to hear that spike. So he's going to have to go all the way around. That is a long rotation just to try to go for that A
Cine
site.
tinggal sendiri ya.
Far road here for Fisio, and you can see for Fancy United, they tried to play proactive. Boom's prepared for that in response. A little too aggressive,
Suara streamnya
especially
kecilin
when
dikit.
the
Oke,
Rolling Thunder, the
bentar.
paranoia, more so kept them at bay rather
Walah,
than timing it.
Pantesan 100% anjir. Sorry.
And Fancy
Berarti tadi
United,
keras banget ya suara
those who are
streamnya ya.
wondering
Maaf,
now
maaf.
what he can
Kayaknya
do for the
gara-gara
round.
restart
Fisio,
gitu loh.
At least trying to find anyone coming his way. Seems like that's not the case. Boom Esports will get a second round here.
Soalnya kan ke restart gitu
They
kan
got
streamnya tadi.
very close.
Jadi 100%
And I honestly
anjir.
thought it was going to be Fancy to just clear up that one because they had everything set up. Yes, I can, as you mentioned, immediately uses the Rolling Thunder to punish
Mingkai
there.
apaan Andika?
but
Mingkai doang.
it may just be that little bit of lag in between somebody following up on Jin since he was just a little bit
Yang
too
pindah
far
dari Boom
forward
siapa ya?
with that double satchel.
Maksudnya dari
and
roster
him
yang
not getting
kemarin.
any picks, probably
Yang keluar
just
kan Dasking
made
sama Seiren.
tad more
Dasking ke
difficult for Fancy
Global
United
Esports sekarang
to follow up
Seiren
on
lagi
any
cari
eliminations. And as
itu,
soon as we saw that,
pengen jadi
just blink of
coach
an eye, it was just Shiro
atau
up
assistant
against,
coach.
I'm not
Jadi
sure it was
penggantinya
official,
Morea
up against
sama
4 players of
si
Boom.
Takel.
Yeah, well, Boom.
NC Slicer
they're
dari
now
Bigetron
advancing
yang
towards
kemarin.
A yet again. And Fancy United, they're gonna rely on Suka's setup actually to try and get the catch if ever. Trip bars
By the way,
though,
belum like,
are
di-like
for
dulu ya
the
guys ya.
cross for the rotation
Biar kita
rather
sedikit
than
lebih
decide.
FYP.
Perhaps
Karena
Fancy
hari ini
United
kayaknya yang nge-stream Boom Esports banyak.
either the Viper Split or the lockdown to come
Balapan
online,
viewer.
and that's exactly what happens. NC Slash now putting that spike down.
Spike planted.
Set up from the Killjoy as well as Berserks looks to at least watch out.
Bagaimana cara
for the
ngabisin
other
kuota
angle
cepat
not
Minkai?
covered
Gua
by
salah
the
satu
picks.
caranya mungkin
It's Boom Esports instead.
apa ya kemarin ya? Gue cepet tuh kemarin tuh. Zaman-zaman apa ya? Zaman-zaman ke TA tuh nonton.
NC Slash though still able to find him, and it's Boom with the advantage.
Nonton
Jin
itu,
on
nonton-
site can't
nonton
handle more than one.
Selama perjalanan
SI
pulang
can, only
dari
one
TA.
here left.
Play with him.
Lockdown, the countdown's there, and there's just no way to fight. This has to be a knifing. No NC Slasher gives him respect.
Anjir, gua kagak
instead.
pernah main sih.
It will be a
Pakai
third round here
kuota.
for Boom.
Main
At some point, I
Valorant.
thought they were just playing with the
Koneksi
food
gua aja
there.
kalau kagak
They
pakai
just try to
wifi.
bait to maximize
Kocak gaming di sini.
lockdown to get him detained, and as you mentioned, try to go for that stab. But other than that, just again very
Oh ya,
aggressive.
bentar, gua mau ngecek ini udah
posture onto that
1080
side.
belum ya?
I
Bentar
think
ya.
At some point, they really couldn't do anything
Oh, aman
through
sih.
that Viper's
Toy
spit,
Swords,
and this
okay.
is just a testament to how strong both of the Viper players are. Fischio as well as Shiro. Once they have that ultimate locked and loaded, it just feels like there's
Tuh,
nothing that the
nonton
opponent team can do because
Klip ini
even
1080,
though, you know,
nonton
a
Netflix
lot of
tuh.
teams are
Betul.
more
Tapi
versed
kalau Netflix
with the
pada
smoke
akhirnya
range.
sebenarnya bisa kalian akalin
These
kan
guys
pas
just make it
kalian
so
lagi dapat
difficult with
wifi,
how cheeky they play
kalian
inside
download
it.
videonya kan bisa ya sebenarnya biar tonton offline.
Boom Esports
Kalau
trying to
Netflix.
just figure out what's going on towards A. As soon as they realize there's many of these cabinets going for that A site, they pivot towards B, and it leads now to the minds of two thanks to the hands of Famous. Plant going on down. Patience here.
Perkiraan
On the
berapa
side of
skornya,
Fancy,
Kai?
not
Waduh.
really panning out the way they want. And Boom
ini Boom
Esports
lagi
clearing
ngejar
out things.
sih.
Yes, I can though. Still striking back at the least. Fancy
berapa
United,
ya?
they want to be heard in the round. The flash though gets confirmation.
13-8 lah ya, 13-8, 13-8.
Coming on in from Boom again. And it's
8-13,
Shiro, the one
8-13.
watching out on side. Spots
Kiri
the
kan
way, yes,
Fancy.
I can. Neural Theft gonna be also into play. Another flash though to confirm intel, but now they know that Moria's coming from behind.
Ini main pakai
them.
patch terbaru nggak? Biasanya enggak sih, belum sih.
Here comes Yes I Can with a third.
Wah, kok ada serem-seremnya ini.
Time as much as they can. Suka now on defuse duty. Fancy United
Bro,
work hard
we need to
to
be-
make their
we
way
need-
towards the
wait,
side.
wait,
Swing
wait,
comes from
nice,
Moria.
nice
Fancy
trap,
slasher though.
tackle.
The swing at the
Opa.
end is crucial. Boom tie it up.
Wah, opa terbaik anjir.
So
Opa lokal
coordinated
terbaik,
from
bro.
Boom. Moria hitting, getting the
Untung di
very
threadnya
important elimination
jalan,
on Suka
anjir.
there. Allowed NC Slasher to just catch Yes I Can just a fraction of a second. Yes I Can was just about to win.
Lagian lu mau ngabisin kuota ngapain juga
against
sih
NC Slasher
sebenarnya.
there. And then again, Moria comes in with the big plays. They already know he was there because of the real
Hampir ya tadi ada serem-seremnya tuh tadi tuh. Untung threadnya jalan anjir.
A pain here for Fancy is the two nanoswarms. They had to deal in the post.
Here comes Pain
Bebas
though,
mah
courtesy of
kalau
Jin. NC
settingan
Slasher
itu bebas
responds
Balrog.
in kind.
Tapi
Paranoid
biasanya
there.
settingan pro player yang gua tahu tuh kebanyakan low graphic semua. Buat maksimalin FPS semua.
But Famous, he has other plans.
ya
Here we go.
showstopper lagi.
And put that on
BG
the wall
Pamos.
and posterize Suka.
BG
Boom,
Pamos
Esports take the
punya
lead from that.
showstopper lagi langsung digalonin itu.
Really just
Walaupun
again,
mahal
showing
ya.
force the dominance
Nih,
here
Boom
of
belum bisa
Famous in
bangun
those
ekonomi
type of
nih, walaupun mereka
situations.
menang ya.
And I do like the aggression that we're
Tuh,
seeing here for Fancy
ekonominya
United,
masih
but Boom Esports
di tepi-tepi
they're very
gitu loh.
much, akin
Belum-
to such
belum
aggression.
terbangun.
They're a team that loves to do the same type of aggressive posture, aggressive plays, and you could really see that both teams are
Jadi
just
kalau
trying
menang
to
dapat benefit
one-up each other,
apa
but
aja,
at
uang
least
dan
for
nanti
now,
bisa
Fancy's
masuk
tried it
ke
twice, and it
pertandingannya
hasn't
yang di
panned
Thailand.
out the way that they wanted to.
And boom, they find a way to just
Dikirim ke
out-clutch the
Thailand ya?
aggression. And now,
Di Thailand
this
ada
will
talent
temper
udah.
the tempo of Fancy
Langsung di
United.
bracket.
Yes, I can though.
Anjir, dia orang
Familiar
multi lagi,
corridor
anjir.
for him. Now
Waduh,
gonna go for
waduh,
Holy
waduh,
Thunder,
waduh.
and I say apparently I'm wrong because Fancy United take the fight yet again to Boom.
Bridge-nya
Just a few
sih,
seconds later,
ini ya,
and the
meresahkan
last
ya,
round,
bridge-nya
Famous
si
still
Fancy
feeling
ya.
the heat from the previous one, fighting back to catch out. Yes, I can. A numbers advantage here for Fancy. They know the spike's also out in the open, but Moria other plans now with Paranoia. Berserks takes advantage of the chaos. Fancy will
3-on-3
disengage for the
winnable
time
banget.
being, and all that bloodshed just to make it 3v3.
Do they know that nobody's on the site right now?
Okay.
And immediately just stumbles Achilles, almost catches Moria peeking through. No big ultimates here, but I mean, actually, they have a Viper spit, so we'll have to see how that goes. He's not even gonna know about this. And
Dapat
Jin
dua lagi.
hits one near and afar, wherever you are.
Wah, ketahuan
Jin will
juga
be able to
posisinya.
take
Wah,
you
sulit,
down.
sulit.
Berserk's the
Sulit.
only one still standing, stuck here by tree, using
Sulit
utility
untuk
trying to
Berserk.
buy time, but Suka has other plans. The Cyber Cage gives him the element of surprise, and here they come.
Langsung diguruduk. Masa?
Clever boys
Gak
from
bisa, gak
Fancy
bisa.
United.
Sulit, sulit.
They're gonna tie up the scoreline here.
Man, that was absolutely
Aduh,
phenomenal.
gua bilangnya
Jin's
8-13,
timing
tapi kok masih
and
ngejar
just
gini.
sheer confidence.
Gua pikir
allowing
tuh
him
udah
to
dapat
catch
momentum, gak bakal
the
kalah lagi
rotation
tuh Boom
here
tuh.
of Boom, who was trying to play a little bit more crossfire heavy on that post plant. They wanted to see to show that maybe they were all playing on tree and then have famous play on drop right there. But again, Jin's timing and eagerness to be able to get there as soon as he can is allowing Fancy to get these post plants back into their favor.
Itu kalau nyala Molly sebelum mati gimana, masih sempat kah?
Esports.
Bisa.
This is such an even
Tapi ya,
matchup right now.
crosshair dulu aja yang ke bawah masalahnya kan.
Boom,
Molly kan di tanah ya.
The best. Fancy United looking to just recover from some local woes, and they're doing it right now.
Halo Bang, telat nggak? Ini masih map 1 kok.
That has beaten them before on the international
Belum
stage.
first half juga, aman-aman.
Exciting to see
Masih
this
first half.
game yet again, the series yet again. And Boom, though, not the best buyer right now. Holding on to Sheriff for one, few pistols on the others. It's a Nico for them.
Ini
As
map pick
Fancy
siapa?
United
Kalau nggak salah Lotus ini boom.
more of a default hold. Suka loses the camera, expecting contact to come his way.
By the way, yang belum like, di-like dulu ya guys ya. Kalian bisa bantu Watch Party ini dengan di-like saja.
Come into the side with the rest of his team. Fancy United.
New emote-nya bagus Bang. Itu bukannya Anya itu. Buat fuyu.
There's going to be a flash on
Fuyu
Fish here. There's the
cosplaynya,
charge right in.
astaga.
And it doesn't catch them too hard. But
Morea
Morea just goes
Morea
swinging, not even
dapat
missing.
dua, dapat
Hits the
vandal.
shot, equalizes the numbers, and they can actually try to go to pick up these
Semuanya
weapons.
dapat vandal nggak sih?
Spike, huge
Cuma
stuff
dua ya?
coming in from the new
Oh iya, cuma dua.
controller of Boom.
Yeah, I told you could do it like round 1. Finally makes it happen round 11. But anyway, it's an opening now made here towards the seaside. You also get the lockdown into play. Jin trying to make his own play with the showstopper. Shiro is a victim. Another one will be Moria. Lockdown's also broken along the way. And welcome to Jin Sanity. Because that was just such a flow of motions.
Gue habis baca jadi gue bingung. Press siapa ya ini ya? Oh, bagus juga mainnya.
And Jin is just putting everything, the whole fancy team on his shoulders when they need
lupa
him
pihak
to step
siapa
up.
gue aja
He does
goblok.
not
Last round
disappoint.
before the switch.
He just
Apa Rico?
What was that?
Hai hoi
Need
aja
to get
lu.
one. Showstopper to break the lockdown plus get the kill.
Maklum guys. Gua baru bangun. Itu alasan gua tuh.
Still winning that duel even though he was just basically looking everywhere. Absolutely insane here from Jin. And now, see it already, Boom Esports. Last round for them to try to equalize things 6-6 if they can. Fancy United, they got themselves a whole lot of firepower and a whole lot of confidence to back it up.
Yeah, Fancy United now feel.
Itu Granite Race udah di nerf belum Bang? Kayaknya di sini patchnya masih patch lama sih seingat gue ya. Belum patch baru biasanya kalau turnamen kayak gini. Apa masih berjalan gitu dari kemarin-kemarin kan soalnya.
4-1 split, leaving Shiro to go for the lurk using his toxic strain as that advantage.
Halo Rido Rafiki, welcome to the stream by the way.
Already understand what the
Oh,
setup
yokai
is.
morning person
Suka
sekali. Oh, jelas.
backs away, doesn't want to contest this.
Apa itu
Moria also
matahari?
peeks into the bend. And Boom's assessing if they can actually make the hit here happen.
Try to do so. They got the
Udah
utility
jadi
right now compared to
apa
before.
iblis
You know
pilar
how they were able to do that
atas gua.
with just Moria rushing right in the back of the site. Oh, there's a tripwire for default plan.
Oh, udah ketahuan.
Is there going to be a wallbang to punish Moria? No, not going to happen just yet. There's just too far away from the defenders. And this is going to be a pure retake scenario. Famous trying to get closer
retake lagi.
look here at top
Five-man
C. There's about 3
retake.
people that he's about to swing into.
Gila-gilanya tuh,
Gotta be
gue pikir kayak gitu.
He got out though, and here comes
Wah,
the
langsung di
now. No
paranoia.
escape. Famous is caught in those cams. And Fancy United push in
Nice,
with
dapat-
the neural
dapat
tap
timing.
also into play.
Mantap.
Moria though deciding to take
Satu lagi
down
boleh sih
one
tadi
with
sebenarnya ya.
him. It will be
Tapi
3v3
nice,
for the time being.
masih
Still playing onto the outside using the
masih
utility
3 lawan 3, masih 3 lawan 3, winnable.
Tackle coming into play. Shiro with
2-0,
lineup with the kill
2-0.
with another one, and looks to be the Shiro show here unless Cruz can change that channel.
Banzai,
The time is
Shiro!
ticking.
Shiro,
Fancy
banzai!
United has run out of members to play
Anjay.
with. Shiro now
Shiro,
confirms
banzai,
the
anjay.
credits. We are tied up at the half.
Iblis bulan atas ke 1.
Multi abilities on the
Gua
post,
nol, bro.
not just
Gua nol sebenarnya,
spamming
bukan
through
1,
the smoke
nol.
with weaponry.
Zero.
Very
Terkuat
difficult
itu.
for Fancy to just retake that situation. They
Shiro Bankai,
dealt
semuanya
with
aja
Famous
Shiro
pretty
Super Saiyan,
quickly. He wasn't
Shiro
able to get any
Shiro
picks
Bankai,
whatsoever.
Shiro
But there was
Ryotiki,
also
Ryoiki
positioning there
Tenkai,
that we saw
Shiro
from
Gear 5,
Moria,
semuanya aja.
where no one was looking for him from Fancy. I think everybody from Fancy
Semua.
just guessed that their
Kasih
opponents
dia,
would
kasih.
be at C long before the neural theft tag actually came through.
Bang, dukung mana?
pretty
Dukung
huge
serigala.
start here for Boom, and again
Serigala
the battle
galak.
continues. It's been neck and neck here, Dax, as we can see on that scoreboard 6-6.
Yeah, it's been absolutely even here in terms of the scoreline, but for me, I feel like Fancy
Shiro
United
Sage mod semua
had
QB
a
mod
good
semua
half
tuh.
there. The way that they
Apa,
are able
six
to
pad,
shut
six
down
pad,
Boom
nah.
just like that on the preferred side,
Udo.
understand those kind of set plays. Now then, with them moving on to the attacking side, the mantle of responsibility, it's on the shoulders of Jin to see what space he can make.
trying to just move
makin
fluidly here
banyak nih
everywhere.
Zero ini.
Securing, I think there's the ult charges. Just because, you know, it's the free
Gak ada
world. Why
galak-galaknya
not?
bang. Wah
It's very
parah banget
realistic.
Firman.
True.
Hati-hati
you have
kamu.
one condo here, you have
Aku-
an apartment here,
aku sih
there's one, you got this beachside
khawatir sama
property.
keselamatan
There
kamu
you
aja
go,
sih.
And then you build a hotel and stay in Monopoly.
I actually
Do not
No,
Dia bang
underrate.
kamu sire kayak tahu aja.
yeah, Monopoly.
Aku aja nggak tahu itu apa tadi.
So, again, you just need to buy everything of the same color before you can become basically a real estate mogul.
Alright,
Anyway,
hang on.
at least you
Yeah.
know this game, Valorant.
I do. A whole lot more than I do
Mainnya
Monopoly.
cut noise banget nih.
Goes to show what kind of person I am. Anyways,
Oke.
it's going to
Udah
be
keluar
some
suara.
slow, aggressive hold, and now they just burst into the site, you know, clearing as many
Pala
corners
Cyber
as
udah
they
kelihatan.
can. Mario's been spotted already. Jin could actually have a good time here against
Shiro.
Shiro. He's about to swing in just a couple of seconds, or maybe just wait for Shiro to
Turun,
drop
Shiro.
down. There it is.
Turun.
Oh, they're side by side.
He doesn't
nice
hear that.
timing.
Instead, Jin distracted and instantly Sasher able to net the kill to start things off on the raid take. Smokes are coming on at Boom Esports now looking for the clear famous.
Harusnya sih dapat sih ini.
Will be Shiro and NC
Nice.
Sasher making sure it's
Nice,
free.
nice,
will
nice.
be able to sprout
Nice, nice.
with the bodies of Fancy United.
Kalau gue jadi Shiro,
being
gue
the
teneng-neng
fertilizer.
gitu.
Boom Esports
Gue
still take
taunting.
this pistol
Pakai inspect
and
aja
get
udah.
the lead moving into the second half.
That was a smooth transition there from
Klasik, salah satu klasik
from
terbaik
Boom
ya.
here.
Walaupun tidak bisa
There
mengalahkan
was a
gravitational
position where you saw
uranium.
from Fancy they
Apa?
had some
Gravitational uranium
post plans, but
neuroblaster.
Once the strain on the three players
The best
was a little
classic
bit too
gun
early,
in
you can see
Valorant,
already
I don't
Fancy
care.
changing their minds rather than holding that postman. They don't really have as strong molly abilities as a nanoswarm. They only had the I believe the snake bite, not really the best for early
Tim Indo
post-plan
gabung.
situations
Anda-
like that.
Anda sudah
In any
berapa lama ada di Indonesia
since
tidak tahu
Boom
Bumi
just
Sport
started
itu?
to press up
Tim
a
Indo.
whole lot faster. Fancy got caught in terms of the timing, and you could really see that with how they
Ribet
tried
itu
to just,
ngomongnya. Iya, gua sempat
encapsulate
lupa
once again the
bagian
situation, which
belakangnya
they
tadi.
were not able to do so.
No Fancy, they have the sheriffs now.
Nama skin
and Boom
panjang banner
Esports.
soalnya tuh.
On the anti-eco, Berserk is the one who spots out that potential contact. But you notice it again here, Asrai. Fancy sending everyone to first secure the orb, second perhaps leave someone on the lurk, and Jin is just
Dulunya
being
Tens mantan
fed
player
these
Boom,
ultimate
betul.
orbs as much as
Makanya dia
possible
terinspirasi
to
dengan
build the
warna merah itu
showstopper
kan.
if ever.
Itu awalnya dari Boom itu.
Counterplay
Nice,
though.
famous,
This
nice.
time, Boom
Nice
had
escape
enough
juga.
hearing that orb being taken, and Jin, he's gonna go to the bench for the round.
You might as well just get the punish, right? It's not free real estate anymore. It is what you call the opponent tax. I don't know where I'm going with this, but yeah, they had to fight for it, and they couldn't.
So if you don't buy a property you land on, it goes to auction, and you know how that works, right? That's
yeah.
the
Harusnya udah tutup
So
mata
there you go.
dapat lah
They
ini.
just outbid Boom Esports for that orb,
Yeah, better weapons.
and Shiro instead is sitting here, not in jail, just visiting.
Oh, dibikin bersuara dulu trinya biar mereka mau ke sini. Padahal udah kelihatan.
Anyway, Boom's here. But yes, I can. That is a statement pick to open up the site.
Oh my
Is Boom
God.
another one? Yes, I can. Yes, he will with the two, sure. But will it be enough?
Anjir,
to secure the round?
serifnya
Pick up
kayak
Marcel along
gitu
the way.
ya.
Low HP already here for Fancy United, especially Yes, I can. And as
Wah,
NC Sasha
NC Sasha lagi low
looks
lagi.
to play into halls. It's an
Ini
isolated
di
Boom
run
versus
Edgar sama
Cruz
Spectre
if ever.
sulit hidupnya.
Fancy United. They
Flash
do
dulu
have
yuk.
the Bando.
Opa
Still
Opa
under
Takel
control.
tolong di flash
Famous
dulu
now.
itu.
Moving forward. Boom has good chance now to go for the clears if they win these
Ooh,
duels.
super clean, super clean. Nice,
Famous already confirms it. Crusto survives the
Korbannya tackle
firefight
aja.
away from the site in a 2v1. Paranoia being primed, but he realizes there might be no time. Needs to run through the smoke. Looks for the hot shot. Cruz
Iya,
wins.
mahal dong.
But Famous
Lumayan mahal
is
sih
even
hitungannya.
better at the end. Boom now.
Tapi ya udah lah ya.
2-round gap, but that was a great eco from Fancy.
Absolutely. Yes, I can. Hitting some crucial shots right there. Even though they were pushing through the smoke of the Viper, it still didn't matter somehow, and they were still able to convert a little bit more value from that, even though they did lose.
Tim luar
the
itu
round.
ya,
So,
ngeri-ngeri
huge
di
stuff here
pistol
for
roundnya anjir.
Fancy
Apa,
United.
di
They will have
pistol
a full
sama,
set of
nggak, lebih tepatnya
utility and
savingnya.
weaponry
Di round
coming
savingnya
into
tidak boleh
what is the
dianggap
bonus
remeh anjir.
round for Boom, because Boom wasn't really able to save any of the weapons, just shy of that Bulldog. So this is going to be huge right now for Fancy if they try to create something. Going to be pushing
Aku
through the
dukung yang
one
menang.
way,
Waduh,
knowing that it's
kardus
just
dong.
a false pretense of aggression here from Boom.
Yeah, the gun advantage is so clear here for Fancy United. And they
That's why kenapa nggak
will
duelist
feel
lagi ya?
confident moving
Ya,
into rubble. And
kemarin
clearing out the
performanya kan
legal
sempat
areas
menurun
where
ya.
does come from.
Pas jadi duelis ya, awalnya bagus, terus lama-lama turun, akhirnya dicari role yang pas buat dia lagi. Karena tabrakan roll sama Fikri juga kan, sama Famous kan. Akhirnya ya udah, dia sudah nyaman di Sentinel sekarang kayaknya. Roll ya. Killjoy sih to be itu ya, exact ya.
Fancy instead, rotation even better. Hustling easy. They don't expect this actually. The smoke comes on out. They still think it's towards that A side, and it's Moria who's now in a bad spot. Paranoia. The smoke's there too. They gotta go for the stall if ever. Fancy United, they're just knocking on the doorsteps of Boom now.
Yeah, there's Jin getting that ROI on his showstopper, able to clear the entirety of that C site.
Ada yang namanya roll Sentinel, bukan tim Sentinel.
With that late lurk, able to find NC Slasher all the way through mid. It's going to be Shiro right now and Fischio if Shiro can time it perfectly, but unfortunately,
tapi ada trap anjir.
Not gonna happen. Can't pick up the Sheriff. It's just going to be the big pinch here from the remaining members of Boom. They still have a bit of utility here, so maybe if they can use that, they can isolate a bit of these fights. But Jin, that cross, clears it up perfectly.
Angle-nya ngeselin juga ya, angle di situ ya.
Clean up for Fancy.
Yeah, the crossfire so strong there from Fancy to greet anyone coming in from halls. Another one bites the dust. Yes, I can. That's a second.
Sentinel tim apa bang? Tim influencer.
Exits for him. That's value moving forward.
Enggak sih, mereka actually rosternya bagus kok.
There too. Shiro thinking about it. Can he actually pick up a gun in time or die to the spike instead? The TP out from Cruz. Shiro falls to the detonation zone. Fancy United get on the board here for the second half.
Semua akan killjoy pada waktunya. Gue lo sering bilang duelis-duelis ini akan killjoy pada waktunya, kayak dubstep.
What you would kind of assume from having such strong firepower here for Fancy,
killjoy pada akhirnya
really letting it go into that site. Still, of course, 7-8. They're really
welcome to the stream.
Keep this lead of Boom as minimal as possible. So if Boom trips up, there's going to be something huge. Speaking of Boom, they actually have Berserks. Now going to be using an Odin. Where did he position himself? On the C side. So they're trying to read this and just try to punish.
Bukan masalah kena bomnya, dapat duitnya itu ordinary.
Actually isn't safe anymore because again of that
itu kalau satu tim wipe out baru dapat duit hitungannya, bukan masalah kena bom apa enggaknya, bukan alasan matinya yang jadi dapat duitnya. Astaga.
And that can just be some good covering fire if ever, but cover now is out as the 1-for-1 trade is a go towards that B side. Seems like Fancy United though. They pivot away from C, rotating towards A, and Boom. They have put their forces towards the middle of the map instead. But this guiding light doesn't get the intel because of the top 6. Plus gonna be there too, and now NC Slasher sees something is amiss on the opposite end. The Trailblazer instead. Look at the scouts.
Yang nonton 100 like-nya di 100-in dulu yuk. Setengah aja belum anjir. 50-in dulu deh. Ya, 50 dulu deh. Ya.
Leaving
milestone kita pelan-pelan deh.
To play there, just like use that step to reposition just in case. So NC Slasher going to be holding on Heaven here, while the rest of Fancy start pushing in. There's the Rolling Thunder. Is there going to be any victim whatsoever? He can't really find Moria before Moria gets the pick, but Jin, 180 headshot onto NC Slasher, clears up the side. Famous.
Faktor.
Can get a pick. That's going to be the showstopper. But it's 3 on the side before he can do anything. And yes, I can deny.
Aku berharap kan.
2 versus 1.
I mean, Fancy is
tapi apalah hanya berharap.
Playing with and against drop all throughout this game. They always want it as much as possible. They're the ones instead who knows the timing. And the Boom tries to actually utilize that. It's seen by someone like Yes I Can or Jin as soon as possible. So Berserk's gonna save the Odin. We'll find out what this this weapon rather is for later on. Maybe a special tool that can help Boom Esports later. But Fancy United, their rotation has given them a tied scoreline.
Yeah, it's special tool, but
pantasan saving dia pakainya Odin anjir.
Is that the new Frontier Odin? Oh, I think it is. This is the first time I'm seeing it.
Tidak, ini akan melewati threshold.
You're absolutely right. You know, going back to your point,
8-13.
with Fancy just being so good at playing off of the utility, the awareness of Jin here, and he's been such a big factor, if you can see, with how much impact that he's gotten, considering that he's just been pushing aggressively into the site by himself for a free couple of seconds before his teammates can even assist him. 14-10-2 is massively underrated, absolutely strong, and no one is actually able to win against Jin in these past couple of aim duels as well.
Yeah, Jin has just been nigh unstoppable at opening up these sites here for Fancy United. And this is a big reason why they always want to give him these orbs as much as possible. Sido looking to the hit, and Fancy United, as soon as they felt confident to actually go in here, they already disregard the gamble Boom had to play towards A lobby and try to push it. It's basically a free site, so Berserk sit back on the way. The Odin is there though, going for the spam. Yes, I can. Taking a bit of damage, sure. But Boom Esports, they have to play from the flank instead.
4 flank, let's go.
They have the Cypher though.
Wah, ketahuan tapi sama Cypher ya. Ketahuan 4 flank anjir.
Try and go for the disengage. The flash though comes into
Wah,
play.
Berserknya juga udah.
Isolating Berserk
Bye-bye.
to take care of business on the
Jadi
other
lah,
side of the
pincer.
map. But Famous from afar. That's already a kill at the yes I can. Critical damage off the Suka.
Nice, nice.
United though, they might be in danger. But
3-3, masih bisa nih, masih bisa.
Time crew is here, getting ready again. It's Fisher with
Nice,
Moria though
Moody.
from the top, and
That's
Ashley
Moody
Shaffer
for you.
will end it on a high note. It's gonna be close on the defuse, but Boom
Dapat,
Esports
dapat.
should win this round.
Wow, I honestly thought that was going to be Fancy United. They got Berserks. They were
Dan Yokai pengen suka map apa? Gua kagak ada map yang paling favorit kayak gimana sih.
Showstopper pick from Famous. The
Apa ya, map
heroics of
favorit gue
Moria
ya?
going on higher ground, which I thought
Kayak
was
biasa
just going
aja
to
gitu loh
be
semuanya. Gue kagak ada yang
kind of
benci banget,
diversion so
kagak
his
ada yang
teammates can
suka
get the
banget.
picks, but he's the one that gets the value off of a Stinger double kill and an NC
Budi
Slasher.
Meister ya,
All he had to do
permainan
was just hit that follow
unexpected.
refrag. What a thrifty
Tidak
retake here from
diperkirakan.
Boom Esports. Did not expect that. Absolutely.
Langsung dikasih tahu sama
Great
caster
show
bro.
for a masterclass on retake, showing
Meister,
even
the
though you
Clutch
are down
Master,
on utility,
anjay.
you can still make something happen.
And this time around, Boom, what they
Ini orang
did
emang X Factor
last
sih ini.
round, they're trying to do so
Dia suka
again.
main-main licik
They
gitu loh,
only
Budi ini.
Moria to be the
Iya.
positive in this one.
Sayangnya kadang-kadang bisa kayak gitu juga ya guys ya.
Just knows it all, but NC Slasher knows the
nice,
angle
nice
even
trade.
better. From
Oke lah.
afar, Jin is just
Oke lah,
clubbed.
satu.
Real Theft though gets the intel, and Fancy United, they back away as the Seekers from Boom will try to just get rid of that disparity, knowing what's going on.
Lagi utama KJ.
Jellyfish is just on the very, very long
Ya
trail
anjir gue padahal
to
baru
go to the
memuji-muji Budi.
Berserks is already here. He
Tumbang
only has
anjir.
a lone alarm
Kan
bot.
pusing ya.
He's gonna get broken.
Nice basak.
Goes for the swing.
Nice, one
Gets
more.
the double pick. Cruz gonna get
more.
cleaned up.
Mati ya
No, he
udah.
cleans it up and actually gives us
Gue
the
pikir
2
besok
versus
masih
2.
hidup, ternyata udah
There's
meninggal
going to be
lagi dia.
one playing into the side. That's going to be the planter. Famous now trying to deny Cruz's life, but there's a quick
Let's go!
TP onto A.
Ketahuan
But
itu
Famous
pasti.
catches it, and that's
Harusnya
when the spike
ketahuan
drops.
kalau temennya ada di side mana
That is
gitu.
So unfortunate for Cruz.
Soalnya dia ngulti
All
anjir.
he needed to do was take a single
mean,
step back. Really didn't
let's
know
go.
that. But Shiro
Let's go.
there wins it versus Fish.
Shiro Ultra Instinct, let's go.
Esports, they were just a step ahead, quite literally, of their opponent into that one. If he just backed away,
Itu Berserk tuh,
it's a
yang menangin round tadi
heartbreaker
Berserk
because
anjir.
you on your screen that
Dapat
should be
2
fine.
di
You're covered, you're good
entry
to go.
tadi.
Yeah.
But you saw the animation, he just hunches over like that. This is why posture is so important, man.
Yeah.
Am I
You know,
wrong?
Pandal Prelude dipakai mulu ya, enak sih emang feel-nya tuh. Enak. Kayak tajam
Yeah,
gitu loh.
you're absolutely
Suaranya berat
correct
tapi
for that.
tajam
You don't
tembakannya
wanna
kayaknya, berasa ya.
feel ferocious when you know you can over, so better for guys.
Yeah, well,
Udah
let's see
dijawab
what
Hilman,
Boom
astaga.
Esports can do. Even more so now on this defense.
God.
Aggressive towards C, Famous with the covering pain shells. And to his surprise, or to his
Pandal
calculations,
Suigetsu.
yes, like
Pandal Legend ya?
is a victim of
Pandal
the explosives.
Prelude tuh bener-bener ini ya, terasosiasikan sama Suigetsu ya.
Dicey, Fancy is the one trying to figure out.
Pandal Legend
how to
moment
set
lawan
it down.
Pepper X itu ya. Tung
Oh, they're
tung
gonna be trying
tung,
to
3
able
kepala
to do this
langsung
once
tuh.
again. No more yes I
Pasti
can.
breeze anjir.
Give them that assistance with the flashes and such. But we are seeing the Cypher lurk on mid, on B. There's no traps to stop him. Wait, did the turret actually did? And then he backed away. I think he was. Yeah, so he's going to have to just maybe default with the rest of his team, try to bully for the C site. But this is where it could get a little bit more tricky. There's a little bit more time here. So the play right now for Fancy.
masuk,
Show a little bit of forces on
Mase.
C. If they have to rotate on A right now, they have to do it here unless they
Ini posisi
can
di sini mulu
commit
nih.
to the C side. It's all or nothing.
Dapat lagi dong.
We have it, and it is
Posisi ini mulu yang
nothing
nge-kill anjir.
thanks to NC
Mereka tidak belajar apa
slash
gimana sih?
Fancy United. They're trying
Iya,
to
satunya
find
ketahuan
a
lagi kan di sini.
from their wallets, but they're coming out with
Wah,
MC.
harusnya tahu nggak sih dia
Boom
ke stair?
Esports They've
Dapat
already
info nggak
marked
sih?
all the
Sudah.
angles where Fancy can come from. Time has effectively run on out. There's no way for Fancy
Udah
to
sih,
win
harusnya
this
saving
one.
sih ini, saving.
And Boom has been on a roll ever since we saw them just mix up all of their pace Asarai, especially
Yang map
after
Lotus
that
di revamp
150
kapan bang?
round.
Emang ada kabarnya? Udah.
Man. They lost control here and
Betul
Boom
lagi,
just
nice.
clearing up. Shiro, confidence swinging out on mid stairs there just to get the weapons away. But man, I did not expect that to actually to be what transpired on Mound. The nade
Yes,
kill
sedapnya
from
tetap
Famous. I
info.
thought there was going to be a counter,
Tetap info, ada
a
orang.
counter pick from Fancy, especially with Cruz getting the more late paranoia off, forcing Boom to actually back into a corner. It still didn't matter. They still were able to get that pick off. Anyways, as the round starts here, Fancy still wanting to try their metal here on that C site. You can see Jin now equipped himself.
Ada ngeri-ngerinya tuh kalau mau di battle di situ aja.
Distance, of course, it's not going to matter. It's not going to happen. It's not going to work at all.
Inventory, drag Judge away.
Halo
discard
Makoto,
the
welcome to the
ground.
stream.
And that's exactly what happens there. Boom Esports, they just get a pick for free at the start again. And as Fancy now have to go for the clear without their duelist, it's going to be difficult. The flash though gives them a chance. And Suga
nice
makes
trade.
the opening happen. Moria though responds in kind. Famous now with a boom, but they should get intel that here
nice. Dapat satu.
targets. Famous gets one.
Nice,
before
Budi
this
juga.
trade. Boom again with the
Tinggal satu
advantage.
orang.
3v1
Yuk.
now. Moria.
Prediksiku masih oke nih kayaknya
He's
nih.
still there though.
Kalau menang 8-13
Yes,
beneran
I
gimana
can
nih?
now. In one of those scenarios, he needs to clutch again with. He's holding on though. He'll still here by the bend area. Shiro's there for the flank if ever. It's such a big problem for Fancy. How do they isolate these angles? Moria, sure, he's all alone.
Yo,
in
match
that
point,
peak, but
let's
he
go.
gets 3-4 the round, and this is it. Match point for Boom for the first map.
How does Boom thread the needle of all of these aggressive CC utilities?
Cenayang mulu.
They get stunned. They still somehow get the pick on Jin. Again, he had a judge, but they had teammates right behind him that could immediately save him or get that refrag. But no, it doesn't matter at all here. Boom,
Bisa tidak
able to still
ngomongin
get
ini
that
di sini nggak
conversion,
sih?
and it happens at the
Cek lu
11th
ya.
hour Dax when you can see Fancy creating that huge lead, creating that tempo. They immediately shut it down, especially coming off again from what I would remind our viewers, the thrifty round retake on that C site. Absolutely bonkers here from Boom.
Kalau bener 8-13 fix orang dalam. Siapa yang bisa prediksikan? Orang dalam pun tidak bisa prediksikan anjing.
They're at the border and they just make it work by marginal inches basically. And incredible picks to begin with. They built this lead up Asarai. They put the pressure on with the Viper's Pit. And now Boom. They're waiting to see if Fancy will dare break this door and go for the cross, making noise though towards the doorway.
Oh, Berserk ke sandwich ini anjir.
Fake until yet again.
Si Berserk.
Boom.
Ini kalau di paranoia abis nih Berserk.
Here we go again. Same sound cue. He's just waiting for the timing. Doorway's broken.
Beneran
Paranoid
lagi.
to play Berserk. He's gonna get victimized there by Jin.
Aduh.
Just didn't expect perhaps that utility to come his way. Fancy now move to B.
Okay, that's going to be the Viper's Pit. Null and void already here. There can be a push
Ya,
from
itu-
Shiro if ever.
itu aja
Moria
lah.
is waiting at a position here on
Itu
top B to try to go
udah
for
pasti
something.
lah.
Famous
Kalau
no
paranoia
nades.
masih ada dilakukan lah itu.
Has
Ya kali
the
enggak.
Satchel backs away immediately. And it's ulti for ulti here. Moria, timing, good. Gets one,
Budi!
two, onto Jin. The conversion
Budi
is gonna
lagi!
press- allow
Budi
them to press a little further.
meresahkan.
And look at this big flag
Tidak
coming in
cuma
from
untuk
Shiro.
movie sport pada
Timing
zaman-zaman di
good, flicking
Bigetron.
feather. Shiro now on
Bagi
board
Fancy pun
also.
meresahkan.
And
GG.
the flank has been
next
essential
map.
for Boom. This
GG next
time
map,
they will
8-13,
outlast
let's
a
go.
hunt. Yes, I can. The Rolling Thunder. A last screech perhaps from Fancy United to buy time. It can be though. A signal victory if played right. Aftershock also into play. NC Sasha trying to go for defuse. But yes, I can. He's doing it so far. The shorty's there. Moria shouldn't have enough time. And Fancy United at the brink of their demise to survive with the spike and live to fight another round.
Itu
Yes, I
aftershocknya
can. The
dapat dia,
miracle
Cok.
worker. This man still somehow manages to find
Yeay,
the
aku bukan
time
orang
to be
dalam
able
tuh,
to
lihat.
throw out everything, not get punished, and still put
Aku
himself
bukan
in a
orang
position
dalam.
where his remaining utility actually still denies the start
Lagi
of
orang
the
dalam emang
defuse,
bisa
and now
predik.
NC Slasher
Gila
had to
lu.
try to have that
Kagak
spike,
gitu
as you
caranya.
saw, because of the timer almost running down that clock. tried to half it, but the aftershock was
Apaan,
huge.
boy?
And yes,
Anjir.
Ican really standing on top with 20 kills, well deserved. This man has been such a hard-working fragger for Fancy United.
It's not just a name,
Tapi ini
it's a play
B-nya
style.
mulu nih yang
And here comes
digeprek
now
nih,
the showstopper
akhirnya.
to begin the
Mereka udah
action.
tahu celahnya
Fancy
di mana
now
kayaknya.
back into B. They won
Oh, di B
before
kita
here.
dapat, guys. B
Maybe
aja,
they
B
can do
aja.
so again. But they still need to deal with the full forces of Boom this time
Bridge-nya
around.
sih harus di-
One now gonna go on down to Boom, but also
Ajar
finding
dulu
the
anjir.
intel
Tuh
towards
bridge-nya
side.
langsung kabur
Suzuka
buat bisa
exposing his
aftershock
position.
lagi.
And watch though towards the link doorway. That can be a crucial point of contention between Jin and NC Slasher. But Shiro now, Snakebite gonna get thrown famous, moving in towards the cage. Fisher on the other side, looks for the spam. Fisher wins
Nice,
the duel
nice.
of the Coliseum, but Boom
Okay,
gets
okay,
to
nice
make
trade,
that
nice trade,
trade.
nice
It's
trade
3v2.
semuanya.
It's NC Slasher
Yuk,
winning the
selesaikan
pivotal
yuk.
duel. And
Defender,
this leads
ultimate
now to the
killjoy.
lockdown
Wah, ini
for
orang
the
nih,
play.
ngesel
Yes,
nih.
I can.
Harus
Same
di-
lineup.
harus dikejar.
And result perhaps no. It will just be Boom.
Kejar dia,
taking away
kejar
for the
orang
time
ini.
being.
Orang meresahkan
Like,
bridge
and he's
anjing ini.
himself,
Nice.
and they will secure the kill here for the Boom Esports
GG, next
squad,
map, let's
as
go.
well as the map. 13-9, Boom Esports with a series lead.
That's
Mantap.
going to be painful for
Mantap, mantap.
Ican. He had utility to basically play that post plan, but the time for him to pressure Boom
Apaan sih,
here was
Musi
not
apa?
really there. As you saw, as that spike got defused, there was still an extra 4 seconds for them on top of the full defuse. So that was just something that he couldn't really do, especially with the lockdown pushing him so far outside.
Budiko gak kayak gini ya di BTR ya gimana? Itu aja first main di podcast ya Jenderal aja udah buka-bukaan tuh. Kenapa aja tuh? Bentar. Oke. Pamit bang, mau pergi jenguk. Jenguk apaan tuh? Iya monggo Rido. Yang butuh beribadah silakan beribadah dulu, tapi like dulu ya. Tinggal sendal dengan like. Kayak gitu. Oh, bang udah main kah? Ini udah map 1 udah selesai. Baru aja. Siapa ini maksudnya yang diomongin anjir? Ada video short baru tuh kayak short apaan? Short apa? Konteks tolong. Kasih tahu ini ada video short baru bang. Ya apa? Video short banyak yang baru. Kalau Minkai sudah bukan raket hijau lagi, nah boleh dong berarti. Bisa dihijaukan lagi berarti kan? Gua baru bikin video baru, udah ada komen Y nih. Ya lu ngapain ngasih tahu ke gua ada video short baru tuh Kai? Jelas-jelas yang upload kan kita ya. Ya kita tahu dong. Sebelum lu tahu. Kenapa seakan-akan ada video short baru loh. yang upload. Kita yang upload. Konduktor Bang, welcome back. Sudah go round, let's go. Diteruskan go roundnya ya. Respect. Thank you udah join membership lagi. Halo Araya, welcome to the stream. Emang ini BO5? BO3? Siapa yang bilang BO5? Siapa yang bilang? Itu ya, kita bikin short yang hari ini tuh ya karena fuyu aja sebenarnya. Alasannya adalah fuyu. Kenapa short hari ini tuh ada eksis? Ya kan kita kagak ngikutin bola, gimana dah? Gua kagak ngikutin bola, makanya gua kagak ngerti referensi lu kayak gimana itu. Itu tuh maksudnya kalau kalian ngejokes tapi kalau nggak dapat referensinya, kalau referensi orang-orang yang nggak sama kagak dapat tuh, gitu tuh. Kalau ngejokes tapi, hah, apa ya? Kalau penontonnya kagak ngerti, pendengarnya kagak ngerti, ya itu referensinya nggak sama. Kebetulan nggak semua orang ngikutin bola ya kayak gua. Main yokai ngikutin olahraga apa aja. Gua dari kecil emang kagak suka ngikutin sport sih. Yang gua ikutin ya e-sport. Ada di balik di belakangnya. Gua ngikutin e-sport pun dari zaman Dota 2. Gua jadi kagak ngikutin CS juga tuh. Gua bener-bener FPS gua baru nonton tuh Valorant, e-sport juga. Gimana Min, kayak performa Bumi Sport? Bagus. Amin, mereka menang. Tapi ya kadang-kadang ada why-nya juga sih. Ada beberapa momen. Tapi it's fine. Mereka masih tim baru, masih menyesuaikan mungkin. Bukan tim baru sih, maksudnya dengan roster baru kan pasti ada perubahan 1-2 hal ya. Kata lucu masih belakang ya. Kebetulan tadi tidak kelihatan ya pistauronnya ya. Kan itu ya loading ya. Apa? Tadi kan sempat delay ya. Jadi nggak tahu tuh kenapa tuh kalahnya tuh. Tipis lauronnya. Main Dota aja kayak di channel Yokai. Gue masalahnya Dota juga udah jarang. Gue tuh sejak kapan ya kagak main Dota lagi ya. Udah lama banget anjir. Nanti itu malah jadi Herald Senpai gue di sana. Namanya gue ganti Herald Senpai. Padahal kagak ngasih tips sama sekali. Bang, nggak ada lawannya lebih keras buat Boom. Kok easy banget ya lawannya? Nanti sabar, fancy ini bahkan masih dinding pertama. Nanti masih ada Naos guys, Naos ngeri. Itu support timnya Filipina untuk tier 2 basically. Game jadul apa aja yang bikin membekas banget kayak pengen main lagi gitu. Game apa ya yang bekas banget? Ayo Dance, tapi Ayo Dance itu bukan karena gamenya, tapi karena community-nya. Gue suka banget community-nya dulu kan, menyenangkan. Tapi ya bukan gamenya, jadinya community-nya yang gue kangenin gitu loh. Oke, Makoto, thank you. Don't talking about Judai here lagi ya, lu ya. Emang Panci dari negara mana? Panci itu dari mana sih? Gue lupa lagi. Fancy itu, bentar, fancy. Apa ya bendera nih? Vietnam. Nah, gue lupa benderanya Vietnam aja. Main bang, belum. Nunggu agent pick baru gua kasih screen. Jadi lebih ke kenangannya ya, iya betul. Pasti Ayo Dance dulu gua nikah sampai sekarang nggak tahu dia siapa. Gue juga dulu gitu sih, ada couple dulu, tapi zaman dulu kan kagak ada yang kayak apa voice, apa yang lu nelpon ada mukanya tuh, zaman dulu kan kagak ada ya, masih SMS tahu zaman gue main Ayo Dance itu. Jadi gue couple sama orang cuman SMS aja gitu. Gue ingat namanya bahkan Beverly, nama itunya, nama apanya, nama akunnya anjir. Gue masih ingat akunnya Beverly. Oh by the way, bentar. Agent pick
throughout the year basically. And on the other hand, Boom Esports, a double control is on the cards, and Moria and Shiro already hovering for that one.
I really like this double controller. Possibly
Bang,
even the
kapan
double
RRQ main off
duelist
season?
with
Kok kayaknya
Berserks
tim
and
franchise-nya
Famous
nggak ada turnamen,
looking
cuma
at
RRQ.
the
Wah,
Jet
mana
and
saya
the
tahu ya?
Raze. There's a lot of options
Saya
that
kan
they
bukan
can
orang
go
dalam,
about,
mana saya tahu
because of this.
RRQ
A lot
mau
of
main di
isolated
mana?
angles where they can really
Atau nggak
mess
di-invite
up
kemana?
any of the holding players of Fancy right now. And this could
Gue lupa,
actually
kayaknya Predator
prove to
League
be
ya?
difficult
Kayaknya
for
mereka main
Fancy
di
because they
Predator
have
League
to
nggak
play
sih?
a whole lot
Gue lupa
more
sih.
near each other. I think there's just a position where maybe Yes I Can and Jin can maybe play off of each other with fault lines a little bit farther away. But I do really like this, having Moria on that Astra with the threat of the gravity well, again, cutting off a lot of exit positions here for Fancy would be very much strong, I think, for Boom.
Yeah, and these are the historical comps basically, both Fancy United and Boom Esports. Again, with the new additions for Boom Esports, Shiro's the one
Boom
on
Defenders ya,
Viper
wah,
duty
kagak ingat gua.
nowadays. Berserk's going back to his more signature jet from his
Perkiraan
previous
skor lagi,
history
waduh, tadi
in
aja
this
udah salah
Boom
gua.
Esports roster. And I'd love to see some of the classics really in such a historical matchup already.
Tapi
Boom
gua
versus Fancy United,
nggak tahu deh kalau split
bringing
ya,
out
bisa
what they're
kalah si Boom.
accustomed to and bringing out what they saw
Nggak tahu sih, tapi
basically
lihat
from
aja
each
dulu.
other when they were in the same tournament bracket.
So with that being said, what else can we expect coming into this series? Is how
Nah,
is
yang ngerusak
the
keyboard itu masalahnya
aggression that we
bocil-bocil,
saw from
Ilyas.
Fancy translating
Bocil-bocil yang kagak
into
ngerti itu
Split
keyboard
as well?
ada
You saw
harganya
how
tuh.
Fancy was very much
Gue main cepet-cepet pun
willing
kagak pernah
to
tuh
trade,
mukul keyboard kayak gitu
certain
tuh.
utilities at the very start of the round just to get that map control, and they could try to do it right here and right now. And what I do like about Fancy with this one, I talk about how they did tend to lag a little bit behind when they were facing against Dominatus in terms of how well they adjusted to Dominatus' movement around the map. But against Boom, maybe it's because they are they have had some history in the past. They're a lot more quick to understand where this opponent is going in, and the calls have been much faster from what we saw in the previous day.
Well, Fancy, though, they're accustomed to dealing with this kind of composition because in other outings on Split, they used to have Yes I Can on that Astra.
Dual ini ya?
There's new additions for the roster.
Dua
Cruz
duelis ya?
Comfy on
Boom
the
ya?
Omen, and you can see the adjustment made in
No,
their local
apa? No
circuits
Sentinel.
recently. So
Pakai Viper doang Sentinel
moving
basically.
towards B. You got Boom, though, prepared yet again, famous. Historical spot for him, even back in Ascension, played towards B. The pain shells throwing the aftershocks there, and Suka's already the first victim to what can be the beginning. It will be Jindo answering back with Boom Esports. They have the angle. Yes, I can efficient the damage, but in the end, it's now a 2v1 with Yes, I Can back to his usual clutch ways. What else can he do here, though?
Iya, ketahuan lagi posisinya udah. Tunggu temanmu, tunggu.
Peak, though, gives confirmation that he's still around towards that B side. And Berserks from up top. Here comes Yes I Can. Wanting to go in. And the right click enough to net that kill. It's 1v1 now. The Sheriff, the dash, they're both prime. A tag serve,
lagi,
not the bag yet. Fault line the response. And Yes I Can. He has time
Masih banyak
to
waktunya, harusnya sih
rotate.
bisa. Dia harusnya udah tahu kalau bisa rotate.
Just in case the Jet gave chase. And Fancy bring that spike towards A.
30 seconds left.
Berserk is going to be a little bit late to this, but I mean, he has the HP advantage, and Yes I Can. He had a chance to actually pick up the ghost if needed.
Biasanya main Iodance ke bawah suasana min kayak jadinya tekan keyboardnya kuat-kuat.
Well, he's
Lu emosi main Iodance anjir.
It's so far away. There is a time, there is a position,
kagak
there is
pernah
a
tuh.
moment where he can actually try to
Dekat
catch
spasi
off
sampai
Berserk
segitunya ya.
I wonder if he knows that Berserk is coming through ropes here. You can see both of them actually chasing against each other. But there it is.
Nice.
Just a little bit
Yuk,
too
Berserk comeback Berserk 2000 berapa? 2020 atau 2021 ya dia prime-nya ya. Udah kagak usah gitu-gitu. Bocil Berserk.
I mean, celebrations there for Berserks. As Yes I Can, he did expect Berserks to come his way, but Berserks wisely checking that rather than looking into perhaps
Lah iya.
towards the
Baru menang sekali udah tengil. Tidak boleh kayak gitu.
They're unable to basically make this pistol round work. So Boom Esports now. Anti equals the play. You got the Guardian, which has been very popular for the past few days. Berserks has been.
Panggil kan EG, Boom butuh melawan serigala yang lain. Padahal EG lagi bingung tuh. Soalnya katanya mereka kan timnya itu kan kayak gabungan sama Wolf gitu kan. Dan Wolfnya mau bikin tim e-sport juga. Itu Valorant juga katanya. Ayo, gimana kalau kayak gitu coba?
Who can have a bit more
EG sama Wolf itu.
Will it be Moria? Will it be Cruz? That's something that we answered.
Aku taunya Gitar Hero bang, gue dulu tempat main cuman kagak pernah beli gitarnya sih. Punya kayaknya gitarnya deh. Tapi ujung-ujungnya main pakai controller. Kagak tahu gue cacat main pakai gitar malah.
Immediately rips out that paint shell.
Pernah nyobain pakai gitarnya soalnya gue. Cacat pada akhirnya jadi controller.
Little blast back thrown over. Boom Esports now. Waiting for
klub bola nggak sih tuh Wolves? Kurang tahu ya gue ya. Gue kan kagak ngikutin bola ya, jadi gue kagak tahu juga klub-klubnya tuh. Sayang sekali flicknya, kurang pas gitu ya. Dikit. Hey, Rico 19, welcome to membership. Thank you udah jadi member. Apakah ini pertama kalinya Anda menjadi member? Masih bronron?
At least some good damage on their eco. It's Moria.
Pakai emoji ya, by the way, dipakai emojinya biar yang abu-abu tambah iri.
Now in favor of the defense.
Nah kan, bocil-bocil ini.
Picking up the Guardian there. Sorry, I just
Tibek anjing.
Anyways,
you should tell everyone.
Yeah.
Everyone heard you laugh. You should tell everyone.
No, it's okay.
Aku aja lo bocil anjing.
Don't be shy.
No. Intrusive thoughts. It's my own, my precious thoughts, you know? So it's fine. Anyways, that was just a great pinch play that we saw from Boom, and I do like the call for Shiro to just kind of double off
nanti kalau kalah
rather
diam
than
lu anjing.
holding the corner. You saw that Fancy was almost about to actually check him on the left there, and he just went to double up with his teammate, which actually works out in the end. Berserks.
Itu karena suka emosi lu tibek-tibek aja.
Could have taken down Suka, but not gonna happen this time as it picks up another one. Camera should be able to spot out NC Slasher, and he might try to challenge this once more.
Betul, Rico 19 banyak sekali emojinya. Hanya 10.000. Ya kali abu-abu tidak mau menghijaukan dirinya.
Teammates look to start to go to B.
Itu tuh yang tadi tibek-tibek tuh. Langsung kena karma tuh maju-maju tuh.
From that point on, it's Boom now. Lesser numbers, lesser firepower. Thanks to the efforts of Fancy United in the past. Fault lines there. Jin also double satchel in. It clears so much space now to try and push under. As the screen goes down, Fancy's prepared for it.
Timingnya.
They're ready to check any kind of nook and cranny nearby. Fancy also gonna get the plant down. So with that being said,
jangan tengil terlalu dini ya.
Contest if ever. It's Boom Esports sniffing out anyone on the lurk, waiting to see if they can scrounge a gun. That's what NC Slash is doing right now. Suka, though, still tucked away.
Oh no.
And it's really good to show that Fancy United, they're just respecting right now the
Kelihatan
space
nggak sih
Boom
dia?
has.
Kelihatan nggak sih?
Sasha, this is a bad spot for him. Almost seen by Yes I Can. Flash, though, into
Lah,
play.
kagak.
Here comes NC Slash
Oke lah,
with
oke lah, dapat
two.
2 oke lah.
That's all Boom
Setidaknya
will get
nggak-
as Fancy get on the board now.
Nggak dimurah-murahin juga gitu. Oke lah, oke lah.
Able to spot out Famous coming through on B main, immediately shuts him down. That's going to be a point on the board here for Fancy United. Berserk's equipping himself with the
Berserk
operator.
bawa OP, bawa OP.
No more peeks on A main. Straight up
Langsung di itu
dagger
aja.
on B.
Langsung
will be what
di-deny.
he tries to do.
Fancy-nya
This
ke
is
A,
actually
anjir.
good. I think they conditioned Fancy here that the man himself actually only plays A. So this could be a good catch. But no one's actually going to be peeking that position. It's going to be A main
Mak apaan
for
tuh?
Fancy.
Belum
to have
render
to
itu.
start
Mak belum
maneuvering
render
start
aja.
the round.
And Boom putting people towards garage just because of that toxic rain. Now they know immediately Fancy United contesting towards ramps,
ramnya
wanting to
Boom
get into heaven if ever.
Kosong nih.
The mid,
Ram
though,
heavennya anjir.
that's where the
Ram
spice
tower lah.
happened. Yes, I can. Kept at bay by the smokes of the Viper. Fancy can't really commit into this one if they can't get that mid control. There's no way for them to split, so they pivot instead, moving back to the other side.
What's kind of interesting here is
There.
you can see Boom. They're not even afraid of anybody
OP.
holding
Mereka
a
datang
heaven
ke
from
sana,
the attackers
OP.
of Fancy
Ya,
United.
tapi ada dirinya.
Immediately, they just go for that mid pinch, and this might not even be spotted right now. Berserk is in the
Ini
perfect
kalau
position
mereka
to get a
flash,
pick, charge
Berserknya yang
that
sulit.
dash of his, get out of harm's way, and let his teammates maybe get that frag rolling. But I thought it was going to be the ramen push. No, look at Suka. He's in danger.
tahu,
Shiro
udah tahu.
is
Udah
so
tahu nge-smoke
near.
harusnya.
Oh, that backstab. This could get dangerous for Fancy, who's trying to create tempos all across the map.
Yeah. It's Fancy
30 detik
United.
terakhir, maju.
Might get caught on the lurk here. The flash is there, though.
30
and
seconds left.
Still, our Cypher has actually moved his way towards heaven, so just
Dia,
patience now.
timingnya.
Berserk wasn't ready for that one.
Dia
Got
lagi
back into cover
jalan.
all time. Jin got the dig into the wall bang, and Suka also
Suka
playing
juga
it
dapat instant
perfectly,
laser lagi.
slipping through the defenses of Boom Esports. So 2-man
10
advantage here
seconds left.
for Fancy United. Flag
Waduh,
going on
ketrek
down. Jin
juga.
already finding Moria, and the resmoke
Ini guys,
here from
makanya
Cruz
jangan
is a
tibek-tibek
go.
terlalu
Keeping
dini ya.
anyone from heaven at bay yet again. Shiro,
Sebaiknya
though,
tidak gegabah.
trying to make this work. He looked
Apakah
to go for the
Shiro
lurk towards A, this time here
bisa?
towards V Garage. Unchecked though still by Fishio.
Kok tampaknya
And Fishio
mau
is just
exit frag
holding
aja ya?
instead. They know now. Fancy United have just narrowed down wherever Boom Esports
Ya udah
can
mau
come
exit
from.
frag aja ini mereka.
And wouldn't be too
No.
surprised to see it
Gak
be
komit,
an
gak komit.
exit strategy instead. And that's
Alah,
exactly
bata,
what
bata,
Shiro's
stream.
doing. He's just waiting now to see who will come out from this side onto the garage. Yes, I can. Fishio, patience is the key. Trigger discipline
Oke
leads
lah.
to 2.
Sebenarnya bisa dapat 3 tapi oke lah, ya udahlah. Jangan dikasih build ekonomi dulu.
Wow, that round was just a masterclass of timing and patience from Fancy United. I was talking about how, oh, this is bad for Suka. Oh, this is going to be terrible for him. But then the flash of the sky, the guiding light onto A main doesn't spot him out. No one was actively checking A heaven. Yes, there was an angle where Famous was holding it, but he could not spot Suka. So Suka slowly creeping through A heaven, and the catch onto Berserks to gravitate the rotation.
Fancy tadi Berserknya pas
solidified
musuhnya datang dia lagi gerak ke kiri ke kanan
on
gitu
that
loh.
round. Absolutely beautiful timing.
Kurang ini, kurang sabar.
Great confidence for Suka, who was just by himself and somehow manages to sneak
Nah, tadi
past
sebenarnya
enemy
Resnya
lines.
masuk ke crosshair dia tanpa flash kan sebenarnya kan.
Boom Esports that blink
Keluar dulu
first.
baru flash keluar kan.
And Fancy
Jadi sebenarnya
United
bisa dapat
now,
flashnya itu tadi.
they have a
Sayang
way
banget
in
makanya.
with the Rolling Thunder if they choose to. But you can see already how they've been playing these rounds here in Split so far. A slow and steady pace, trying to gauge the utility on the opposite end and look to bait out whatever they can from it. Moria, though, only holding on to a classic Boom. Their economy is hurting after the past few rounds. And Jin now
Kelihatan,
navigating
mati.
through yet again. Moria cleared by
Kelihatan.
Fisho. The Boom bots into play as well. And with the painful Slav, this instant extra pressure here because Flash 2 Fancy United getting as much of a clear as they want towards the side. It's 5v2, make that 5v1. Plant going on down to an Ensley Slasher. What else can he even do
Emang
now?
bisa hold pakai klasik? Ya bisa
Just
sih. Tapi kebaca
Position
tapi.
where he wanted to plant.
No, it gives
Mereka
it to
tahu
Jin
apa
for the
kalau
showstopper.
orang
for the
Iko itu kan
showstopper,
mainnya
okay.
pasti lebih itu
This
ya,
is
lebih
actually
tricky gitu ya.
Pick there.
Pasti mainnya close combat
Now,
gitu loh.
he's got himself the Marshall.
Karena tembakan-tembakannya Iko kan ya
Just
gitu.
alone.
Kebanyakannya
5 versus 1.
tembakan-tembakan jarak dekat
Imagine if they actually throw everything.
Kecuali
at him.
Sheriff.
I mean, that would be ridiculous.
yang
but,
lumayan buat mid
you
range.
know, you can never really tell. Anyways, Suka actively searching, actively picking, and his role as the lurking Cypher here really is paying dividends right now for Boom. Because the thing is, even if he doesn't get the pick, they always have to look a little bit behind them, and Boom's rotation is significantly slowed down by it. Not only that, of course, the sword, the tip of the spear, Jin, is managing to find all of these picks off of that fault line, off of the satchel charge, and it is a potent mix that Boom right now just cannot swallow.
Yeah, it's a long spear Fancy United has basically. Because we see Jin, he clears
Bentar
from
ya,
garage
gua
all the way to the back of B basically. He gets all the way into the corners. And Famous now contesting early on. That's one thing Boom can do if they want to suss out what's happening. Go for the check. It's a bit dangerous, and Famous lucky to get away with his life here.
Here's another thing I'm kind of noticing. Moria, who's been so good at the Omen in the previous map, really not as felt right here. He's putting out the smokes, the gravity wells, but as you can see, he's not
Bang,
really
monitor
getting
60 Hz
as
reaction
much,
time
play as
270 ms. Waduh,
as we
kurang
would
tahu gua
want
kalau
him to do
gini-ginian.
So that's just
Kata
going
Kak,
to
sorry
be
nih.
fixed for Fancy. And again,
Bukan
the Bisa
teknisi
is going to
Razer
be
saya.
terrific open. And they're just going to be able to
Apapun
play it
itu
close up
mereknya
once
dah.
again.
Yeah, Cruz, no, rather Fisher
Bukan
actually
teknisi
finding Famous
tak-tak.
instead, and Fancy
Kurang tahu gua kalau
United
gitu-gitu.
now just stamping their authority towards B. They make it even more so with the Viper Spits. And Boom Esports, they barely stand a chance now unless they can get a pick early on onto this post plants. There's no real way. Cruz also with the From the Shadows. So Fancy United using a few more ultimates just to secure the round.
Saving
Pretty much
lagi.
it though.
Bentar,
Boom
besok
isn't gonna
bawa OP
even
kah?
try it.
Yeah, they're struggling in terms of that economy. Might as well just save the weapons.
Oh iya, pantesan.
Berserk is going to
Saving
have an
dulu.
operator and the blades coming into that next round. I
Dapat
wonder if he's
kah,
going to
dapat
give
kah?
that to Famous so that he can just play with the blades and Famous. I
OP-nya
don't know,
harus dapat.
maybe depending on...
Oh my god, kenapa sih timingnya
he's
selalu
on, he's on,
gini?
depending on the...
Yes.
Kenapa sih?
you know what? Blink it and you'll miss. I didn't blink, but then I missed that it was his own comrade that he actually spotted. My bad, my bad. Anyways,
Timingnya gitu mulu ya,
he's actually trying to
timingnya
give his
kenapa
teammate
gitu?
the weapon
Berserk,
just in
berserk.
case Famous doesn't have
Timing
any
mulu,
weapons to try to
unlucky banget
utilize.
dari
He's gonna
tadi.
be on that Sheriff. I don't know about this boss, but
Geraknya tuh
we'll see
loh,
how
timing
this
geraknya tuh
goes.
loh selalu kayak
Speaking though, on the other side of the team,
orang
Fancy,
tiba-tiba
they're
pas dia kagak lihat gitu kan.
well positioned right now. Great
Oh my
economy,
god lah.
good ultimate available for them. Suka's nearing his dural theft. Jin has access again to that showstopper. We'll see how they start. Looks like charging
Boom
in
punya
onto
4
the A side.
ulti sih.
Boom still has
Sayang banget
the
kalau dia
option.
kagak-
Oh my God!
Two rifles to work with, and NC Slasher getting away with his life.
Kagak mati sih NC Slasher, oke lah.
Fancy United though make their way towards A, and a quick take now to change up the pace of these rounds. Planto going on down. They have the Poison Cloud there to go for the cover two. Fancy though preparing themselves into these corners. You also watch out for Fisho, but the
dapat,
showstopper is
oke,
the
walaupun
ball.
nge-trend,
Cruz
it's fine,
gets
it's
one
fine.
Famous.
Udah
Will
diterit
answer
balik.
back before his demise, and Boom now with a numbers advantage. They also have that
Dapat tahun juga posisi bridge.
Jin's under
Nice.
pressure. He's now getting flanked from multiple sides. Boom, Esports now going for the
Tahun juga
retake.
posisi
Esports,
bridge. Let's go.
Single
Let's
shot of
go,
Moria.
Budi.
And boom, make it happen on the retake.
Ngambil OP
Get
dulu.
that operator. You need it. But wow, just did not expect that pinch to actually happen there. But Famous, when he's got himself
Untung itu komsnya jalan aja.
showstopper, he's actually somehow able to convert. This is the
Threat
same
semua
thing
itu.
that happened on Lotus. It all started from Famous using that showstopper, basically bewildering Fancy on what their position, where their positions are, slowly dismantling the post plan and somehow managing to hold off. It wasn't a thrifty, but it was close to that, as you can see with the weaponaries that they've had. Only just a couple of sheriffs, maybe a bulldog, and they were still somehow managed to convert the round into a win.
Yeah, it's a strong retake in from Boom Esports, and one thing they do so well is they find the angles that lead to flanks onto commit positions. When they got that A main,
Gilang,
Jin was
welcome to the stream.
absolutely in trouble.
Yang
They
belum
put
like,
their
di-like dulu ya,
forces
guys,
to
ya.
try and win on one side while keeping pressure on the other, and that just keeps Fancy United staying
Tim
in
Indo
those
sisa apa
locations
aja, Min?
along the
Ya
way.
tinggal ini.
From that point on,
Tinggal
it
Boom,
just
kemarin udah
cascades
pulang
to the
dua-duanya aja
retake being
dominatus sama
possible.
Dewa.
Oh yeah, and now Boom Esports positioned quite well to actually stop Fancy here. They have Cosmic Divide for that retake. You got Viper's Pit if they would want to cut off a certain big chunk of the map. Seekers, just so that they don't really miss anybody anymore, as we saw from that Suka lurk. Speaking of Seekers, very early here from NC Slasher, just to get that quick little bit of information. Suka's going to be dealing with all of this.
Itu salah satu
only making noise from his own
yang selalu keluar tuh kalau kalian lihat.
Because now boom,
Apa jetnya di atas
they're still
itu, di
unaware
atas
of what is happening. Is it going
apa
to
sih
be the
namanya
full push?
mading itu
Is the smoke
di
trying to
backside
cross
B,
through it with the
terus
Cypher
ada di bawahnya
utility?
satu kontrol
Now
apa
it's a little bit of a guessing game.
satu orang
Again,
lagi
that's
bottom picknya.
this. Boom, no
Sering
one
banget mereka
holding
bikin
that
start
A
kayak
have
gitu.
in control. This leaves ropes and mid to their own device, and we'll see how this timing.
Nice,
Famous is here.
Yet again, you
okay,
get
it's
one.
fine, it's fine.
Shiro though onto the
Shiro dapat
side,
satu.
making such a welcome from Boom to Fancy, as difficult as possible. Time running out. Boom Esports knew the commit was happening thanks to the timer, and then
Nice
Slasher
Suka
even
kill.
finding Cruz in that
Nice,
sea of
Shiro.
green. It's a mystery
Absent di
where
dalam.
Boom is located,
Kentut.
and now it will be
Absent dalam
Fancy
kentut
United
lagi.
enveloped by it. Fourth to forward side up.
Apa? Absen di dalam
thought it
itu
was going to be a risk,
Viper's
but
kecepatan Viper.
They knew that they had
Viper
time
cepat.
to actually set up some counter utilities there with the Viper Spit immediately. You can see Shiro not missing a beat to get that value, but one of the biggest things that
Kayaknya mereka
was a
bakal
big
melakukan hal yang
factor
sama deh di
to
B.
how Fancy kind of
Bottom pick lagi kayaknya.
dumped up that round was Famous pushing out of the smoke on A main, able to get the catch onto the players of Fancy, actually dropping down from window.
Nih kan, nih
And because of that,
kayak gini nih
basically
biasa nih mereka nih.
disrupting the offense that they were
Berdua
kind of setting up.
atas bawah.
I love this double up here from Boom Esports. The smoke is there, the wall is there, but I don't think they're going to be aware of the up high, down low. So they might be too slow to react to this.
Wow, that rhymes. And well, Boom Esports have been playing with the time very well too. They realize Fancy United, once they group up, that's pretty much it. That's gonna be their commits. That's what has given
Tapi
them.
masalahnya
that
kan
prior
bridge-nya ya yang
round.
ngeselin ya.
Berserks though.
Itu by the way itu
Still a watchtower
Mike masih di
here
belakang tuh
towards
padahal
B.
tuh.
It's been
Mereka udah siap rotate kapan aja tuh kayaknya.
Fancy United, because if they run into this
Mereka
one,
kayaknya mau ke B
Berserks
sih, mau ke B
should
sih.
be
Kalau
able
dari
to,
itunya.
to spot them and see them.
Menuju ke B.
We also noticed as right, they've been doubling up for Berserks just because of that misstep a few rounds prior when he was all alone. This time around though, the cloud is there. Jin trying to get on in.
Okay.
Berserks tracks him down. Mori also, there's covering
Moria
fire
juga
for
dapat
him
lagi kan,
too
dapat
before
dua.
he fell.
Gini lagi enak
Now,
banget TP-nya, weh.
reinforcements have arrived. Boom Esports
Topan bener
just
tuh punya
making a
TP.
toll gate that Fancy United cannot pay.
Bekerja guys, bekerja.
That, as a, you know, when
Stratnya
you play
bekerja.
that operator, you just want to take
Untungnya
that
bridge-nya
breath.
tidak
You don't wanna
nge-flash ataupun
panic. You
ini
see
ya,
him double,
nge-fault
satchel
line
in.
ke posisi
Just
situ ya.
remember, you still have a bit of time to keep your composure, hit the shot, and deny them that push. And because of that, again, we flip back
Yeah,
to what you
yes.
said before this
Nggak
second
MOP,
game
anteng
started.
banget,
After
betul,
that
betul.
first map ended, that Jin is one of those big factors
Bisa
for
di apa, di
that
tracking
entry.
dulu
So
sampai
getting
ke
him
bawah
shut
anjir
down
itu,
really
MOP-nya
reduces
anjir.
the chance here of Fancy to start bleeding
Untungnya
in to,
itu kayaknya udah
to the
comms.
site
Budi
here. So
liatin
Boom
Garage-nya,
Esports
gue mau nge-track
starting to get
ini
a bit of
race-nya di
control
dalam
back
nih.
right now. You can never really count Fancy
Untung
out.
Budinya
They
ngeliat
still
Garage
have
anjir. Dia kagak
some
peduli
drift
ada
up
race
their
di depan
sleeves,
itu.
and they're looking to try to go for B once again.
Yeah, control though given to Fancy United because Boom Esports
Soalnya itu
gambling
Berserk kalau kagak
for
dapat,
that mid take.
Budi yang jadi korban
This
anjir.
is a freebie for Fancy United who set themselves up for success onto the post plant. The screen is there. The players are there. One also on the lurk with Suka. So I'm keeping an eye out. Maybe he can get the catch. On to Shiro here.
Oh my god.
Who comes? Fancy's the one with the advantage. Eurotef also into play. And Boom now might be regretting giving up that site.
Suga's just so good at these timings. He always finds Shiro. And there it is. Gonna call
Waduh.
a fancy catch.
Meninggoy di
Even
udara
more so as
langsung.
Fisio and Cruz
Langsung mundur,
keeping their
saving
toes
lagi.
in the elimination department. Suga's still actively looking for any counter lurks here. Gotta love how Suka just has that timing. There's nothing really that Boom can go do against it.
Yeah, and Fancy tying things up, and on the attacking side, getting 5 already. Looking pretty good for them overall. Just goes to show
Yeah.
that as Boom will still at least get
Ada
one
orang
for the round
botak
with
lewat.
Berserks on the operator. But you can see
Orang botak naik turun.
the big reason why they save in these kind of scenarios. They want to keep the up, to play the same way they have been on B for the next round. It's been very oppressive.
Snipernya sih
You
cukup
notice
meresahkan
also
ya sebenarnya ya.
that Boom loves to put
Suka
someone to
banget dia
tail
kemana-mana
berserks
gitu.
just
Entah di
in
mana
case
pasti
he
ada
needs
aja
cover.
savernya anjir.
And it's a twofold thing. I've noticed in the past few rounds, especially that last one. It's just basically you give berserks a companion so he doesn't flick away. He just holds the angle. Someone else can alleviate any other pressure. And then
Apa,
boom, gives up the
semi-semi
space
kayak
that they
nuts
were
gitu loh,
being aggressive with
ditanam-tanam
a
gitu
while
loh.
ago.
Main
And this will be
cybernya.
free sights and free utility usage for Fancy.
Absolutely agree with that one. It just feels like, again, Berserk can't really handle it just yet. He's not on a position where.
Oh my
again, he's
god,
on the
itu
KJ.
timing yang ngeri banget anjir.
All right. He
Budi.
just has to use all of his utility.
Ngeri.
Abandon the site once
Ya
again.
ampun,
and
Shiro dapat
Suka
lagi.
never missing a beat. Shiro
Di cancel
just
lagi
can't
sama
catch a
Suka.
break. 4 versus 5.
Dua
You do have Mori,
kali.
who does have the Cosmic Divine. And
Dia udah
Smasher
ketahuan
finds
lagi.
Suka here. All he really has to do is bide time, waste it. And that's going to reduce the players trying to retake the site here for Boom.
Yeah, he's the non-factor right now after that one. Suka's being
Dia
stayed
yang suwe
off.
anjir dari tadi anjir.
Smasher still trying to keep him at bay actually. So in the end, Fancy United, the numbers advantage towards the site is still in their favor. Flights though coming in from Boom, but Fancy United will shut that down quickly. Berserks
Oh, dikejar
holding
nggak
on
sih?
to the off still.
Kejar, cuy,
Gets
ini,
a
cuy.
kill, but the
Ini
chase
pakai OP
is
mulu
on
nih.
Fancy. Want to get rid of
Camping mulu.
this as soon as possible. Berserk hears it coming. Under pressure, gets the shot. Shorty 2 gets another one. And Berserk,
sayang.
he will
Suka
be
lagi, anjir.
stopped
PR-nya tetap
at
di Suka,
3.
anjir.
Suka gets 3 of his own. Fancy takes the lead from here.
Aku suka.
Finally, they
Apa
actually take away the operator from his hands.
Lupa lagi
But he's
lagunya.
got so much cash. Look at that. It's back up again in his hands. The sniper.
Now, operator.
But I will say though, it's not getting as much value
Susu.
as what they would
Iya lagi,
like
aku
it
suka
to have.
susunya
The
lagi.
one time that the operator from Berserks at least found its mark was the double up that we saw from Moria there on B main. After that, it was basically nothing. So they're actually
Predict lagi,
gravitating
Kai.
a
Siapa
whole lot
tahu menang
more to
lagi
this
kayak tadi.
position. This is
Emang
very
iya?
difficult. I think they saw the barrel.
Ini aja.
They saw the barrel, of
Berserk.
course. Size does matter in those
Kena ini,
scenarios.
kena
And you can
bala
see
udah.
that it was just free fire
Oh,
coming their
okay.
way. They spam through the
Okay.
smoke. Now here comes the shots. Boom, Esports. They went for
Walaupun
the
masih
fight.
tetap ini ya.
Fancy United.
Advantage masih
So
di
weight
Fancy.
class better. From this point on, they now dictate the pace of the round. It's a 4v3. They also still have the Rolling Thunder to utilize, as well as smokes from the Omen. So Fancy can set themselves up for B coming into this one.
All the pieces that we saw from Boom just do so well on Lotus. Not
Gak main mading lagi jetnya. Ya udah, itu di expect. Itu kagak bisa setiap
There it is,
kali
the
tahu.
setup. Double satchel again.
Strategi kayak gitu sekali-sekali
They
aja.
spotted Moria onto the corner here, but shouldn't matter at all because all of this utility.
Udah di expect, nanti yang ada di flash, di fault line. Oh, ini posisi mati lagi
To
nih.
hold the site.
Si Budi.
Yeah, the
Masih bisa
sun
dapat satu.
preventing the swing. Now it comes.
Tapi, ya,
Fancy
sulit lah kalau kayak gitu.
United will move even deeper and take this site away. Flag goes down. Everything left.
Wah.
The famous now. We've seen him find clutch moments of B
Ketahuan lagi
sides
udah posisinya.
previous encounters and previous tournaments. Can he do so yet again? The pain shells though are love. Suka though ready now.
Oh, udah, nggak bisa
Asking a
itu.
question.
Dari 3
Arctis,
arah
yes, I
mata
can.
angin
He
aja
gets that first
ditungguin aja.
interview. It's 7-5. Fancy United breaking news are in the lead.
Again, just Fancy United just able to punish everything. They've had this setup for the entirety
By the
of
way,
the
yang
first
belum like,
half.
di like dulu ya guys ya.
Throws out all of his Viper smokes on
Di 100-in
that
dulu, guys.
B
Penontonnya
site,
satu-
just in case they want to hit it,
1.600,
they will
tapi
try to
like-nya
do
cuma
so.
89
They don't go in on
gini.
A, and then they can always just try to go for that pinch on mid. It works out so
1.600
well
tuh,
for
ngimpi
them.
gue.
And Boom Esports struggled. Still, somehow though, 5-7, not the biggest of discrepancies that we've seen, but it's going to now be a test for Boom. How
Kayak
well
aku udah
this
like 2 kali. Iya deh, ini
double
joke yang sudah
controller,
overuse
double
sekali sebenarnya.
duelist works on
Makanya
the
saya
offense.
tidak pernah
This is
pedulikan.
such a good half for Fancy United. They have the lead now moving into their defense. They still have the peskiness of Suka, that double controller. Yes, I can, the oppression. But yes, I can is the one who will be saying, no, I can't hold here.
Ditarik di
Famous
pencil.
finds
Udah
him
itu.
after a beautiful combination of utility from Boom. Jindo trying to dip his toes into the murky waters of mid. It's a problem because Boom have pivoted the way moving into B.
Aku udah like main, mantap kajian.
Still trying to go for this. There's no tripwire from the Cypher. Just the smoke. Suka's gonna charge right in, but Famous doesn't even care. He goes the other way around, turns the bend. Suka's trapped by himself.
Ketahuan
Oh, it's
setidaknya
only a matter
posisinya.
of seconds before he goes down, and that will
Tumben nih.
happen.
Tumbel pistol roundnya manis gini.
Counter nade from Famous here just to stop him dead in their tracks, and they can start
Boleh-boleh
to
pistol
replant
round.
the spike once again.
Yeah, and because of the nade being thrown over onto open, now it's time for them to just put it down onto default instead and stick around on the site. Flash though coming forward. Knows
May main
already the
legenda
alley
mobile.
presence of the
Aja kay
Owen.
atau Warrior loh.
Spotted on out. No
Kenapa?
escape from Boom
Kenapa harus
sightlines. And it's a
antara dua
flawless
itu,
pistol to
anjir?
begin the second half here for Boom Esports.
Yeah, and this is where it gets trickier for Fancy. What kind of setup would allow them to punish this double push? And this is what you, again, would love to see from...
Gua sih belakangan kagak ada main MOBA
from
sama
Boom's
sekali sih.
offense right now. B, usually you just want to rush yourself back at that B back corner and see where it
cukup
goes.
di Valorant gua
But
solo king
now they
anjir.
have that option to just come around the bend on pillar, catch opponents off guard.
Ya, di sana
and
pun
it
gua
might
kagak
actually
open
be
mabar
enough,
juga
especially
sih.
again with the controllers strategically placing these smokes in spots where it kind of just isolates and separates the defenders. Speaking of the defenders right now in this round, Fancy, massive stack. All of them stacking on that A round.
Come on, flip a coin. If heads, they go A. If tails, they go B. And that's the gamble Fancy United are trying to play with right now.
Gila berlima cuy.
Can go for the overrun to Shiro if ever with the sheer numbers. The sun's there too.
Mereka
As soon
semua
as
ada di
he
sini.
stands
Tidak.
contact, yes I can.
Tidak.
We're so quick on it. It's a
Shiro.
flood towards Shiro. And he handles
Shiro,
two
anjir.
before he's
Digerebek
overwhelmed.
masa,
Because of the
anjir.
sacrifice though, boom, they scramble towards B to
Berlima,
put that spike
cok.
down.
They do
Udah
have a
berlima
goal
kagak peduli sama Snakebite lagi lima-limanya.
Berserks. He's feeling adventurous.
Diterabas aja
Okay,
Snakebite-nya
spotted
anjir,
right now.
tidak
No, he doesn't want to
peduli.
risk dropping that Guardian.
Aw,
He
man.
wants that double up
Berserks.
with Moria.
Kami
Where's the
berlima.
fuel for adventure, man? But here
Waduh.
comes the adventure coming
Oh
his
my God.
way. Jin gets one, Moria answers back, backs away from that one, and it's a 3v2 as Boom Esports.
Main Guardian emang susahnya kayak gitu sih, kalau musuhnya kesana sini gitu.
Will come
Dan
from.
banyak.
That's why they're sticking around towards the end of the site, towards here the corner. And Fame was actually catching out Cruz. So backside hold, that's the call. All yes I can do right now is hit a headshot and call it a day. 7-7, we're tied up, but damage done by Fancy. After that first pick, it cascaded into a few more.
Absolutely. Again, you just saw Boom wanting to try their metal here, just see where it goes, you know. If they
Ya
hit a
dipikir
shot,
dipikir
you know,
mau mati sama Spike
it's
langsung
an
aja
ego
gitu loh,
boost,
kagak
but
gigit lagi.
Not gonna happen. So
ternyata
they're gonna get into this
keluar di
bonus with a
akhir
couple
dia.
of stingers. Always loving the stingers on any
Shit,
situation here over the sheriffs at certain points, just because if you can rush in, basically Zorg swarm
Kayaknya mau
aside,
di-rush
it's perfect for just being able to
Mau main close
overwhelm an
combat
opponent.
soalnya.
Boom. Ooh.
Bawa Stinger 2 kan.
What a dog! What a dog doing?
Batal, tidak jadi, tidak jadi.
And the Cruz got stunned up,
Kabur.
sure. Boom though can't actually capitalize on that.
Oh, mau ditanam dulu,
So bonus
Pipernya mau
round here for
ditanam
Boom
kayaknya.
Esports, they put a lot of presence towards A. They back away
Oh,
now.
nggak jadi.
As soon as they realize one's close by, and you can see the intention of that Asa, right? After that last round by
Di
Fancy
semua ini
United,
fancy-nya nih.
they expected yet again numbers versus numbers. They wanted
Per
to answer
solo,
back in
B
kind.
sama mid.
And it's a similar regard. We go to Boom, headed towards B. Only one effectively watching Insuka with the camera. They might realize this is coming his way. The Cyber Cage, the one-way being a threat, but Famous has no
Oh,
fear,
nice.
and that's why he's in.
Nemu
And
aja
that's why Boom will get this side. Showstopper also, just to compound on that pressure. Where does he let loose the rocket juice? Let's see now.
Hampir.
Flies to the corner.
Hampir itu kalau dia
in the
lebih cepat,
alley.
dapat
Doesn't get
itu.
much, but Boom has the sight. Shiro's lurk though. This is a problem for Jin. Goodbye to him. It's
Itu maksudnya
4v3
ditanam,
zone.
bro.
Okay, Fish
Ditanam
Show
dulu.
might be in danger here. Boom Esports.
Dibikin
they have a
kepikiran,
good
let's
hold on
go.
the site now.
Still though, yes I can coming in through alley with Cruz just about to pinch as well. This could actually still
Hey, by
work
the way,
out for them,
Pokino,
especially
welcome to
if they can
membership.
hit this shot.
Thank you udah jadi
Shiro
member.
is gravitating a
Walaupun
bit of
lucu
attention
juga lu punya
here.
profile picture.
He spots out Vishio finally. Now it's all down to the one.
Waduh.
Play against Cruz, 2
Dua lawan
versus
satu.
1.
Ayo.
Spotted. Gonna have to back away as that spike.
Oh, okay.
Already saying there's not enough time
Saving,
for you to
saving.
pick up this round, defuse me, and win it.
Welcome
I
Pokino.
will say,
Dipakai emojinya biar yang abu-abu yang lain iri. Let's
elevated a
go.
little bit more of the pressure that they had to deal. They couldn't really use everybody on that retake for Fancy.
Fast 2 rounds, it has been basically B is for Boom. And Boom will go B
Budo
as
kalau
soon
jauh
as they
mending scope apa
realize
no scope?
no one's
Scope lah.
around to stick around the site
Recoilnya
itself.
nggak gede jadinya
And that's become
kalau
a
lu
problem
nge-scope.
for Fancy
Kalau ADS
United
gitu
right
modenya.
now. Usually you'd expect more pressure from having that breach, having that cipher, but someone like Famous, he can just clear some static utility. And if you're not wary of the angles he can land from, you're just gonna get caught busy trying to set up for a retake that isn't gonna be possible for you. So it's been strong for Boom in terms of their entry. Let's see if it keeps up, because that's a big win for them. 3 rounds in a row
Vandal.
now.
Gua Vandal
And
sih
this is the big
belakangan.
problem for Suka, right? It's because he has to basically split his utility on mid as well as B. So because of that, there's less position for him to actually try to be more successful as a sentinel on that B site, especially when, as you can see, Famous double satching in. Why is that a big issue? Because he keeps coming around the bend on pillar, and Suka's just not able to respond quickly enough against this.
Yeah, well, Fancy United.
Bang,
they do
kenapa
put the
main
forces
kompe solo-solo?
towards mid
Karena
this
tidak
time
ada temannya
around.
memang.
Trailblazer also
Paling sama
scouting
Fuyu doang
Merchant's
kalau
app.
unrated.
So Boom can assess there's actually many players towards mid, and it's the same kind of pace. Figure out where there's only one person. Shiro's patience bears fruit yet again. And he's planted the tree so many times here, Azurai. He's basically made the forest by this point, by the way he's growing these lurks. Planto looking to go down towards A into the corner.
30
Fancy
seconds
United,
left.
on the other hand, getting a bit of that A main control. But there's a flank also. Perhaps maybe from NC Slasher to help on now. They have that tower control rather. Famous instead
Yeah, nice,
gets
nice.
the kill on the Jin. Boom, Esports using
Nice.
the
One
high and
more.
low ground
Let's
to their
go.
advantage. And they just
Let's
catch
go.
Fancy United in the act.
Apakah sudah
before they
langsung
can even head
ke
their way
boom
towards
train
the site.
kita?
Hero's
Boom
had enough,
train.
man. He was the recipient
Ayo, itu boom
of
train tuh
some
zaman kapan anjir
cheeky
ya?
lurks from Suka a couple of rounds ago. Now
Zaman
he's
Berserk
the one
ya? Zaman
who's
Berserk
getting
awal-awal
the
apa ya?
catch off here on the
Pas
attack
sebelum
side.
Berserk
He's
ya? Gue
able
lupa
to
lagi.
be able just
Sebutan
catch,
boom train.
cruise, open up the entirety of that A site. That is going to be a bit painful if you're Fancy. Don't think we've seen a tactical timeout yet for Fancy, but this might be the time to do so.
Anjir,
as
killnya
it's starting
Fancy
to get
hampir
dangerous in
rata
terms of
semua,
the
anjir, 10,
territory.
10, 10.
Boom is about to hit 10
Milan cuma
rounds,
suka doang,
especially now
9.
that there is going to be the weaker buy for Fancy here.
It's kind of the same for that from that last map, Azurai. Once Boom got a good streak going, Fancy United look completely lost on what to do, and they're also completely fended off from the site. Boom quickly making their way towards A, very confident.
Boom ada yang baru nggak?
Disparity.
Ya Budi sama Takel. Sebenarnya Takel udah player lama sih, cuman
There's the stun
pindah
coming
aja.
into
Waduh.
play. Cruz gets the kill because of it. Well done,
Waduh, timing
Shore.
belakang, timing
There's
belakang.
more work needed to be done.
Dapat ya,
And that
dapat
gun
ya.
cannot be
Oh,
utilized
belum. Sukanya masih ada.
whatsoever.
Sukanya di
On
belakang.
the long flank,
Tidak,
though,
dapat
it's
2 kah?
Suka. We've seen him
Oh,
make this
Info,
happen
info.
before.
Info udah masuk.
He gets the
Info
one
udah masuk.
who his name, NC Sash still ready
Nice
for another.
tackle.
The pop flash into the
Nice
fight,
flash.
into the kill. It's 3
Love
for
it.
NC Slasher and a 3
Love
round
the bird.
gap between Boom and Fancy now.
They still had to go
Nice
for
one.
the long push. Even though there was that flank following up from Suka, of course, Timer was going down for that spike to get defused. And, you know, if ever they somehow managed to get into the site,
Maaf,
they were
baru
able
Kak,
to
gue sering
beat
live
up the
stream
two players
mic-nya Kai, makanya
of
kepo
Boom
join. Oke,
still
Pokiro, thank
playing
you.
on A main. They
Ini kayak
had
tips
to
buat
deal with
clone
Shiro,
Iron. Gue selalu
who
bilang main yang
invested
banyak dulu kalau
his,
Iron. Biar ngerti
his
konsep
Viper
gamenya.
kit to just again play that post
Soalnya
fight.
kalau
Now
game
10 to
sense
7.
gitu ya, kalau Iron sama Bronze tuh harus build game sense basicnya
Operator.
dulu. Kalau menurut
Seekers
gue,
though very early.
lu mau diajarin kayak gimana pun kalau lu basicnya belum tahu kan.
As soon as they
gimana
pop the
juga gitu kan.
Seekers, they see the 3 spreading out. They're like, okay, we're not going A.
Jadi mainnya
And it's
banyak
been
dulu.
the case
Apakah
for
mereka
Boom so far.
expect ada OP
Early
ini? Tidak
intel,
dong.
It leads to the rotation, but Fancy, a stellar answer finally brought out. Jin with the operator, stopping the initial push of Boom.
That's going to be pretty big. They don't have a dash anymore. They still can utilize Famous just in case, but losing Berserks in that position, that's going to slow down the offense right now of Boom. Famous making a lot of noise on A main though, just trying to catch the mid smoke or the A main smoke for the moment. You can see Boom just trying to re-encapsulate the map first, while they still have a little bit more time. But once we hit about that 40-second mark,
Apa nih
30-second mark,
jawabannya
they
nih?
have to commit somewhere, so it's a little bit safer for
Jawaban
them. I
dari
don't think I've
OP.
ever seen
Ya
Boom
ke A dong.
trying to play a site where there's still like 15 seconds remaining, so they're going to start moving pretty soon.
Yeah, then that's why they're rotating right now towards A yet again. Fancy, though, has the right read on this. They're prepared towards ramp. They also go for the aftershock. Cruz will with the one. Jin again winning the duel on the other side of the map. And Cruz with the clear. One more time, one more fight. It's Moria here, the only one standing. The TP to the high ground. 6 bullets left in the chamber. Enough to secure the round. Fancy United finally back on the board.
Never mind, no need for that tactical timeout. You can immediately just bring Jin with an operator. He gets one much more efficiently than Berserks did when he was the one defending, and that's going to be a big problem. And here's another thing as well. You think that you might be able to overwhelm Jin
Nanti abis ini kalau Boom menang,
if you try to do so, he has a showstopper to use
mandi dulu
for
baru
a
gue
response.
restream
So
buat
that's
main
gonna
ya.
be something big that Boom will have to take into account here and now. The big, at least,
nunggu
deal
Boom
here
menang
for
dulu nih.
Boom is that since they got
Yakin menang banget
so
tuh.
many rounds in, at least they're going to be able to keep funding their push on the offense right now. Famous, where is this happening? What is happening? It's just so confusing. But both of the teams just backing away through A main here, as you can see.
Kayaknya masih belepotan sih. Ya dengan lo sering main juga itu sih. Lu bakal ngerti crosshair placement enaknya di mana.
He went out and now he's
Saya
gone.
kayak gue gitu kan dulu kagak ngerti tuh crosshair placement. Baru ngerti setelah banyak main, gue tahu kira-kira kepala orang di mana, positioning crosshair.
Operator. Fancy has just put a complete halt to the Boom offense, who has been relying on these rotations to allow them in.
By the way, OP-nya dapat 2 nih.
Needed by
Gimana
Fancy
nih?
to shut them out.
Belum ada jawaban atas OP-nya Fancy nih.
Now, this gets a little bit more... Actually, there is still a chance here for Boom because they have that Cosmic Divide. I will say, though, Moria feels a little bit underpercented right now. There it is. They're going to be using it. There's the smoke. Berserks holding here on the position. Jin just about to peek on Jin. And they just missed each other, but the important kill is Cruz on A main. That's going to leave NC Slasher in a 5 versus 1. This is...
Jadi kalau Boom kalah nggak mandi, maksudnya kalau selesai pertandingannya ini pokoknya gitu loh. Kan kalau Boom menang kan ini langsung selesai, hitungannya kan 2-0 jadinya. Intinya sih selesai pertandingan ini.
But he does not miss you on the shot. And that guarantee has given Fancy United so much presence wherever Jin is stationed.
Kalau main pakai laptop suka panas ya, panas lah.
The other strength Fancy
Tapi
United,
ada
that utility in the
tambahan
mess that
kipasnya
was
banyak
the famous
di
entry.
luar.
What was there? You had the Viper
Sama
setup,
polling padnya
you
juga
had
ada.
the paranoia from Cruz, you had basically the stun from Yes
Oke,
I Can.
bentar
And it
fuyu,
forces
sabar.
Boom to just literally turn 180 and say, no, we cannot go here. They move into Jin. They know we cannot go there also. What other options do they have? Boom is not finding the right answer.
No.
And Jin is just such a sharpshooter here. Not missing timing perfect. And every opportunity he can get to take a shot and be able to get that kill, he will be able to convert it, which is such
soalnya katanya
annoying
yokai
thing to deal if you're from Boom right now.
Yakin banget menang, yokai gue gabung.
Anjir, bisa
They
gitu.
only need to wait out 2 more rounds before
Yokai
Boom
bilang.
starts to
Siapa yang punya
lose
teori gitu, anjir?
that money of theirs. Yes, I can here on mid. Setting up with Suka.
Halo.
Kayaknya kalau yang minta like kayaknya lu lebih dikasih tuh, minta like dulu sana.
Jangan lupa di like ya guys. Ini yang nonton berapa nih? 158. Ayo, harusnya like-nya juga 158 atau nggak lebih, bahkan 2 kali lipatnya. Come on.
2 kali lipat, dia minta 2 kali lipat guys.
now allowing the advantage of utility to go in favor of Fancy United. I
Lebih
love
gacor
the
daripada
call
gua mintanya
with
aja.
even
By
better
the way,
with Cruz
ini
waiting
Ciro
here
kasihan sih.
just because
Karena timing
even
mulu
with the
dia aja dari
smokes,
tadi.
even with the flashes, Fancy will know where their opponents are.
Dibanding map nggak sih?
Marked a line drawn literally with a tripwire, and boom, Esports cannot find any way to cross. Fisho actually even with a knife out. Here comes Moria on the last stand.
Oh my god,
Fisho
begitu
with the
sulit.
last blow, and we're tied up.
Begitu sulit.
Boom just lost everything there. Fancy United. Incredible.
Boom mainnya no sentinel ya.
Defense, the map control.
Fancy masih ada sentinel.
From the start of that second half, look at this. 5 straight rounds for Boom, and after Jin having his operator, after having that wind of change, 3 straight rounds right now for Fancy. You're absolutely right. Perfect, flawless defense. I was talking about how they need to do something with Suka, who was getting some trouble on that B site, they just move him away. They put him on the mid, which is perfect because, again, Jin can just hold B main by himself with that operative. Gets a little bit too hairy compared to Suka. He has
Lu tahu nggak,
a name.
hari
He
ini
has his showstopper.
Chico
That is
mandi.
gonna make Boom think twice, and this is what Fancy
Kan
is
biasanya kalau mandi
banking
kan dipotongan
You
rambutnya.
kind of think about it, right? Why
Framing lah.
is Fancy getting more
Sekarang jadi
success
jelek
with the solo hold operator
Apa mukanya
in
yang
certain angles
semuanya
in previous
dipotong
rounds
apa?
compared to Boom Esports?
Semuanya,
And you
cuman
you look at the
Jadi
kupingnya
kurus.
enggak.
all Boom really has is the sky.
Jadi
right
lu
now.
bisa bayangin
Yes,
nggak
you
sih
can
karena kupingnya
cut
nggak
up the
dipotong,
sidelines
tapi
with
atasnya
the double
dipotong, dia jadi
controller.
kayak
You
gepeng.
can get in there quicker
Okay.
with the double duelist that Boom Esports has, but they don't really have a way to.
Saya juga
Let's say,
nemu,
like,
enggak, gue
stun
tahu sih, cuman
up the
kayak lucu
uprights,
aja.
make it
Justru gue
unscoped
merasa lucu
compared to
karena
what
dia
Fancy
kelihatannya
had a
jelek
while ago,
banget.
and they were able
Ya dia
to
kan
put
setiap
on
kali
that
dipotong kalau
passive
pasti bilang
pressure.
jelek-jelek
Is that
juga
extra bit of
anyway.
confidence giving Fancy United
Kagak
the
pernah tuh lu
edge to
apa lu
play
bilang habis
in
dipotong malah
angles.
bagus tuh, kagak ada tuh.
Last round also defined
Bukan,
by
dia jadi
Eurotech,
seneng
giving
banget
them
gitu, kayak malah
all the clear
aneh.
sight lines or clear spots of their opponents. And that's what we're seeing right now for Fancy United. They're feeling very comfy on the defense,
Ini
knowing
gendong.
what tools they have and
Dia nggak
what
mau
Boom
digendong ya
doesn't.
udah.
And because
King
of
ke
that,
GE
it's
ya,
just
udah lama
making
itu.
it easier for them.
Udah lama iya.
This goes to show
Jadi
how
Ghost
much
Rider dia di sana.
Fancy can read an opponent such as threatening as Boom.
Ya
Again,
ampun.
Famous even tried to double satchel. Oof. Oof.
Ikutan.
By this point, it's a bit of comedy. It's more so a tragedy. And it's just an accomplishment by Jin to be stamping his authority multiple times. Same
Wah,
case
belum ada
as
jawaban nih,
Suka.
belum ada jawaban nih.
Immediately, his domain expanding because of the one-way. And this
Ya,
long
domain expanding,
alley
ya.
is his to call.
Ya, Caster, aku
Boom
tahu kok
Esports.
referensinya dari
They're just
mana.
not just lost in the woods. They just
Domain
cannot
expansion
be
siapa?
found
Siapa
by
yang domain
anyone.
expansion?
Enggak, dia bilang
Any
domain,
entryway
domain
whatsoever,
expanding.
Asarai. What else can this offense
Tahu,
even
tapi
do by
siapa
this
emang?
point?
That's the problem here.
Gak ada yang ulti loh.
Terus sambil
Boom,
makan.
they don't have an initiator that we
Apa?
saw here
Terus
from
sambil
Cat and
makan.
Jin, right? From
Iya.
Fancy, where
30
they can
seconds
play off
left.
of each other so well on that attack. Here for Boom, now that they've been spotted out, it's the lack of anything to allow them to flush these corners. Yes, they have the controller. Yes, I was talking about how they can use those gravity wells, but we haven't really seen any of those punishes because they don't really know where the
Baca chat
players
tuh.
of Fancy are placed.
10
And again,
seconds
just go
left.
back on the one controller from Boom. Moria, what is happening with this man? He is really struggling to find any value whatsoever, and it is hurting them. When he's been activated,
Blast King
there's
bakal
an
jadi
extra
GGL.
level, there's an extra step
Katanya
for
sih
Boom
enggak
to
ya,
use,
dia
but
ngomongnya
now
sih
it feels
enggak
like
ya.
there's nothing.
Kata siapa tuh
They got
bakal
away
jadi
with that.
Yel?
They
Yeah, he got away with that.
That was dangerous. And in the end, Fancy United
Di sana tuh
have
sebenarnya ada kayak
basically
3 orang mantan di GL
removed
gitu
all
loh.
The efforts Boom has
Benkai.
done all
Dia
throughout
juga
this
pernah
half
tapi
so far.
stres dulu ya
Pushed
pernah
it to the
GL
ball,
nyoba.
threw it in the trash
Akhirnya
can and
diambil
taken
Bani kan.
that lead back. It's still doable though here for Boom Esports. They have rifles to work with, but I feel like Asarai, if they don't win it here and now, it's gonna be even
Soalnya
harder
kalau
into the
GE
next
tuh mereka
one,
kayak
where it would be match
ngambilnya
point for Fancy
pemain-pemain
United
top
already.
semua
Do or
gitu, terus
die
jadinya role-nya
here
agak
for Boom
tabrakan gitu nggak
Esports.
sih?
They do put more presence now towards a Famous is into main.
Yang kemarin aja kan 5
Still
duelis
can't move the
basically.
wraps thanks to the presence of Cruiser. Yes,
awal-awal
I
itu.
can.
Iya, iya, iya.
Looking instead to catch out Fisho. And there you go. Famous gets the one. Cruz on the board though for the trade. Boom. They didn't expect more to swing right after the initial peak from Fancy United. But at least they get a pick. Can they work with it?
Minkai sama Min Fuyu
They
datang ke
still have
Connect
spot
gak
out
dateng
They
gak
should have an
ya?
inkling that he's been B the whole time.
Kai dateng gak?
Gak tahu.
They're taking their time slow here. I thought they were going to try to compress a whole lot more on that A site. Oh, the fake smoke, that is just telling to Jin. Oh, somebody's here.
Kok kurang
Somebody.
tahu Taufik. Kalau belum main
wants
mana
to
kita
step
bisa
up.
nilai ya.
Iya
the
sih.
challenge
Kita nggak mau
Almost
kayak
like
apa
you
ya,
just wanna
negative
tell them,
thinking atau
"Please don't
positive
walk
thinking
here.
gitu lah ya.
Please just go for the swing.
Oh my god.
That's something. That's Boom doing. Moria.
Dia
Fancy
ngapain?
footwork. And
Waduh.
Jin brings
Dapat
two
dua
to the
dong
grave
galonnya.
alongside his own corpse. The showstopper with stunning
Padahal tadi udah bengong dulu
applause.
tuh dia.
You think it's only for the one? Just collateral damage is truly a possibility. And Fancy United,
Kelihatan
they
lagi.
see an NC slasher. Yes, I can. It's a rare whiff because of the
Wow,
movement,
default
but
line.
Suka does not miss. Shiro though onto the inside. Small chance right now here for Boom Esports. Shiro versus the two and the Rolling Thunder to keep him at bay.
Udah ketahuan juga
No
posisinya,
time
udah
to
mati
play.
banget. Udah,
No
nggak ada waktu.
way in again. and Fancy United shut this one down, close the door to move into match point.
Hari-hari.
The one opening that they had was the one
point
opening
dong.
that they still fail to take down Jin before he can create that impact. The two
Belum ada jawaban
kill
tuh buat
with the showstopper. What did I tell
buat
you?
OP-nya tuh.
As long as he's still there, even if he whiffs the shot, if he can get back into cover, he has some utility to back him up, and this utility can get him such
Kebanyakan
big
di back-to-back
plays,
doang.
such
Mana mereka
big
tibak-tibak?
kills.
Iya.
Oh man, this
Makanya
is
gue bilang
struggle.
ya,
No, this
sebaiknya
is
tidak tibak-tibak sejak dini. Bocil gue bilangin gitu aja.
Conundrum.
Ya
for
buat gue sih
Boom
mereka bocil
Esports to
semua
try
ya.
to hurdle over Fancy. They're so near. They can go into map number 3 right about now.
Yeah, Jin now, can he handle the pressure of a full
Gagabang.
assault?
Okay.
The answer is no. Boom. They just go for the full send here. They are on the wall, Asarai. They're stuck into the corner on the scoreline, and they do move in to just get the sight away from Fancy. The blades effective, Berserks with the operator also in hand. Mid presence though established here by Fancy United, and it's Fisho, the one to watch out for. Famous though,
nice.
tucked away
Oh,
neatly.
juga udah blitz ya.
Stellar kill.
Nice.
Berserks
Absen dulu.
also good for his own. Cruz
Yeah.
with fight back. Cruz clears out the two duelists. The flash is there though, keeping Suka at bay. And watch out, the
dapat zero.
Shiro's right behind
Timing.
you. Suka
Apakah?
Udah kelihatan juga, udah kelihatan juga.
There's the
Pakai.
TP as Cruz
Oh my
plays for
God,
himself.
budinya.
Though tracks
Pakai
him
budak.
down, sees the
Budak
head.
dan tidak
Cruz
bisa
is
melihat.
dead. We continue on here on Split.
One
Masih
more
ada harapan,
round,
guys.
OT we go.
Bisa lah, bisa
Is
banget
it
ini.
Gonna be
Bisa dong,
possible? They put
masa iya?
basically the entire
tapi mereka
Boom team just
ini
to beat
apa ganti
out
pattern
Jin.
anjir.
It works.
Tensinya nggak
Push
pakai
ourselves.
OP.
Tensinya.
One
Nggak pakai
more
OP.
round. It is
Ini patternnya
such
diubah.
a crucial time right now. Look at the change here for Fancy. They've actually brought back Suka to put his utility there on B. Actually, just going to pressure a lot more. Put
Dia
a lot more
bunuh
emphasis on
20
that mid
sendiri.
gain. And actually, I don't think it's a bad idea, especially now that, again, Boom have been so adamant at just committing the 5 push in a certain direction.
Well, the commitment comes from Fancy United early on. The Viper's Pit, just to remove A from the options early. You have established a big mid presence here from Fancy United as well. And I'm keeping an eye out on Suka here. He has a
Gue jujur aja kagak seberapa ngikutin kalau itu Taufik
back of sight near him.
Estrella sama
just to go for
si
an initial
Jenkin, jadi
catch of
gue kagak
any
bisa
duelist
ngomong juga
who
makanya.
flies deep. Speaking of now,
I mean, for sure they are good
Cyber
players,
Cage pop
right?
to establish the one way. Here comes Berserk and
hopefully.
Famous, and you can see that they are the victims of Suka's
di-trap
trap.
Cuman kan
Fancy
masalahnya
able to
it
trade
takes more ya,
easily.
sebenarnya
Yes,
kayak
IGN swings the advantage in their favor
untuk
alongside Jin.
mendapatkan combo
And the
yang
trap is set
roster yang bagus tuh kan
strong
it takes
by
more
Fancy
than a good
United.
player, a bunch of
Elaborate
good
Boom
player gitu loh.
Esports has
Nggak cukup lu cuman
struggled
hire
to
good player
navigate
orang
through.
jago
The only
jago.
runner left
Tapi kalau
is the
misalnya
one
mereka
here
nggak ada
for Boom, the
chemistry yang
Viper.
gimana gitu.
Moving into alley. The
Ini by the
snake
way,
of
1 lawan
Shiro
3.
trying to get through the grasses. Yes, I can though. He'll be found. It's Jin now ready for
Udah
contact
dipincer aja,
close.
tapi dia harusnya ngerti
Time
suara,
running out
apa
here
suaranya
for
sih.
Boom Esports.
Winnable, winnable.
Shiro makes it a 1v1, and Shiro cannot be the hero as Fisho will shut him
Anjir,
down at the
kalahnya.
end. Found
Ngeselin sih.
and Fancy United
Ngeselin
take that
sih.
one 13-11.
Padahal it's so
Oh
close,
my
ya it's so
God.
far.
Yeah, 25 seconds. He
Tapi
got
dia,
the pick
to be fair ya,
onto
dia nggak tahu
Jin,
sih satu lagi
but
ada di
then
mana.
looked away as Fishio came from B Heaven. Oh, what could go wrong? Did
Banyak
go
orang
wrong
di
there
Twitter
for
dan di IG
Boom,
banyak
but
bilang ini
Fancy
bagus. Ya,
United
maybe
loving
it
the
could
combination
be.
that they had there on that B site. I actually thought that the utility from Suka was broken, but no, they were able to still
Sad.
get the catch on with the trip.
Ya tapi kan nggak semuanya kayak something juga gitu loh yang perfect fit gitu loh. Itu sih yang harus dicari sih sebenarnya. Kan bikin tim kan pada akhirnya nyusun puzzle ya. Kayak something kan emang perfect fit, cara mainnya sama Pemprex tuh perfect gitu loh dapatnya. Fit banget. Makanya bisa kayak
pun-
gila banget mereka berkembangnya langsung.
Itu pun sebenarnya something juga, maksudnya gimana ya, menurut gua kadang nyala kadang enggak sih.
Ya di Champions
it's
dia
kinda-
harus kita akui performanya tidak sebagus itu. Di
Ya
Champions.
maybe demam panggung.
Panggung
we don't
tertinggi dia pertama kali juga kan bisa jadi.
Ya makanya. Jadi kayak nggak tahu juga sih. Nggak bisa ngomong.
Map 3 dong.
Map 3-nya apa?
Lupa. Gue selalu lupa map 3. Ya jadi mandi, gue tinggal mandi aja Pak ya.
Ya terus?
Ya terus apa?
Terus gue?
Ya udah carry.
What the heck?
Bentar, gue mau refresh dulu nih page-nya.
Boleh,
Cepetan
boleh.
soalnya lo.
Carry the stream in fuyu. Fuyu baca-baca komen aja. Halo orang dari tadi kalian kagak ada yang komen.
Kagak ada yang komen, kagak ada yang like.
Waduh. Harusnya ngopi dulu ya gua.
Ya udah terserah.
Ya, tapi kata lu mau mandi.
Ya nggak sekarang juga sih.
Ya udah. Heaven. Oh, kata Heaven. Gak
Ya
tahu.
udah.
Gue justru nanya. Tadi map 3 apa ya? Aku sudah like pakai lidah. Oke.
Lalu udah.
Oke. Bang, ARA. Yang ini bukan code blue. Padahal udah banyak tuh sebelum code blue yang
Gak mau. Hijau doang
Wani
emang gue
Piro.
mau.
Wani Piro.
Itu pun hijaunya mungkin dapat gift-giftan.
Malam, semangat streamnya. Terima kasih, Uti.
Makin aneh aja kok. Chatnya makin aneh.
Iya, disuruh gak ada yang komentar. Sekarang komentarnya makin aneh.
Ya deh gak usah komentar aja deh. Udah deh diam aja kamu. Kalau komentarnya seperti itu.
Ada. Gitu deh. Malam. Andika, bukan Andika dari tadi udah nonton ya? Atau Andika baru gabung?
Udah dari tadi.
Udah dari tadi. Oke. Nggak nanya sekalian. Kamu udah makan belum? Mimin udah makan? Sambil main soalnya. Oh oke. Enggak, soalnya tadi kayaknya gue merasa pas tadi gue nonton jam 5-an gitu, kayak gue merasa tadi gue udah lihat nama lu, tapi kayak nggak ada. Bang, kenapa nggak ngajak viewer ya? Viewer mabar custom tiap minggu. Kenapa? Karena emang belum ada rencana ke sana sih kita.
Ya.
Soalnya kita udah kebanyakan acara, jujur aja ya, kita udah kebanyakan acara, walaupun Sims-nya nggak ada acara ya buat kalian, kayak kebanyakan program sih lebih tepatnya. Kita ada short itu kan tiap hari kita harus bikin.
Ini aja kita video panjang aja keteteran, nggak bikin lagi.
Iya, gara-gara
Harusnya
itu
1 minggu
belum
sekali
sempet.
itu rencananya. Tapi ini aja ada
Belum
WP
sempet.
lagi, ada apa lagi.
Ada WP, terus habis itu kita ada
Nanti
hal-hal yang
ada-
mau kita persiapkan. Bahkan satu lagi rangkaian 20K kita aja belum ada, satu yang belum jalan.
Iya, yang
Iya
fun
nggak
up
sih?
itu belum selesai gitu.
Belum jalan, soalnya kita belum sempet gitu. Dan melihat di luar sana juga lagi banyak acara ya kan, kita kan nggak mungkin dong maksudnya kayak saingan sama acara lain. Gak
Iya.
sih.
Aisyah menurut lo apa nggak bang? Tergantung yang main.
Tergantung yang main sih kalau ngeliat dari itu, ya nggak sih?
Iya.
Kayak Reina.
Kalau nembaknya tidak macam aim lab master ya.
Oh, ada lagi perayaan 20K yang lain, ada, cuman
Belum sempat
Belum
aja. Kita
sempet
udah bilang ada 3
timingnya
perayaannya
nggak
kan.
pas.
Kita baru nyelesain 2.
Nggak kita sangka off season serame ini ya. Kita kira off season bakal ya udah gitu. Walls. Ternyata enggak.
Well, di Indonesia emang kagak ada acaranya sih, jarang sih pertandingan di Indonesia nya.
Iya sih. Ditunggu konten lore-nya, mantep banget. Makasih, ditunggu ya. Nanti kita baru keluar yang lore panjang lagi. Mungkin pas
2
episode
tahun lagi lah ya.
Iya. Lama. Karena
Karena
gue emang nggak
panjang-panjang
mau
gitu
yang
nungguin itu lore Valorantnya sendiri. Lu tahu aja
Iya.
setiap episode cuman dikit-dikit mereka ngasihnya.
Masanya gue nggak mau yang dikit-dikit gue jadiin konten gitu loh, karena kayak ya nanti sekalian aja gitu loh, ngerti gak sih maksud gua?
Kalau kita
Itu
bikin
pun
yang
ya-
panjang yang kayak kemarin aja masih bilang nanggung nanggung.
Nanggung apa?
Iya kan, bilangnya nanggung yang itu satu video gitu loh. Dibilangnya nanggung.
Oh, disuruhnya bikin video panjang lah. Mereka kayak kagak tahu aja kalau misalnya retention ya. Attention apa sih?
Retention.
Kayak attention kayak ya itu. Bener dong, attentionnya orang tuh nggak banyak loh orang yang bisa nonton sampai habis gitu loh. Ngerti nggak sih maksud gua?
Iya, makanya kita
Ngeditnya juga setengah mati,
kagak sepanjang
jujur
itu
aja.
juga.
Heeh. Ngeditnya tuh juga setengah mati. Jadi emang lebih pas itu kemarin 10 menit. Menurut gua tuh udah standar sih. Referensi bikin video short apa aja emang Min? Maksudnya referensi, maksudnya inspirasi. Idenya dari mana? Off season kayaknya ada turne lagi nggak sih yang Acer Predator? Iya ada itu juga. Terus nanti ada game changer juga ya?
Itu sih bukan off season sih, hitungannya itu udah VCT
Itu bukan off season, itu VCT. Inspirasinya apa? Kai, lu kalau tips and trick lu dapetnya inspirasinya dari mana?
Tapi kalau bikin video gitu pada akhirnya pakai style kita sendiri kan. Cuman kita kebetulan kayak kalau gue kan karena Mr. Lowlander bikin tips and trick gitu. Wah ini di Indonesia nggak ada nih, gue coba gue kan kayak gitu ya kemarin.
Enggak, kalau misalnya kayak maksud gue ide kayak misalnya lu keluar kayak hari ini gue mau bahas soal ini skill yang bisa dipencet lagi gitu. Itu
Oh, itu kan dari
idenya
lu.
dari mana?
Lu kagak tahu kasket
Semuanya
bisa di
dari
stop.
gua.
Akhirnya gue bilang, hah? Ini orang kagak tahu kasket bisa di stop. Ya udah akhirnya gue bikin itu.
Gue senoob itu kah sampai gue jadi inspirasi. Oh my god, di belakang caster ada kucing, guys.
Oke.
Itu kucing putih.
Iya kan pure kagak lihat kekecilan screennya nih. Gue gedein nih.
Please, gedein screennya please.
Oh no.
Tuh lihat guys.
What the heck?
No. Ya. So sad.
Min, kalau agent follow udah banyak, akankah ada agent ban atau tidak? Gua merasa juga ini bukan game MOBA sih pada akhirnya sih. Jadi menurut gua kayak nggak pas juga.
Nggak mungkin deh sih. Soalnya kayak seberapa banyak agentnya pun ya. Lu lihat gak sih sebenarnya metanya nggak gitu-gitu, nggak bergerak banget.
Ya lihat
So
aja
far,
Deadlock
ya.
aja kagak kepake sama sekali. Gecko cuma di berapa
Iya.
web sih, berapa tim juga ya make. Banyak
Iya,
juga apa
makanya.
agent-agent yang bahkan kagak kepake juga gitu loh.
Mapnya yokai lagi decisionnya anjay. Heaven sekarang jadi mapnya yokai.
Kenapa jadi gua?
Gara-gara aku ada tanaman. Aku ada tanaman.
Gak gitu dong. Gak perlu sih menurut gua. Apa? Ban pick agent menurut gua.
Oh iya bener juga, nggak bisa lihat musuh pick agent apa, jadi nggak guna. Oh iya kalau misalnya MOBA bisa ya.
Ya makanya menurut gua sih kagak ada juga game FPS yang ban pick gitu. Emang MOBA yang pas.
Kucingnya kemana?
Udah pergi tadi.
Yokai ini gara-gara.
Kenapa gua anjir?
Yang ku tahu ada agent skill, cuman lah udah milih itu.
Di Overwatch
Two
juga ada
things
skill
I
kok.
love
Iya, di
the
Overwatch
pickup
juga
right
ada.
Justru
now
kayaknya
for
Valorant tuh
fantasy.
terinspirasinya
We got
dari
ourselves a Phoenix.
dari
We got
Overwatch sama CS kan.
ourselves
Gameplaynya
a Gecko.
CS.
And
Tapi
this is a
ability-ability-nya dari
combination
melihat Overwatch
that I love
apa
to
booming
use,
banget.
or I love to see
Overwatch
here in Asia.
was a
It's okay, you
thing.
can tell us our ladder stories later on.
Was,
That's
it was
right.
ya,
But
it
Fantasy
was.
United, it's
Dia
exactly
bahkan
that. The
Game of
point
the
to make
Year,
here
pernah
is
Game of
without
the Year.
using no more your shenanigans
Oh,
from
really?
Ascension. He has
Oh, ada
studies
satu
to
DC
do,
tuh katanya.
and he isn't gonna be in active competition anytime soon.
Morea
So
DC.
you use the strengths of your other duelist player, your main duelist player, and what does he have in his pocket. It's this Phoenix. It's something
Apakah ada program
I believe
buat
run
collab-collab dengan
in
YouTuber
previous teams for him. It's
YouTuber
something he
lain?
does in other maps as well.
Nggak ada.
Yes,
Kalau
again,
ada
is
yang
actually
itu.
very
Juga bingung juga mau
lagi.
collabnya pun
on
kayak
the
gimana kan?
get-go, playing on this map.
Emang mau bikin
Lagi
konten kayak
restart,
gimana
guys.
collabnya?
Compositions.
Hah?
So this
Lagi
means no more
restart.
chamber
Si Morea
shenanigans
lagi
for
restart
Fancy
PC.
United.
Dia
I
DC.
would be wondering if they're still gonna run with the double controller. And
Cannot
that's gonna be
pick
a
tuh
call. So
katanya.
Cruz and
Tuh di bawah
Fisher
ada
Ya,
chatnya.
still
paling
sticking
berarti
with the Omen and
lanjutnya
the
nanti.
Viper. It really feels like here for Fancy United.
DC.
They have killers
Dulu.
between Omen and
Apa?
Viper. And
PC Morea blue screen.
Anjay. Yokai, gue nggak pernah nyobain yang game FPS lain. Yokai itu yang pernah. Yokai pernah nyobain Apex, Yokai pernah nyobain Overwatch. Waktu kemarin Overwatch
rusuh
2
semua
baru
itu aja.
keluar gak sih?
Rusuh semua itu. Tembaknya rusuh semua. Kalau Valo kan lu kayak crosshair placement, ketenangan. Di sana rusuh semua sumpah. Semuanya loncat-loncat, ngedes. Bisa
Game
ditarik
pertama
bahkan
main
lu.
fuyu atau yokai, maksudnya game pertama kayak lu pas masih kecil pertama kali main game apa gitu maksudnya. Kucingnya balik.
Emang iya kagak.
Tahu gue di hoax. Ya begitu udah. Lu ingat Kai game pertama lu apa?
Oh ya game pertama gua ya. Kayaknya Nintendo deh gua.
Sumpah? DS.
Enggak, Nintendo konsol.
Sumpah lu punya Nintendo konsol?
Ya,
That's rare.
zaman koko gue yang main sih, gue cuma lihat, tapi gue
Oh.
pernah nyobain yang kayak Mario
Apa?
Bros gitu.
Anjir sumpah lu main Mario Bros. Gila lu sepuh banget.
I mean I am.
Kalau gua
Ini
lu
udah.
tahu gak sih gue dulu mainnya kayak jadi gue dulu main PS2, bokap gue dulu punya PS2. Terus gue main, lu tahu gak sih game kayak game bootleg Barbie gitu, lo ngerti gak sih?
Gak tahu lah apa judulnya anjir.
Jadi gak tau makanya kerja, jadi kayak game Barbie gitu, terus kerjaannya tuh kayak platforming puzzle gitu loh, cuman bukan 2D kayak Super Mario Bros gitu ya. Jadi kayak literally itu Barbie bisa muter-muter kayak ala balet.
Oke.
Terus kerjaannya nyariin adik kakaknya yang hilang
Yeah, and having that
di
extra bit of
negeri.
utility from Berserks, I
Aneh
think it's just going to do wonders for them. Of course, especially as you mentioned, they're going to be starting here on defense.
Kenapa
as
nggak
well.
nyobain game horror?
So,
Kayak yokai
fancy,
nggak bisa main
Gak
game
suka,
horror.
bukan gak
Yokai
bisa.
nggak
Wait,
suka
we
apapun
redid
yang
the
berbau
thing.
horor.
Okay.
Gue kebalikannya, gue nonton Midsummer untuk menenangkan diri gue.
Little bit of an issue.
Ngeri kan lu, udah mulai ngeri kan?
Now, and hopefully we can get into
Gue suka banget sama Midsommar. Gue nggak tahu. Gue nggak tahu gue suka banget.
NC Slasher into
Tapi kalau misalkan gue main game horror, gue ada there's something ya different with only watching sama experiencing gitu lah. Saya kayak cuma nonton sama ngelakuin, maksudnya main game horror. Kalau game horror, gue emang nggak seberapa suka sih, nggak tertarik juga buat main. Gue lebih suka nonton orang main game horror.
But it still wasn't as sparkling compared to some of the Sentinel performances he's had.
Gamenya Hoyoverse main kah? Gue nggak main. Adek gue main dan adek gue sepuh.
And again, it was a stretch there.
Adek
Maybe
gua
once we see
sepuh. Adek
them
gua dulu
back
main-
on Split, they might change things up a
Yang
little
paling
bit more.
gede
I
kan
know
sekarang
that
Honkai sama
it was a
Genshin
pretty
ya.
close
Tapi
endeavor,
dia
but
sekarang
it
udah
feels like there
pensiun
was
Yokai
it
itu
wasn't
yang
the
dulu
same
pernah main
boom that we
Genshin.
know
Gue
that
nggak pernah
has
sama
so many
sekali.
options on what they try to deal with. Maybe it's just Fancy being
Gimana,
that
Kai?
difficult to deal
Apanya?
against, or just Boom really
Kesan-pesan bermain Genshin.
lacking the
Sampah
options
kalau
that
gacanya sampah.
they are so known for whenever they play a map. But in any case,
Gua kan
absolutely right.
pengen
Everything
install
to
gara-gara
see
itu,
Berserk's
gara-gara
back
gua udah
on his killjoy here. The rest of the squad
Farming
Waduh, bentar,
Primo
bentar.
Games sebanyak
love the
itu.
attacking again on that Phoenix and the Gecko. There's
Gak pernah gua
combination here that is
gacain.
going to be working.
Pas
And
gue
we're gonna be
gacain
seeing it
semua
in just a
kagak
couple
dapat sama
seconds.
sekali.
Just has to be a bit more careful though. There are a few times in the past two maps, and especially when he was on that jet, that he died too
Game
early
horror
on
karena
into
ngikutin
the
ceritanya,
round.
iya,
So it
ngikutin
seemed Fancy
ceritanya.
United
Gak main dia beda
exploit
gitu,
that fact.
dia kagak
Boom
kompetitif.
Esports though.
Game horror buat
ready
story lah
to
kalau
be
buat
oppressive.
Fuyu.
Dead by Daylight.
Darts.
Ah, itu kan
They have
hitungannya
the
kayak
Gue
style.
kompetitif.
tadinya
And they're
diajakin
ready
sama
here
temen kantor
for
gue
an
buat
A split
main
push
itu
if
tuh.
ever Berserks
Oke.
holding out the short. You got Shiro on long, lobbing the darts. The toxic string though.
Kalau gue mainnya Tekken sih.
Very fesky for Boom.
Oh,
to
game
get
fighting ya.
Mortal
Mortal
Kombat
Kombat gue
creeping their
jarang.
way towards A.
Mortal Kombat gue kayaknya pas zaman-zaman awal
Slowly
banget pas
trying
koko
to
gue
go
main tuh.
through.
PS1 tuh.
Is he going to get
Gak
repicked
diomelin
up
apa
here?
kok lo sama nyokap lo?
Agak tahu kayaknya dulu
Gecko, by
tidak
yes I can. No
sebegitunya deh.
pushes just yet. If they try to
Rating
go
game
for
tidak
short, there is that turret that is going to be receiving that
dipedulikan
contact.
seperti
While
itunya
Berserk
gitu loh.
is hiding in the corner. If they have, I don't
Kan
know if they
sekarang
have
aja
the
tuh
wingman,
jadi
actually, but if
sensitif
they
semua
use
tuh.
it, Berserk should get
Sekarang
spotted
tuh
right now.
lu tau
if
gak
he's
sih gue
not
sering
careful.
banget
Though,
dikasih
look at this. Somehow, Jin
kayak
manages to go
broadcast
through a
gitu sama
garage,
nyokap
and
gue,
even gets the pick here. Could
dibilang
actually
kayak
fend off their
game-game
almost
ini
straight to
sebaiknya
C.
tidak dimainkan
But no,
oleh
they're just waiting
anak-anak
for the
dulu
picks, and
pas
they're getting
zaman
Padahal gue main
zaman
segala
zaman.
macam tuh pas masih kecil. Gue kagak hancur-hancur amat kayaknya menurut gue moral gue.
Itu sih tergantung orangnya juga ya, balik lagi
Ya
kalau
pada
menurut
akhirnya
gue
kan
sih.
tergantung orang ya.
Picking up the spike now. A is that primary target. And you understand why. It's still where the Phoenix will get the most value. I do feel like the Gecko
Oh iya,
can
gue masih di
be
mute
also
anjir.
relatively safe
Pantesan
there.
gue kayak kok gak ada suaranya.
The only one standing now against Boom Esports will be NC Sasha directly in front of them.
Yeah.
Paranoia though gets
Keblind.
connection. Shiro tucked away onto short as well.
Perang
And
sewernya
it's Fancy who
kosong.
needs to clear out this
Tapi
angle
kalau tembak,
ASAP. Jin
ya,
with one
Shiro
more
mati
vicious.
juga.
Suka
Ya.
finish the job
Lah,
off.
flawless anjir.
Fancy have just navigated
Apa
well
klasik
for a flawless pistol.
klasik pistol orang Bumi Sport kah?
And Fancy
Itu tergantung mindset, betul
starting it
tergantung
off
main. Iya
slick.
Boom kayaknya
No,
jarang ya menang.
defenses on Garage
pistol
that could
round.
have held off Jin there. And
Oh
this
wait,
is,
actually
this is
gue
in
baru
fact
nyadar mereka
as long-
main Viper. Tapi mereka memang
Lu
suka
loading
main
nggak?
Viper sih, bukan
Lu
ya
loading
fancy. Iya, gue loading.
Ah, gini lagi. Tadi pertama-tama juga gini anjir.
Honest,
Oh ya?
is
Oh, ini
winning
ada
all
lagi.
of these duels against
udah mulai
the
lagi.
front
12,
line of Boom.
11.
There really
10,
is nothing that can just
9.
stop him in his tracks.
Lo
And he's
hitungin
already,
apa
as
juga?
I mentioned,
7,
halfway
6,
to his running
5,
back, and him
4.
knowing this, knowing
Okay.
that the momentum is now in the favor of Fancy, even with
All
just
in
that one round,
Vandal.
he's gonna be
Enggak
putting himself
enggak
with the battle.
semuanya
He's
itu.
gonna start to
Dua
press that
dua
advantage
terus ada go
as
satu
hard as
emang
he
kayak
can
gitu
and
strateginya.
as much as he can.
I wouldn't be surprised for Fancy to actually
Jadi layer 1 maju pakai Vandal, kalau mati diambil layer 2 gitu emang mainnya.
Betul, iya gitu. Itu kayak strateginya Fnatic juga ya kalau nggak salah atau siapa gitu.
Iya.
Amin
Amin banyak tuh yang kayak gitu.
You also still have Shiro
Iya, iya.
watching out for A-Long itself. So Boom at least, they're not giving up these orbs for free. Poison Cloud though, allowing cover for Fancy United, and they're playing the default yet again, just trying to scope out for Boom is stationed.
Famous has a Marshall on short. So he's
Anjay,
gonna be just
samaan
using that
melee-nya.
Dari
to
sananya
cover
itu
this
mah.
position. It's a 50 or not a 50-50, but a 33
Gara-gara
33,
jaringan apa
33.
gara kayak dari
See
sananya
where you
nih.
try to go on, stack that side, and it seems like their read is going to be on the A. Berserk's already spotted. Look at this pick by Jin. Stun though. No picks will be taken. They're trying to hide inside the smoke, and they're still
Oke, dapat.
challenging. There's so many players.
Oh.
Nice,
They're
nice,
gonna
nice.
have to try to deal
Maybe.
with this, but it's
Could
not
it
working.
be?
Moshpit does overwhelm Famous.
Waduh,
Look at
masih
the
tetap
numbers.
kalah tembakan sih pada akhirnya.
Versus
Waduh,
one.
ditampar wingman lagi.
No stun. There's a chance. There's a chance.
kabur.
Look, he's running away. Moria gets back into cover, and Suka's chasing. He doesn't know where Moria
Tapi
is.
nggak dapat tembakan sih dia.
Moria's just gonna be waiting for this. Finding the spike at the back of the site. And yeah, he heard it indeed.
Paranoia.
Iya,
On
kena.
top.
Oh!
Boom.
Pembelain tetap
Gets
dia.
the clutch.
Oh
Just
my
on top
god.
of things, Moria.
Let's
also
go,
prepared for
Budi.
it. And Fancy United, they tried to go for the
Budi.
well, Boom just answered that.
Pembelian yang tidak
And it just got too close. I
Bodong.
heard the camera get the tag. He had an inkling
Pembelian
of
player
what
yang
the
tidak
setup was, but
bodong.
in the end, just blinded by the
Invest
paranoia.
apa? Invest
Enough for Moria
Di
to
Vandalnya
steal it
bodong
away.
tuh mereka.
We are tied up because of it.
Investasi profit.
Bodong.
Wow. I just
Ketek lo padahal itu
I'm
aja.
speechless, man. That is just a sick play. You don't expect that to happen, but he timed it perfectly. You think he might have just slowed
Tuh, guys,
pushed
nggak
it,
semua
but
duelis
pound
keren,
hit into
guys.
the TP, and you're
Ada
right,
juga
the
loh smoker
tag through. I
keren.
thought it was going to be a clutch there from Suka, but no. And this
Justru
is gonna
yang
Gua-
kerja
gua-
bawa
gua-
beban berat
gua
itu
tuh
justru
ya,
biasanya controller.
Gue mengencourage orang-orang untuk main lebih banyak role, gak cuma duelis aja sumpah di Indonesia.
Fancy United, they
Kita
have
Ya,
kebanyakan
jelas.
terlalu banyak duelis.
window control. They go
Yeah.
for the run it back, but Cruz can't
Ya
even
apa, itu
teleport
udah-
the
itu
second
famous
time.
tuh.
As Famous
Tahu,
already
cuman
advanced
tapi
forwards.
kayak,
NC Sasha
ya.
shutting down Phoenix. Suka though on the
Kasihan
board.
omennya
And here
maksud
comes
gua.
Suka with another one. The pinch possibility. The goop is there, but NC Sasha doesn't care. Needs a windshield viper. Doesn't actually, as he's just wiping the floor of the opposition. 3 down to his hand. Yes, I can. The only one still standing. And in the 1v2,
Tapi mereka bawa
Fancy
Gecko ya di
United
Heaven,
has
kayak
to
Fort
scurry
Esports
on
anjir.
away, cause boom, they somehow
Jarang
hold
bawa
off the
bawa
opposition.
Gecko di Heaven sebenarnya.
Iya, ingat-ingat gue.
That's just again from just
Pas di
well
VCT ya?
placed,
Oh,
well
iya.
able to receive the
Fort yang
utilities
bawa pertama kali
from
ingat
Boom
gue.
here. Yes, I can. Just gonna run all the way through A. Pick up the orb, man. You got this. You deserve it. No, he's just gonna plant there right in the open. as soon as he can. Once they hear that, they're gonna run on to A, and this is where Yes I Can allow himself to figure out a
Lari,
position.
lari,
The big problem
lari.
here is that it's a guessing
Lu nggak
game
tahu
on
itunya yang
either
nada
side.
yang
Yes I
Subasa.
Can has to play tricky, has to
Emang
figure
gitu?
out which entryway his opponents
Emang
could be
kayak
coming
gitu?
from. Especially,
Oh.
never mind.
Lari,
He
lari,
made a big
lari.
noise. Now he
Kenapa
knows
sih
that they're
lari,
coming through
lari?
spawn.
That's two of them.
Guys, tolong maafkan saya, gue gak nonton
Yes, I
Subasa
can.
ya.
Get
Maaf.
ready from long.
Gue nontonnya Sailor Moon.
Utilize if ever, no utility
Gue nontonnya Sailor
whatsoever.
Moon.
Doom now. Be going for the stick for Berserks. Find him. He's in
Oh my God,
cover.
oh my God.
Cheer will fall, but it
dia
doesn't
pikir-
matter.
dia
Because
pikir
Boom
itu.
Esports found the corner to
Ya.
play from. and
Salah,
they will
salah
be able to
ngeplan
take the
sih
round
itu, salah
still.
ngeplan.
Yeah, again, there was nothing left really there for Yes I Can in terms of utility. Not the same when he had the breach.
Antara
and
salah
he
ngeplan atau
already
dia
used
tidak
basically
expect
everything
kalau
to
itunya
get started
dilepas.
when they were trying to push
Soalnya
for
cuma
that
kelihatan
C
satu orang kan tadi.
So that's
Iya,
going to be
ya
something.
itu
but
salah
he is
ngeplan, jadi
nearing that
kelihatannya
crash, at least
dia
for this
doang.
moment. What is also good for Fancy is I
Nggak
thought they were gonna
kelihatan,
get reset,
betul.
but no, considering
Karena
what's been
angle-nya.
happening, they're still able to fund their weaponries here, which is going to be perfect for them. They're going to be charging right now onto A long. There's
Emas
going to be a
udah
pick
pakai
guard.
OP.
Morgan's going to just throw out his paranoia,
Budi lagi,
possibly
Budi,
there.
back to play.
Reposition. The risk is real. I don't know if he's going to get scanned here.
Orang walaupun
but
namanya jadi More ya pasti ngomongnya
Boom
Budi
Esports
tetap anjir.
immediately
Sudah terlalu itu
claim
anjir.
A house, A main.
Terlalu
and
iconic buat dia.
attacks of Fancy at all
Justru
costs.
aneh namanya
Love is all
More.
theirs, but Fancy doesn't care. They move into B after seeing all that presence. They know Boom
Karena
Esports
awalnya
has
kan dia Budi
committed
Meister kan
on
itu.
that spot.
Oh, ya,
Fancy
ya, ya.
quickly, the rotation giving them an avenue to just set up well for the post plan. So Wingman
Harus banget tuh,
on
nge-zoom
spike
banget
duty.
si
Good
Wingman
job,
ya.
Lil Bro. The rest of Fancy though, they're taking
Let's
control.
go.
The roll thunder, the answer in response from Boom Esports. Hero also going for the darts just to go for the clear on.
Semua padahal.
But the blaze ball is there. Jin gets one. Shiro responds in kind. And boom, cannot find a way through the flames. The Dizzy though scouting out mid.
Sunanda.
The spot out anyone
nice.
from the window as
Nice.
Jin said.
Nice.
From the
Nice.
lane,
No.
finding value with
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, I can gets to his own. But
Semua.
Famous now up in
Tembak
hand.
semua,
2v1. A scramble yet again. As
Waduh,
Cruz
waduh.
has to play all by his lonesome. A smoke criminal to
sulit
steal
kayaknya.
the life of Moria. But still needs to deal with Famous who's running out of time. Classic
Tapi
classic
karena
kill.
nggak ada waktu
But he
kayaknya.
can't
Nggak
find
ada
the
waktu,
spike. Has
Seth.
Gak ada waktu dan dia bawa OP
Fancy will
makanya
win it
udah
this
langsung
time.
aja.
Too heavy of a commitment there for Boom to create that A main control. It looked like it could have worked if Fancy
Gila, round
still
keempat udah
committed
beli
the
OP.
push out, but then Fancy was
Gila,
just,
gila.
yeah, let's just go straight for B. We still have so much utility. We still have
Ya,
of
mereka
course,
itu
the
ekonomi
capabilities of
busnya
just the
dari yang
wingman
menang itu,
planting the
menang yang
spike
tadi.
for us. It's gonna be way
Pas pelatih
easier.
Sauron
We
itu.
can have more eyes,
Iya.
more
Itu kan
people
ekonomi
to
bus itu
more
hitungannya.
angles, and it just works out for them. And
Round
yes, I
kedua.
can. What incredible shots he's been hitting here. Now, this is where Boom start to lose control once again. It's been a back and forth act this entire series, and I'm loving it.
I mean, the rounds have been wild in to say the
Nggak
least.
kurang
They've
maju
been
tuh OP-nya.
very much so as
Kok
close
gue
as
jadi
can
greget
be.
ngeliatnya, gue takut.
It just really goes to show again. Level competition.
Yeah, I know.
So even right now in this tournament, Famous
Wah,
paired with the off, Asuka
Itu
swings
dia
from the
udah
angle,
ngeping tuh
doesn't
kayaknya.
expect from. And Fancy United, they've
Nice.
netted two already. Shiro though will respond with the frag on the Jin. Real Theft now the answer, and from this point on, Fancy United, they're bringing the spike towards A. They're setting up early on already. Berserks is the only one with a chance to really stop them.
Apa
Staying in the
iya?
window right now, smokes into play, so Fancy will get the plant down.
Yeah, the other plan here for Boom is just to pick up a weapon on mid, just at least get themselves a rifle or so. I think they were able to try to do so, which they are. I wonder if they're gonna try to do another one of those
Ready
thrifty
pantek.
retakes, but I think it's a whole lot more different right now. No smoke on heaven, but they do have eyes just set up there. Man, yes I can. Just been so good at clearing everything. Berserks. No chance to really peek through anything. Yeah, this is just gonna be a cleanup round.
Yeah, Fancy United just gonna disengage. Boom Esports.
Waduh.
Oh, Berserks, poor Berserks.
Pakai
I
Guardian loh.
wonder if Boom has any
Yep.
much rifles to really to work with now. They're just gonna go for the safe
Oh, dia
anyway.
nyimpen OP ya.
This is where Fancy United can
Nyimpen
finally
senjata
start building
padahal.
up an economy, because if you notice
Min,
the
habis,
past few rounds,
ada
Ash,
ini
right,
lanjut
it's so
live atau
scrappy
enggak?
that neither
Lanjut.
side
That's the
has
plan.
been able to build up much
Planning
on the credit
tuh.
department. Boom though.
Tapi kan gue
solo
pengen mandi dulu
operator
segala
here,
macam.
Famous, you got
Ntar
the
gua
rifle
bersihin.
still in hand. So they at least have a fight to work with, a bite to work with moving into this
Udah.
one.
100%.
Gak harus.
It's been a little bit more
Kasih
difficult
tahu
though.
juga
The
sih udah
smoke
apa
setup,
enggaknya.
the coverage that they're giving themselves because
Info
of
banget tuh, si
crews
paling info.
is working
Orang
well.
gua di blind aja, gua di blind,
Flash out and then start to bully through. Now again, the Thrash is still active. There is an opportunity to make it work out for them. Ooh, possible tag just to make Boom flinch. But this is where it gets a lot problematic for Boom. I don't think it's the site itself,
di sini
but the
nabrak.
mid control that is lacking from Boom that is making them guess a whole lot more where Fancy is
Ini
trying
suka banget
to
Vipernya
create
dibikin
this
kepikiran Boom
opening.
ya.
I mean, what happened the last time they
Lempar-lempar
contested
smoke.
mid, right? They were just felled by Fancy as quickly as
Diambil, lempar
possible.
lagi.
Jindo moving in towards
Soalnya
B.
kalau Viper ngeco banget ya.
Super cages.
Lu, soalnya kan
kenal lagi.
smoke-nya dia tuh.
Wah,
Fancy.
ente.
It's the Cypher, the relative smoker here
Ini
for the
sebenarnya
flasher
ini
that
sih
is
meta lama banget
Jin
sih.
now. And the run it back, runs
Meta
into
Heaven lama banget anjir,
Shiro.
dipakai
But
anjir.
it worked.
Shiro,
But it
the
still works.
victim to
Uh-huh.
the Phoenix's rampage.
Yay.
From this point on, advantage is clear for Fancy. They take this B site. We go into post plant. Boom, Esports has no real.
Zaman-zaman
angle to work
Sentinel
with.
bahkan Phoenix ini anjir.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
Dipakai di Heaven.
They're gonna be using these smokes.
Kalau
set
Sentinel yang
up
pakai sih
Jin
itu, yang
inside of it. He
kacau itu
fires
udah
out. Everybody's not
kelakuannya.
gonna be expecting it, and then he gets that pick. This is a problem here for Boom
Masa saving
Esports. If they
lagi?
can't really punish the slow
Saving
creep
lagi
up
ya?
that we're
Yep.
seeing Fancy bring to the table, it's not
Ya
gonna
udah nggak
Saving
bisa apa-apa
terus.
lagi sih emang.
Ya
Fancy
iya sih.
United, they're just gonna be backing on away towards A, and they understand exactly where Boom is stationed. They didn't clear out that C angle. They still have an operator to deal with. The Fancy United so far, they're just eking
Man,
in extra
open,
value
not
from
the
the
best
utility.
weapon
The
to
Phoenix
retake
and the
anyway.
Cypher, not
Yeah,
the
I
tandem
mean,
you
that's
expect to
fair
play
though.
the entry, but it works out regardless.
Absolutely. And that also gave again so much problems for Boom Esports. And here's another issue. We're getting into that operator paradox where you get an operator,
Line up,
you don't
line
get
up.
value on it, and you try to save it every single round because it's expensive. So if that's what happens to Famous and he becomes a non-factor in
Itu
this first
di
half,
skip mulu nih.
that just means
OP-nya
it's
Famous dari
effectively
tadi.
a 4 versus 5 for a good
Iya,
chunk
anjir.
of again this first half.
Well, the
Nggak
big reason
tertarik.
why Fancy United goes for the B side is also because they can go for those clear corners as close as possible.
Gue baru nyadar ternyata smoke yang
How
Viper yang ini
Resorts
sekalian
really- or Famous
nge-smoke B
rather,
juga
play against
ternyata.
that. He needs to be stationed at the right side at the start of the
Itu
map
buat
itself.
kepikiran, orang kepikiran
See
juga.
now, Fancy United
Konsepnya kayak di Bind lah.
trying to go for that mid pressure yet again. Still not committing.
Keren
with
yang
the
bikin
spike.
kepikiran.
They move into
Mau cek
garage this
kuota,
time
oke
around.
cek kuota.
This
Min,
might work
TikTok,
for Boom because
kamu
for
bisa
certain
masuk
setup,
FYP aku padahal nggak
already
nge-follow
getting
akun
scout on.
follow lain
And as
atau
soon as
topik
that happens, yes, I can
follow
is
di
already
TikTok.
gone
Nggak follow
from
pun
the
ya kalau
game.
misalkan lu
Also,
terlihat lu
Famous
suka
is
nonton
flying in, wait, the
konten
smoke's
follow
there,
tuh
though, the
kadang
blaze,
Direkomendasiin.
allowing at least
Iya.
Fancy United
Emang
to
gitu.
go for
Lu
the
tahu apa
cross.
TikTok
But
punya
konsep
caranya?
FYP.
Fancy establish pressures towards C.
Justru karena
The
itu kan
lockdown
kita bisa-
is the answer.
Bisa berkembang di
Fancy's just
TikTok.
trying to find
Karena
a way
kita padahal
to
bukan
actually play
siapa-siapa gitu
around
loh.
it.
They're not gonna plan
Yeah.
yet. They
That's the
have to
point
wait
kenapa
for the duration
orang-orang
of that
baru
lockdown before they try to do
keluar dari
anything.
TikTok.
Couple of the flashes and smokes
Orang-orang
being
terkenal
thrown
baru.
out immediately here so that they can just flush out anybody playing
Karena
the
mereka
back of
nggak
the
lihat
site.
follower.
That's going to be the plan, but
Betul.
once before the smoke actually comes in, sets in, Famous hits the shot.
Lah,
Boom is prepared this time around.
oh,
Warriors there too. As the rest of Boom
Ini.
flood in towards the side.
Nice,
Mainnya
nice,
line
nice.
up.
Line up by some time, but there's no one left for Fancy United to collect any other kills. And look at the difference when Fancy United runs into the setup of Boom.
By the way,
Esports,
sekarang udah
where they're
nge-follow belum,
prepared,
Topik?
They are immediately
Udah
felled.
tuh,
Berserk's good for
dia
it.
bilang
Anjay.
juga nanya aku
And the
follow,
rest of the crew,
anjay.
Baru mau
Let's
nanya
see.
udah dijawab,
Yeah,
anjay.
they just need to
Thank you,
figure out
Topik.
how to stop this early initial bout. The first highs of each and every round. You know, the high hellos, they got to figure out how to greet
By the way, yang belum
their
like, di-like
opponents
dulu ya, guys, ya.
accordingly. And somehow they were able to
Tuh,
do
di like
so.
dulu
Ya,
guys.
GP juga di
Shifted
sini.
a bit of his utility
Kita kuasai
rather
juga
than it
YouTube.
being all on B.
Seakan-akan sudah menguasai
kind of
platform
equalized
lain
it to
tuh.
garage and the B site because he just wants to be able to clear that or rather defend it without really giving himself to the three players. Because again, the initial bout here of Fancy is so strong that Boom somehow have to manage to just kind of play around it.
Fancy United now And again, establishing that mid presence has been par for the course so far. Clearing out utility towards Garage though this time around, and we've seen this from Jin. He loves to try and play for that window control, a place he can pop out though with the curveball. And it feels like for Boom Esports, slowly but surely, they're understanding that they have to be wary of those kind of corners. Just where can Jin be effective? Where will he be least effective? B site though, looking at possibility with the hot hands. Yet again, just trying to draw attention away from the real intention.
Dibikin
Moving into
overthinking.
Garage one more time. It's a game of psych out here, Asarai. And even we don't know where Fans United will eventually go. But the thrash is the call, and C is looking likely if ever. Yes, I can. Trying to get in there. Jin already pulled the hand of Berserks. And the Hunter's Fury is on from Boom Esports. Covering far from afar. 30 seconds left. Fans United, they're trying to scramble into A. They go from the shadows. And eventually, they'll find a site to put that spike down.
Tarik duluan.
He has to plan for safe. It's still very doable here for Fancy United. It will at least, again, net the rotation of the entire map. There's the numbers advantage here for Boom Esports. Big flags actually coming in from Famous right now. He's got the blades. If he's fast enough, he might be able to cull into the side with his own team.
Mati nih orang harusnya.
Stun comes on up. Dizzy's out too. But
Sudah di-recon nih.
fine. Yes, I
ini
guess.
orang.
Wow, on the board.
Untungnya nggak
Padahal
sate.
tuh ngeri aja
Udah.
bisa tiga
From
aja.
him, Boom Esports
Dengan kakinya.
capitalizes on that fact. And while Suka's
mereka
all
mau sambil
alone,
OP,
he's too
mau
far
dikejar nih,
off
pasti dikejar
to
nih,
do
Suka ini.
anything with
Mau
this
diambil
fight.
OP.
Boom have gotten the
Oh, nggak jadi,
retake
nggak jadi.
going,
Ya
and
udah,
they have
kasih.
tied up this score.
Gak mau makan korban lagi.
Well,
Duitnya
Boom
banyak sih,
Esports
Famous, aman-aman.
right now, they're finding the answers
Malinya
against
Phoenix
Fancy
tuh
United.
jatuhnya
And
berdasarkan
what
kita yang
impressed me
tentuin
the
atau
most
gimana.
actually
Enggak, dia
is the way they're
sampai
trying to
jarak
keep each
maksimal
other
dulu
alive.
baru
They
jatuh setahu gue.
realize they just have to be careful of
Ya
those
kan?
small
Ya
gaps
kalau lu
that
lempar
Fancy
ke bawah
United's
juga kagak bisa
creating,
juga kan.
With the cyber cages, with the blaze wall, they don't need to contest
bisa
it
diatur
because
kalau
of that
Phoenix,
curveball possibility plus the dizzy. If they stay back, they have the advantage.
I saw all of that too, by the way.
It's
I
true.
didn't have a technical difficulty at all. Yeah, absolutely right. That fact, Shiro's actually pushing up very far forward into a lobby
push.
here. Cruz has gone for the quick TP. Once that fall on the smoke
nice.
comes in, all hell will break loose. Dizzy, black.
no,
my God,
no.
some
Orange
double.
shock dart
Warrior
gato.
comes in once again,
Jangan.
posts himself on top.
Orange
Is Jin
shock
aware?
dart
That's
aja.
what
Pamer
Jin question.
pamer
2
bow
versus
and
4.
arrow dulu,
They
pamer
haven't even
dulu.
seen this
Ini
one.
harus
They've
dapat di
only heard
Moria
it
dapat, Moria dapat.
a few rounds ago.
Dicek,
This might
dicek.
be Moria's surprise. Suka
Tapi
though, quite aware,
Budi is
still
the best,
loses
Bud.
anyway. And Jin, what is the
Bud.
escape plan?
Itu
Apparently, the
cyphernya
next
gini.
round,
On
it
top of
is
box, on top of
Boom,
box.
take the lead from here.
Emang iya.
I was going to say, there's
Gitu
been some really
Phoenix.
good aftershock
Emang
plays
iya.
here from NC Slasher.
Emang ya.
First up was that one just to catch out Jin. The other one was
Makanya kan
on
kagak
Garage,
dicek sama
where
Phoenix
you
ya
saw
tuh,
the
kagak
thrashes
double
being
pick.
Reflect
pronounced
shock
by
dart,
Yes, I
itu
Can,
mungkin
and
dia
push out
pikir
for
dia
Jin.
mau
Boom actually
ngelempar
gets tagged
recon.
by it. So these timely
Gak refleks mungkin ya, emang refleks karena
use
dia ke flash kan.
of the
Apa dia mau
aftershock
itu kan tahu
hindering
ini banyak orang
the
di sini
plays
gitu.
here of Fancy United. So big stuff coming
Ternyata
from
di
them.
push.
Could be a big push here from Boom on mid as well. Just get that quick control. No really care as they know that it's going to be an A main push.
Molly Phoenix itu
almost
kayak
every
scan
single
yang
time
Venom
here for Fancy.
kebanyakan lu.
Yeah, well,
Mana bisa langsung
the
dijatuhin
camera's
Molly-nya
there.
Phoenix.
And Fancy United, par for the course, putting their presence towards long, trying to figure out at least a way to get that orb control going back into their favor. So Boom Esports, they have rotated onto the back side, looking to reinforce Berserks if ever, especially with the two initiators. Jindo with the curveball, Mousepad there to provide pressure.
Flashnya sih nggak solid sih emang
Boom
ini orang.
scrambling to find a safe haven, but Berserks is the one trying to build a paradise that Fancy United is ruining right now. Fancy's on side, Fancy side to take, and this is effectively over unless Moria can make a miracle happen.
Quite difficult. He does have smokes to assist him a little bit here. But it's not
Bukan
even
susah
actually
agentnya
not
sih
even available
Taufik,
right
tapi
now. He might be able to
apa
get a
udah
catch.
ada agent-agent yang
They
udah
give themselves a
lebih
bit of
cocok
cover
aja
play.
gitu di
Look at how just
Map.
close Fancy United
Gecko jarang.
are playing with each other. 3 basically hugging the entryway of the A site.
Yang ngeri tuh sebenarnya Gecko ya. Flashnya sih. Flashnya doang yang.
Tapi kadang-kadang bisa itu loh, bisa
Time
senjata
cards
makan tuan loh.
unpunched. Yes, I can instead.
Ya,
putting in the
memang.
work. Fancy
Pernah kok
United,
Fort itu
it's
zaman-zaman
getting
Fort itu pakai
very
itu.
impressive as right away
Pas
they're
lawan
taking
DRX
these
kalau nggak salah.
sites. every time you
Flashnya
have
kagak kena.
Jin getting in there, that's already an
Kagak
automatic
kagak nge-recon
right?
orang.
And because
Jadi
of it,
dipikir
yes, I
kosong.
doesn't
Habis
need to really
itu.
save that dizzy for that kind of fight. If he does use it though, it's covered by the initial flash. He can use the mosh but also to flush out some initial angles that Jin can have.
Fate lebih bagus ya di map ini.
From that point,
Kayaknya kalau misalnya
Fancy
buat
just
gantiin
Justru di
sofa
Fate
enggak
jarang
sih,
aku
masih
lihat di
sofa
sini.
enggak sih?
Yeah, absolutely.
Lebih banyak sofa sama bridge
This is
sekarang.
where Boom, as I
Iya,
mentioned,
lebih
just
kalau menurut
has-
gue sih
has
sofa
to
masih nggak
figure out how to
tergantikan ya.
deal with that initial contact.
Gede,
with the
ini
initial
map gede,
aggression
butuh scanner
that
gitu loh.
Fancy has.
Kayak sofa.
Lucio,
Soalnya kan sofa recornya bisa sampai
on that
mana
C
aja ya,
side.
lu
Jin,
bisa
he's gotta
dari
run it back.
A,
He can just
lu
throw it right
recon
now
saya
if he
tuh
wants
bisa
to and
no.
cruise.
Kalau
Oh, they're
Fate
stacked
kan
up in a spot where his Paranoid's
ada
gonna get maximum
maksimal
value,
gitu.
but they push through it. It's
Yeah.
gonna be a risk. More
Iya,
where you at?
Budi.
And he's just
Nice try, Budi.
the push out from NC Slasher as well, thinking that maybe he could get a catch there to help out his team.
Ultinya
Masih
juga
sofa
lebih
sih,
strong
menurut
sofa
gue.
nggak sih kalau di
Is gonna get ditched to the ground. 2 versus 5.
That's a hero call for Fancy United. That's a hero call from
Justru
Jin.
banyak
He
agent
used
baru
that
yang
run to
jarang
grab to
masuk
become
meta
a
dan yang
human
kulihat
shield for
lebih
the
sering
rest of
agent
the
nol.
team.
Makanya kan
So
tadi
you, the
kayak
paranoid
tadi kan
already
ada
hit
tanya
them.
apakah
And from
bakal
that
ada
point on,
agent ban
establishing that first
pick
contact
gitu.
point allowed the rest
Agent
of
ban,
their
agent ban
barrage
kayaknya
players of
enggak sih, soalnya
Fancy
kalau misalnya
to
kita
hold
lihat
the
ya
line
metanya
down and
Valorant nggak
protect
bergerak
him,
sejauh
just
itu
popping
juga
his
ya.
collars. So Fancy
Belum ada tim
United,
yang segila
them
itu metanya
getting the
sampai
swing of things back.
menggunakan
A sheer
agent-agent yang
chance
jarang.
to find Tsuka. It will just be that here for Boom.
Pada
They
akhirnya
shows
kan
on
main
the
aman,
hunt.
banyak kan.
But Fancy have found their confident air right. They found their groove, especially on how they play the entry.
Dikejar,
And
boy.
Jin is just clearing every single corner possible. Will he find
Lelenya
one more
Fate
target?
enak.
Will he find
Udah
Jin?
ada
He does,
gantinya,
as he
yaitu
just
Sky
runs
yang bisa
away
ngelihat
from the
secara
scope
langsung
of
bahkan
that
gak
gun.
nebak-nebak.
Fancy now at
Kalau
6.
menurut gua mirip kan Lele sama anjingnya Sky itu.
Yo,
Ya lelenya tuh ngeselin aja soalnya kan Fate-nya bisa gerak, tetap gerak kan. Kalau udah nemu orang dikejar dia kan masih bisa gerak.
Against Boom Esports here.
Itu aja.
He literally
Masih
just ran
lebih
past.
masih
I
ada
thought
gantinya
Faye was
sih
gonna
Sky
hit a
punya
foot there,
anjing.
and then
Ya kalau Sky sih nggak tergantikan
nothing.
karena kitnya emang selengkap itu. Udah
Kitnya
gitu.
karena dia udah bisa nge-flash, dia bisa cari info, dia bisa heal. Healnya
The
OP.
Fast and the Furious.
Healnya OP banget.
Jin means family, basically. He is
Walaupun dengan
speed
menggunakan
incarnate
healnya
from
itu
what
dia
we've seen
vulnerable
so
ya,
far
karena dia nggak bisa
on
pegang
this
senjata.
map. He's just so willing to play close against everyone else. I mean, you're the Phoenix. It's basically what you do best. And watch this though. Gonna get lobbed. The Nano Swarm is popped in response by Berserk just to stop that initial plant. But Wingman wasn't on duty as of yet. Now he's activated. Puts the spike down. The Viper Spit online too.
Di
And
ulti
Fancy
loh.
building themselves a kingdom in the middle. A mandate perhaps of heaven for Fancy United to work with. Yes, I can and Jin marking the garage. if
Apakah
ever.
bisa mereka
Rolling
retake?
Thunder to play for Boom. Coming into this one, Fame is already gone. Berserks is
Sulit,
done
sulit.
too.
Udah
And it's
sulit.
only the
Sulit.
forces
Nggak
of
bisa.
Boom in the
Ya.
front
Bahkan
line
mati
that
kita
can
apa
fight
gitu.
back. But the hot hands isn't found in the sea of green. Jin burns the target down. Fancy Slasher gets the tap. The spam comes on in here for Fancy United.
Beto nyebelin
Sorting
banget.
too.
Beto
And
lu
here
tinggal ngeplan
comes
terus lu
Jin.
tunggu di
Moria's
luar.
gone. What can
Lu
NC Slasher
bakar
even
pakai
do?
ability.
Nothing. The shorty surprise, not just once but twice. And 2-round gap. Fancy United in familiar territory, moving to the second half.
That's basically peak
Full
Valorant.
green screen coy.
Just
Green
Mantap.
screen, di
in the center
molly-molly,
of
di
everything
smoke-smoke
and not
lagi.
fighting- and
Itu
fighting
molinya
nothing.
ada,
You saw
udah ada
Shiro
Gecko punya
just-
molly,
he just
ada
threw his hands up, he
snake
gave up, man.
bite,
He was
ada
just dying to
Phoenix.
the molly to the Viper Pit decay. Everything was just messing about Boom Esports here. And what's even bigger than that is just how strong the combination of Fancy truly has been. You talk about how, again,
Ada
Jin
shock
can
dart.
just
Tapi
get
shock dartnya-
smoked by his
shock
own
dartnya
teammate.
Boom.
He flashes up in a very strong point of power, point of position. He gets the kill. And what's other than that is he can
Mungkinkah?
set up. They can even allow Jin to set up for the
Mungkinkah?
wingman so they can even get the free plant here.
Goes to show Fancy United they find ways to make these kind of compositions work and the creativity
iya.
we've been looking
Kadang
for
suka
Fancy
begitu kok.
United. It's
Gak
really
nyadar yang
showing
mana.
on up here, especially on Haven. You still have that double control standard, yes. But the Phoenix, the Gecko, working in tandem even with the Cypher. We love what we've seen so far. Boom, though, on the other hand, road to recovery starts here. They've been strong on the pistol all
Flash yang
throughout the
bajingan di flash
series.
ini.
Can it continue this time around?
nice.
NC Slasher
Nice
proves
tackle.
that with
Kenapa
two.
mereka semua
He's
bungee
looking for
jumping?
more. The
Ya
rest
karena
of
flash
Boom
udah di
will
flash ya
follow
mau
his
apa lagi?
example.
Itu udah
And this is pretty much it. Suka.
Udah sistemnya udah
lurking
benar
from
sebenarnya.
the previous
Kalau nembak
match.
aja udah.
He's all alone now on an island.
Oh.
At least NC Slasher will be drowned with him.
Instagram
So much
dulu
more
nggak sih?
to be done. Spotted out by the dart even. I don't really think Suka can do anything by this point.
Just about to
Ooh.
hit the
Right.
flick.
What
on
the heck
Timber.
is that?
Sebaiknya
True,
di respect.
but not impressive enough
Sebaiknya
to close
jangan
this round. One
gegabah.
more time. His
Sakit,
opponents
Cok.
shouldn't really give any of that extra ult charges to this man. There you go.
Senpai ada IG-nya ada.
That's just
Coba
gonna
dicek di
go.
deskripsi ada linknya semua tuh.
I lost
Kita ada
my
sosial media ada apa aja.
Ada dong.
You wanna do some tongue twisters real quick?
No.
You wanna- you
I
wanna-
ain't twisting that tongue, brother. Anyways,
whoa!
I meant for the words, man.
Aggressive on cam.
Yo, chill.
This
Yeah,
man.
no, not what I meant. But I do like the idea there of the catch and off for Fancy here, where they threw
Hayo,
out both the
hayo,
Dizzy
ngapain
as well as the
tuh?
curveball, but it didn't really work out. It wasn't in an angle that could catch anybody since they were all tucked in the corner. So you saw NC Slasher basically take down two players that took fall damage, and it was 2 easy kills for him.
Yep, he just greeted
Emang
them
toxic bu.
as they landed. Not the safe landing you
Bocil
expect
semua
at
emang.
all in Boom Esports now.
Konteks gak tahu, kita juga nggak tahu, tapi gue ada tebakan.
Same case, same place. NC Slasher putting that one down. Boom Esports, it's just a more standard retake on the pistols. Might as well, right? Jindo throwing the hot hands here because the Moshpit as well from Yes I Can with the
Waduh.
Dizzy 2 good.
Ngeselin banget sih.
Well done, Suka hopping like a bunny.
Ngeselin banget sih.
But Berserks will keep it brilliant with 3 on the Guardian at the end. So 7-7, Boom tie it up.
Tuh kan,
Ada
semua
line up dia,
nanya
itu.
langsung nanya konteks kenapa?
The graffiti player tucked inside
Line up Piper di pocket aja.
that corner, and it makes it easier for you to take to do that damage with the just because of the vulnerable status that you put yourself on once you get hit by that snake bite. But not gonna work out here. It's just a clear cut shooting gallery for Boom Esports.
Ya kok lucu
I
mati.
do like
Iya
the
kita
ideas
ngeliatnya
that
dia udah
Fancy
jatuh
have been
dari
using in these,
udah free
thrifty
falling dia.
rounds, or their weaker buys.
Yeah. I mean, Fancy, again, they know how to get the advantage with some of these corner clears. It's very apparent from how they played the first half. I enjoy with Visual's lineups that he knows pretty much every single map with. But the job.
Ngerush banget gak tuh
Bisa
mainnya.
di, wow, bisa di timingin nih orang nih.
Cybercage gonna be in the way. Suka
Oh, tenang,
trying to
tenang.
call for a
NC
bit of
Slasher
attention.
tidak termakan.
NC Slasher. Will he be the victim? Or will he be the murderer
Kelihatan
here?
nggak sih?
Kelihatan.
Saw the barrel
Barel
of the
Kelihatan nggak
kiri
sih?
kelihatan tuh harusnya.
As he tucks away.
Barelnya kelihatan gak sih?
The corner for
Harusnya,
now. As he
tapi dia
starts
dengar
to
suara
wait
di
for
keluar
anyone to
juga.
come from the
Aduh, pusing
garage.
banget dia jadi
He's
dia.
stuck right now. Azrai makes
Iya,
a
pusing
decision,
dia.
and Fast and Cruz will do it for him. So the advantage here.
Nih.
Fancy
Suaranya
United
dari
now
mana-mana ini.
on a retake. Snake bites thrown
Wah,
here.
udah.
Karna Dizzy.
Gila,
Ya,
perfect itu aja, perfect.
Opposition.
Perfect
And
paranoia
where
aja.
is Berserks in all of this?
Gimana? Udah di
Too far
paranoianya
away
kayak
to
gitu aja.
provide an impact. Because look who's on defuse duty is Wingman. Now then, the spam breaks the Wingman though, so small chance here for Boom. Yes, I can. Getting the defuse
Di body
going.
block
Suka gets
semua.
3K.
Paranoia
kena semua
Fancy
itu anjing.
United will keep the lead intact.
Man,
Chat
that was
kah? Enggak, kayaknya
very
di
awkward
camp
position for
pemainnya,
NC
cuman
Slasher
kita
to
nggak
be
dikasih
in. He
unjuk.
just couldn't
Kayaknya.
really get himself out of that box. But
Sama
again,
Molly damage-nya
bonus
sama
is a
nggak,
bonus
Min?
for Boom
Beda-beda.
here at Fancy
Enggak.
United.
Molly Viper tuh paling rendah.
Getting the
Tapi
kill.
kasih
Tapi
vulnerable.
makanya di
His
combo
paranoia
sama
plays
sama
have been
orbnya dia.
Enggak, makanya
excellent
dikasih
in allowing
vulnerable.
Fancy United to again play off of the utility. We saw that happen.
Tapi lumayan
in
loh,
that,
sakit tuh.
That seaside retake. We see it
Ya, kalau
happening
lu lama di situ
throughout
ya
this
sakit loh.
entire Haven map.
Iya.
So it's been really good at just allowing
Tapi
again his teammates
DPS-nya
to play
paling
off of
kecil.
it. Since NC Slasher though, is actually pushing up.
Pelan,
Look at
pelan.
how close Famous is. Spots it out, backs away.
Yeah, so the step, and now he dashes on out. Fancy United
Dijemput,
forces
men.
number 4 here towards the A
Malam, Kipi.
side. So instead,
Halo,
Boom,
Kipi.
strong pivot to move elsewhere. They realize where Suka's at. They can't
Untuk
actually
Boom
just go
Esports
into the
sudah
site from this
dijemput.
point on if they counted those numbers. And that's exactly what NC Slash is doing. So the site can get taken here by Boom. Fancy United though, trying to see if anyone is still lying in wake. Famous is
Ini
the
dua kali
one
udah lewat Gareth
who's
dua
all
orang nih.
alone now. Visio spots him,
Yeah.
kills him on the
Visio,
spot.
Visio.
It's a beautiful beginning here for Fancy on the retake. Bolt
Oh,
line
nice.
though,
Nice.
Jemput bolanya,
Nice,
jangan
nice,
sampai
nice.
kena
Slasher.
blind. Banyak banget blindnya soalnya
Here
nih.
comes Dizzy yet
Yeah.
again, and you can see if
Tapi
you stay
sulit,
on
tetap
site,
sulit
you will
ternyata.
see absolutely nothing. Rolling Thunder, the only hurrah
Blum,
here
blum,
from
blum.
Boom now. The Blaze Wall in the way, and Fancy has already started the use of this.
Wah,
player.
ya,
Nice shot
ente,
for the
ente.
Cruise, but that's all he'll get. Fancy United, utility is king, and they are crowned the round.
Molly Brim
The
versus
timing for the
Phoenix.
utility
Nah, lo
is
yang mana
engine
itu?
for Fancy United
Sama-sama
here.
Nggak
kuat
tahu
sih
gue.
seingat gue itu.
Perfectly placed, so
Brim tapi
perfect,
kocak, soalnya Brim tuh bisa
coordinated
mantul ya guys.
that It puts Boom Esports
Jadi
in a position
kalian
where
ya
they
kalau
just
pernah
can't help
lihat
each other.
kayak,
You saw there the isolation,
Molly-nya
the
Brim
catch, and
disundul.
this is the thing that we were
Nah, tuh hati-hati.
experiencing during
Di bug di Valo ada apa aja, Min? Wah,
during
banyak.
the split map, where it just feels like there's a lurk
Kasih
connecting
tahu,
coming from Boom
Senpai.
Esports
Masa
here, but the
satu-satu
counter
kita
alert for
nyebutin di sini
Fancy
banyak
United
banget
catches
soalnya.
it, and then the people left onto the site just really can't find
Gua
that
sih kemarin
rhythm.
bikin
And
short-shotnya
now
tuh
Fancy
yang
United,
krusial-krusial aja.
after so long
Kayak
in this
Flash.
entire series, they're the
Bukan
ones
Irsen
Flash.
Flash mah semua orang harusnya udah tahu kalau
considerable
Flash.
advantage.
Kayak
They're the ones
Irsen.
that have this round
Terus
lead.
kayak
Fun.
Concast gitu-gitu.
Concast,
Vulnerable.
In this pushes, as we can see.
Fragile-nya
on the C side.
ISO pun
Yeah, it's a full
sebenarnya kan
send, but the
itu
problem is
vulnerable.
they still haven't found the
Baru
answer
ya.
for the
Sebenarnya
site.
mirip-mirip
bisa
kok,
kena.
cuman diganti-ganti doang
You will
dikit-dikit.
lose all the sites.
Sama paling
This is the
seberapa
plan now for
damage-nya.
Boom. They go into garage instead. Hard contest with the
Lah.
Stinger. Suka getting
Ya.
2, Suka getting 4.
Ini apa? Iko
Suka
kayaknya.
gets the rest. And
Iya, kayaknya.
Fancy United will make it 10.
Sampai cara ganti nama dibikin
Fancy
konten.
already know.
Banyak loh yang nggak tahu
In that
cara
fast
ganti
lane.
nama, cara ganti nama, cara nyembunyi nama tuh mereka
Makanya
banyak yang
kita
nggak tahu.
kasih konten yang kalau sekarang nanti bakal 1 tahun sekali baru bisa diganti, mereka bakal bilang, hah bisa diganti namanya? Tuh ada loh yang komen kayak gitu banyak.
Actually push down Boom into the lower bracket. I never thought I
Soalnya
would
let's
say
just
that.
be
but
fair ya,
here we
settingannya
are.
Valorant tuh
Fancy
banyak
is
banget
on
tulisan
a
semua.
warpath.
I think I like the idea though from Boom in that last round. Yes, it was
Dan
the
you know,
Stinger rush. Might as
bacaan
well
di sini
say
kan,
full send,
pembacaan di sini
but they
kan
have to realize this, they're
darurat
being
membaca.
pelleted by
Tidak dibaca.
the curveball,
Betul.
the dizzy, the paranoia.
Nanti kita
all
live
the angles
ngomongnya
that they stay
gini
on
aja
site.
gimana.
Baca.
How can they actually try and get that earlier on? They've been trying to go for the slow play just to bait that
Belum, masih
utility.
bisa 3
Hasn't
skor
really panned out as well.
bisa kali.
Went for the full
Masa
send a while
enggak?
ago. This time
Masa
around,
iya?
they're trying to play into the garage. The flash is there. Suka though keeping them at bay with the
Adanya
one
bisa B
way
aja gak sih kalian?
for the time being. Fancy United.
Enggak usah emosi gitu.
Push them back first. This is danger territory for Boom
Berasa
right now.
nonton Belanda
I feel like after they
streaming.
lose this round, there's gonna be
Siapa
nothing
Belanda?
left
Maksudnya
for
orang
them to
Belanda?
use.
Ya mungkin dipikirnya itu aksen Belanda.
Slowly creeping up onto A long for the moment. It's only gonna be
Kalau
Jin
kata saya
actually
minta
receiving
baca
that contact, but
ada
He does
minat
have
minat ya, minat
assistance.
baca ada tapi daya baca kita rendah.
Suka's tripwire there.
Dan
So if
membaca
they can
pun
catch
belum tentu
Famous
ngerti
right
loh.
now, this is gonna be perfect. He's trying to wait for it to
Mengerti
break
sama
it
baca
down before
doang
he
tuh
does anything.
beda loh.
And there it is.
Membaca dan
Flash,
memahami itu
Jin to the
berbeda.
Oh my god.
Go Jin's on duty, but Famous will find him.
Mendengarkan
Iya, iya, iya.
dan memperhatikan itu berbeda.
Cruz also helping on out, and Fancy
Masa iya?
United, they have the numbers back.
Iya.
Paranoia also into play.
Oh,
Cruz,
anti.
okay.
Ya.
We see he'll get it at the end.
Apakah-
For
apakah?
them, Fancy it now, make it a 4-round lead.
Gimana nih guys?
Boom
Apa?
just look lost
Apa yang harus kita
in that
lakukan?
fight. All the time
Lower
out
bracket masih
here.
ada sih.
Those separation with the smokes
langsung ke
too.
situ.
Such a difficult time for them. I think there was also a lineup that we saw from Fisho there, because a smoke that was placed on that
Makanya
A
sebaiknya
corner
jangan
in graffiti.
petakilan dulu ya.
And we've been seeing Omens actually put a smoke there, so defenders can actually play around it a whole lot more efficiently, so that attackers won't be able to flush you out, right? And they
Masih
kind of did
muda
the same
semua soalnya nih
thing
isinya
with
nih.
Fisho, allowing Jin to tuck
Pemain-pemain
himself
muda
there.
semua
They were
hitungannya.
so convinced that he was gonna be on spawn that they didn't even consider to try to flush it out. Moria tried to TP in, and you could already see that it was a big mistake.
nggak tahu kalau
Couple
gue nggak
that
salah
with the
inget,
rest of
Fancy
the
United
utility
emang
that
agak,
Fancy,
I mean
with the
jago nggak sih
response
mereka?
of the members coming into the site with the thrash and everything.
Sebenarnya ini belum naos sih
huge
lebih
big
ngeri sih
brain
sebenarnya kalau gue lihat.
plays as well as defense.
Naos
for
kayak
Fancy
super
United.
timnya
Yeah, and I'm just
super
been
tim
very
tier
impressed with
2-nya
Fancy United's
Filipin.
defense so far. You'd
Belum
be
ketemu
concerned
itu aja
how
udah kayak gini kan
everything
sulit ya.
would be synced up for Fancy, but
Waduh.
they have made it work from the lineups, from Fisho, from just the timings from Yes I Can and Jin, from how Suka's been playing so well to keep safe. and understand that he'll be part of the retake especially. It's just been a stronghold by Fancy United, and look at Suka right now, 19 kills
Dan Famous
and
juga lagi
only
tidak nge-kill
8
Jadi ya.
deaths to boot. This is a man who knows that he keeps
Capek
himself
tadi udah.
and his team
Capek.
safe.
Here we go again. Where's the TP at? Gonna be on top of the tower here for
Apakah
Moria.
dicek? Dicek dong.
HP.
Kelihatan
Yep.
kakinya biasanya.
Boot.
Yeah, that's a big one too. That's a
Ente
smoker god.
boot.
I mean, Moria's done that towards A lobby, so it wouldn't be too surprising Fancy United does check that, even though it's a different area of the map.
Waduh.
Jindo would drop
Waduh.
down, NC Slasher
Apakah?
already falls, also with Berserks, and look at the clear from Fancy United. It's similar to what's
Sistem
always been
retake-nya
working.
bagus sih
Hero,
mereka.
though, he's still standing tall, fighting back
Yeah.
with Suke of his own, but that's all he gets, and instead,
Match
he gets
point.
Asrai. Fancy United have been on a tear, and now
Wah, ini
they're at
Coach Mio.
series points.
Coach Mio pusing ini.
And boom, Esports. Is this all they're gonna
Udah,
be able to do
Bang,
right
udah.
now here on Haven? Up against Fancy United. How many rounds were they able to get in second half? 2.
M-nya Fancy lebih
Only
unggul sebenarnya
two
enggak.
gaps, and Fancy
I mean
United,
kalau
as you
menurut
mentioned,
gue
were
ngeliat dari
already
M ya
here.
dua-duanya
Finish
sama-sama
line. They're
sakit
just
kok.
about to
Cuman
cross it.
strateginya
There is
aja.
that buyer
Fancy
right
mainnya
now for
rapi
Boom.
banget men.
They got some things that they can maybe
Like
try to
you
use,
can
but that's
tell,
the big
kayak
issue.
lu
It's the
bisa
big
lihat
issue
dari cara
of just
mereka main,
how
they know
can
what
they
they're
beat
doing.
out the post
Mereka punya
plan,
line
or
up.
how can they beat
Itu
out the
apa ya,
initial
utilnya banyak
fights
juga.
that we've been
Mereka
talking
punya
about
line
so
up,
long
mereka
in
cara
this entire
retake,
third
cara
game.
Flashnya juga
mereka
bagus-bagus.
defense
Is
spike
the
Flashnya
dari
bagus
luar
We're seeing
side
right now
pun.
Fancy
Itu
very
loh, Phoenix
proactive,
nge-flash,
actually
Gecko
start to
nge-flash.
create some tempo here on mid.
Pemain paranoia,
And the
udah
rest
itu
of
satu
Boom
side tuh.
just second guess
Iya.
themselves for the moment here.
Cuman tadi agak blunder aja yang pas di awal-awal tuh. Itu kalau menurut gue ya salah, kesalahan dikit sih.
Berserk is doing so.
Yeah, and what we're getting for Boom usually
Strateginya
is the
bagus sih Fancy dan
coordination
konsisten ya.
on the pre-plant, on the initial outing for the rounds. But where does Fancy United prosper on the retake instead? They
Refleknya
just
nembak
make
turret
it a
aja.
scramble for Boom. We're completely lost on where Fancy United is going to come from, especially with all the utility. It's been the case throughout this half. But the Hunter's Fury now, Ashiro tries to seek a
Kena
target,
satu.
gets a tag at least.
Yang kena tapi
onto
Cypher
Suka.
nih.
Makanya
Realizes
siapa yang
Cypher's
di-tag,
still
siapa yang
around.
kena.
The rolling thunder
Itu
is
cara
committed.
nge-counter
Visionya kagak
Has an
kena
angle on
visionya.
side,
Oh,
ready to
no.
go for the hold. The
Cara
paranoid will get
nge-counter
connection.
Omen
It's only
punya,
one for
salah.
one, but the
Yang
wingman's
counter
there too.
si
Anti Slasher
ultnya
gets
Sofa tuh guys.
Okay,
kayak
nice,
gitu.
nice.
Anti Slasher, he's ready to go for more. And with the plant now going on down, everything is left to Suka. That's 1v3. He's trying to check out Graffiti first and foremost. And
nice.
Fight with Berserks just
Nice
swings
move,
away.
man. Nice move.
And Boom
Gue baru
Esports,
sadar ternyata
they survive
masuk
for
dalam
now.
pohon gitu ya.
Iya.
Survive for now. Oh, 4 rounds, Stacks. 4 rounds.
Yeah,
and
4
they
round.
Put so much
4 round yang
emphasis
akan sangat
on that A side.
menegangkan
Thankfully
untuk
enough, they were
boom,
able
boom,
to,
boom.
realize that there was
Boom,
more to
boom,
meet the eye, and this they don't want to try to fight that. Just try to go straight for that A side. If there's anybody else there,
Masih
the
jadi
Rolling Thunder
pupuk.
is gonna allow Famous and teammates to just flush it out a whole lot more.
I mean, we are dead
smoothly
and we
here,
become
which
pupuk
they
anyway
did.
sih.
Even though they
Bener
didn't
sih.
get anybody tagged right there,
Right.
it forced
Okay,
everybody
let's not
from
give
Fancy
me
to
an
play
existential
into
crisis
those
tonight.
corners, and Boom was more than prepared to get the challenge, to get the pick on that one.
Boom, okay, the close contest. Here we go yet again. Fancy though,
Kejedok.
very aggressive now on the defense.
Sama-sama
Cruz
TP
getting
aja.
away because of the other TP, and Mario tried to give chase.
Okay,
but
okay,
he at least
Okay,
snapped
bisa
it.
nembak. Okay.
Boom though has NC
Win
Slasher.
Lagi-lagi
He's just been
suka
killing,
sendiri.
He's just been finding these picks, and from this point on, Boom is ready to take A yet again. Plant now going down.
Masa
Here we go.
lagi?
It's Deja Vu, and it's the same result.
Deja vu
Boom
di tempat yang
Esports.
sama.
Survival is key, and they've done it
Gila di
again.
tempat yang sama, mati di tempat yang sama sama orang yang sama
It's the same
dengan
ending
gaya
as
yang
survival.
sama. Oh my
That was the
god.
same push too, just very
Dengan
aggressive.
skin yang sama.
Trying to
Same
play up the A
players.
side.
Finisher yang sama di tempat yang sama.
It's
Pohon.
like Suka versus Berserks. Graffiti
Demen banget
Part
jadi
2,
pohon.
Director's cut.
They can keep doing that. That's
Deja
gonna be
vu
wonderful.
aja.
That's gonna work wonders here
Deja
for
vu.
Boom
Gue gak cuma
Esports.
tahu deja vunya doang.
We'll see how that goes though. And
Abis itu apa,
Slasher
Kai?
nearing his
Ya
Rolling
kayak ngerti
Thunder
juga.
once again. Look at this. There's a lot more presence
match
now for
replay.
Fancy United. Not to play on the
Exactly.
site, but on long. Jin
Masa iya kalah
once
habis
more
ini.
has a lineup
Masa
with
iya?
Molly, but it's Fishio who's going to be put to the
Oh,
test
rame.
here.
Wah, di paranoia
That's the
habis ini
flash.
coy.
Look at the peak. Oh, look at the kills. Cruz can even get a third. No, he gets overwhelmed.
Oh my
Lost
God.
3, but the A-long push actually
Dijemput
catches them off
bolanya.
guard. Here's the run it back.
On the back to play. Jin's getting in there, but Shiro at least removing that second life from the equation. Now then, Fancy United, can they continue on with the pressure? The lockdown's there though, just for them to try and retrieve the
Wah,
spike.
ini
But look at the
apinya
Fancy
selesai,
United
langsung-
station now, here by the
langsung 2 lawan
garden.
3 di tempat anjir. Langsung bertiga. Totem kan anjir.
Waduh.
Berserk's trying to make
Esa.
it work. Gets one, gets
Berserk
one
do
more,
this.
3 for the round.
Berserk,
The
ayo.
wingman though, looking to give a little bit of intel. But Berserk
Spike-nya di luar itu sih di main.
enough.
Enggak
Put
di
themselves
lobby.
in a position to get
Tapi-
this
Ya di
spike.
lobby sorry.
Masanya
Fancy
kepikiran
United,
nih
yes,
Gekonya
I
di mana.
can. He's rotating
Apakah
away,
dia expect
trying to
Gekonya
anticipate the
muter?
plant instead.
Dan.
Here from Yes, I
Ayo.
Can. Berserk's might not.
Wah.
I think Berserk's
Gua-
has to be
gua
aware.
takut.
Kayaknya dia nggak tahu deh. Kayaknya dia nggak tahu deh.
There you go.
Gua takut
He
dia
didn't
itu.
hear
Gua
anything
takutnya
for
dia
so long
mainnya
on that
polos.
turret, so he should
Oke,
already
harusnya
know that
kelihatan nggak sih?
Yes, I Can is somewhere here.
Nggak
Question is,
kelihatan, nggak
how
kelihatan.
near is he? He's gonna have to try to bait something.
You heard that? And yes, I can.
Spike
Just
planted.
waiting now for potential swing. Berserk's
Nice
spotted.
movement.
Yes, I can.
Ah,
Creeping
tidak.
forward. Yes, I
Musuhnya
can.
crouch,
More
yeah.
like he will clutch. This is the end of Boom Esports in
dibalas.
the upper bracket.
Dibalas.
Fancy United moves on
Oh,
to the
kalau mau
next
teabag
round.
pas di akhir.
Incredible.
Aduh,
creative,
ente.
and quite a Fancy
Ente
United
bocil-bocil.
style here in the second half, man.
Ente dah
13 to
guys.
9 to take the series 2-1.
What a hard read from Yes I Can there. How? Okay, very much understood. He knew that his opponent's Berserk still had to pick up the spike.
Pantat
He
Gecko
knew
lagi.
that Berserks probably wouldn't risk trying to push through where he last saw Yes I Can. So the only place that he could try
Abis
to
ini
plant
gue
the spike
mau mandi dulu
was
ya guys
that
ya.
A
Abis itu
site.
baru gue
But
restream ya.
Yes I
Mau
Can.
grinding ISO sama
Such a
Fuyu.
hard read.
Aku juga
Was
mau ngopi
already there,
dulu.
placed himself
Oke.
perfectly without putting
Aing mau
him
ngerjain
in
tugas.
any
Oke,
danger
selamat
of getting
mengerjakan
caught in this
tugas. Nanti kita balik lagi ya guys. Aku juga ikutan.
Iya,
Hai.
nanti kita mau restream. Nanti tapi gue mandi dulu, ngapa-ngapain dulu, istirahat bentar. Warak di tibek sama di Gecko. Berarti bentar, gue mau ngecek dulu Boom main lagi kapan ya, bentar.
Oke. Hari ini yang nonton banyak loh. Gara-gara Boom kali ya.
Kayaknya tetap besok sih, tetap besok main lagi. Ini saya di 2 besok nih yang lower bracket, yang masuk lower bracket hari ini lawan lower bracket sebelumnya.
Gimana?
Yang hari ini turun kan, ini upper bracket dua-duanya kan.
Iya.
Yang turun hari ini lawan lower bracket sebelumnya. Apa?
Oke.
Yang udah nunggu di lower.
Oke.
Tapi gue nggak tahu nih yang mana yang lawan yang mana nih. Bentar gue cek Wikipedia dulu deh.
Oke.
Boomnya jam berapa mainnya. Jadi gue tahu harus live streamnya kapan.
Besok
Belum di-
gua nggak bisa ikut ya.
Oke. Belum ditulis lagi.
Nantilah habis mandi mungkin lu udah keluar kali. Jadi nanti.
Oke.
Oke, kita bertemu lagi nanti ya. Terima kasih yang sudah ikut menonton bersama kita.
Anjir jadi gitu nadanya.
Semoga besok-besok kita bisa bertemu lagi dan nonton bersama.
Stop it. Jadi guys, thank you ya guys. Bye bye.
Dadah.
See you. Abis ini.